populace. With the shamanistic grand formation, these incidents have greatly decreased. Everything has two sides. What Brother Pan said is a bit one-sided. Pan Zhang continued. Even so, within the shamanistic grand formation is a warehouse piled high with corpses, dredged from the river bottom. You guys don't have even a sliver of respect for the deceased. Aren't you afraid of getting struck by lightning when you step outside? Wu Shang and Wu Guan took a step back. Pan Zhang's statement had given them quite a shock. After this matter is over, we will definitely invite Buddhist masters to chant sutras for their salvation, praying for their passage to the Western paradise. This statement lacked any conviction, even sounding a bit guilty. Pan Zhang laughed heartily, saying, cultivators of shamanistic arts want to invite Buddhist masters to chant sutras? If the 10 shamans heard this, you guys would probably anger them enough to make them claw their way out of their graves. You don't hit a person in the face when you hit them. Pan Zhang's words were a bit harsh. For Wu Shang and Wu Guan, the 10 shamans were figures they deeply revered. How could they endure their respected figures being insulted? Wu Guan had already lunged forward half a step, but was forcefully pulled back by Wu Shang, who said, Brother Pan, we came here sincerely to seek peace, with absolutely no intention of creating enmity. If we have truly offended the evil sky pavilion, we are willing to atone for our sins. Wu Shang was very clever. He bowed to Lu Zhao. Setting aside whether their plea for peace was sincere or feigned, the Wu Shang brothers, including their master Mu Li behind the scenes, never expected Chen Zhu to be killed by the evil sky pavilion. Chen Zhu was Mu Li's trusted general. Could Mu Li possibly swallow this anger? The grand hall fell completely silent. Creak. Suddenly, a creaking sound came from Ye Tianxin's direction. Wu Shang and Wu Guan simultaneously looked towards Ye Tianxin, a hint of surprise in their eyes. Ye Tianxin was still unconscious. Leaving her here served no purpose. Ming Shiyin turned to look at his master, who was deep in thought. What is master still pondering? Then Ming Shiyin spoke. Take Tianxin back to her room. Yes. After the female cultivator took Ye Tianxin away, Lu Zhu slowly said, If you wish to seek peace, it's not entirely impossible. Wu Shang bowed respectfully. Pavilion master understands the greater good. This junior is immensely grateful. Lu Zhao suddenly continued. I am very curious, can the bones of the Baimin truly break the great calamity of lifespan? This, Wu Shang was caught off guard by Lu Zhao's abrupt question, stammering. From the current situation it seems. No, they cannot, Ming Shiyin then asked. Then why continue dredging for corpses? This is related to a secret within the palace. Xiao Yanger brandished her little fist. My master has already given you a way out, and you're still not taking it. What's all this nonsense about secrets? Spit it out, Lu Zhao said indifferently. You can choose not to speak, and you can even leave the evil sky pavilion unharmed. I will not force you. Hearing this, Wu Shang awkwardly shook his head. Although this matter is confidential, 10 years have passed, and the truth still hasn't been uncovered. So be it. There was a rumor that a specific bone of the Baimin could break the great calamity of lifespan. That rumor isn't true. It took the palace 10 years to find out that the real thing that can break the limit of lifespan is the Chenghuang of the Baimin. Duan Wu Shang listened, puzzled. Chenghuang? Wu Shang continued. The Chenghuang looks like a fox, with horns on its back, and a lifespan of thousands of years. Everyone was astonished. Ming Shiyin frowned and asked, It's a strange beast? That's right. Wu Shang sighed. Back then, during the battle at the Dutian River, Wei Zhuoyan, and the Black Knights Fan Zhuan, Can Peng, all the foreign tribes, their real purpose was to find that specific Baimin bone. But later, when the target changed to finding the Chenghuang, neither Wei Zhuoyan nor Fan Zhuan knew. The palace believed that during the battle that year, both the Chenghuang and the specific Baimin bones sank to the bottom of the river. Pan Zhang interjected again. So what you're really looking for is the Chenghuang, and you haven't found it after all these years. Wu Shang shook his head. If we had found it, how could there be today's misunderstanding? After saying this, Wu Shang observed Lu Zhao's calm expression and bowed. I have recounted everything. Are the pavilion master's earlier words still true? Lu Zhao hummed a fine ormatively. I have always kept my promises. Thank you, esteemed pavilion master. The two hurriedly bowed, ready to be seen out. Yes. Since Lu Zhao had spoken, the others naturally didn't dare to stop them, all watching as Wu Shang and Wu Guan's figures left the evil sky pavilion. Not long after, Wu Shang and Wu Guan exited the Golden Court Mountains barrier. The moment the two stepped out of the barrier, they both let out a sigh of relief. Wu Guan said worriedly, Brother, the evil sky pavilion killed Chen Zhu. How are we going to explain this to Lord Mo? I have my own calculations. If we don't put up some serious collateral, how can we make the evil sky pavilion lower its guard? The secret of the Chenghuang is a potent drug. The world knows Jin Tiandao's great lifespan calamity is approaching. When he learns this secret, let's just see what he does, shall we? Wu Shang said. Brilliant, big brother. Wu Guan had a sudden realization. I will explain this matter clearly to Lord Mo. What about that Pan Zhang? To think that scoundrel joined the evil sky pavilion. Just now, his insolent words insulted the 10 shamans. He truly deserves death. Pan Zhang comes from Jingming Dao, only learned the 3 yin style. After being expelled from the Taoist sect, his frigid constitution flared up, and he sought medical treatment everywhere. White shamanism could have cured his frigid constitution, but he was refused at the door, which is why he hates shamanism so much. I just didn't expect him to join the evil sky pavilion. If we don't kill this man, it will be hard to quell the hatred in my heart, little brother. Report this matter first. Pan Zhang must die. Wu Shang looked back towards the evil sky pavilion and gave an order. A dozen or so cultivators in red robes flew towards Gengzi town, with 3,000 cavalrymen following behind like headless flies. Although they were well-trained cavalry, in front of these cultivators, they were just low-grade cannon fodder. Wu Sheng also knew Wei Zhuoyan had intentionally dispatched this group, so he paid them no mind. What can they possibly do in a fight? Before they had even gone halfway, under the guidance of Wu Sheng and Wu Guan, the group of cultivators flew towards an area with flat terrain. You all wait here. The 3,000 cavalrymen had no choice but to stop and wait. The captain looked suspiciously at these red-robed cultivators. What are they planning to do? Who knows? Always acting all mysterious. Anyway, as long as they don't make us fight the Evil Sky Pavilion, I'm willing to do anything. Yeah, right. Who would dare to enter the Evil Sky Pavilion? You'd go in with your life but not come out with it. As they began to discuss, the 30-plus red-robed cultivators had already disappeared. They gathered on a patch of open ground, occasionally jumping and moving in incomprehensible curved paths. This continued for a full hour before Wu Sheng raised his hand. Assemble, big brother. The communication mini-formation is set up. Begin? Yes. At this moment, light red circles suddenly appeared beneath Wu Sheng's feet. The other red-robed cultivators all stood surrounding Wu Sheng. The shamanistic circle formed under the combined power of more than 30 cultivators. The shamanistic circle rose high, and in a flash, Wu Sheng looked up at the purple circle that was already above his head. Forming a descending hemisphere, Wu Sheng knelt on one knee on the ground. Lord Mo. A voice transmitted from the shamanistic circle. What's the situation? At that moment, the group of red-robed figures was kneeling with their heads bowed respectfully. Yun Sheng immediately said, "This subordinate has two matters to report. First, Grandmaster Chen Zhu was killed by the very people of the Demon Sky Pavilion." Say that again. The sorcery circle trembled, and even the voice became slightly unsteady. Ji Tiandao himself admitted it, so this news is definitely true. A low laugh echoed from within the sorcery circle. One could not tell if it was mocking others or self-deprecating, or perhaps a mix of laughter and tears. The magic circle spoke. Continue. Yu Sheng seemed accustomed to Grandmaster Mo's unpredictable nature, and without finding it strange, he continued. The second matter is that this subordinate used the secrets of the Cheng Huang to seek peace with the Demon Sky Pavilion. Very good. Tell the Demon Sky Pavilion to please not reveal the secrets of the Cheng Huang. Only then can we hope to achieve peace. The sorcery circle didn't emit an angry sound, but said calmly, "You have always been cautious in your actions. Very good." Yun Sheng then continued. Ji Tiandao's great tribulation is approaching. If he knew about the Cheng Huang, he would definitely frantically search for it. This news is of extremely high value. And Ji Tiandao will also believe in your sincerity for seeking peace. You indeed did not disappoint me. The owner of the voice behind that magic circle was a slender and rather tall girl. Yu Sheng continued to report. We are located 5 miles north of Gangzi town, setting up the initial formation of the Grand Array. It won't be long before the Grand Array is completed. If that's the case, then continue to act according to the original plan. Yes. Chen Zhu's vengeance must be avenged. Yes, one last thing. This Grand One hopes Wei Zhuoyan will become the scapegoat. Yes. Little did they expect Grandmaster Mo Li to be such a stunningly beautiful girl. Yu Sheng repeatedly said yes several times, and after the last yes, the sorcery circle also dissipated. With over 30 red-robed cultivators hovering around, Yu Sheng looked around and continued. Continue setting up the array. Yes. One of the cavalrymen widened his eyes. Should we report to Wei Zhuoyan? Wei Zhuoyan's 3,000 cavalrymen were completely unaware of the actions of this group of red-robed cultivators. Another one chimed in. They never intended to return to the divine capital. They are just circling around Gangzi town, going back and forth non-stop, just as the red-robed cultivators were setting up the grand array far away in the forest. Qing Bao swordmaster Yu Shengrong smiled and muttered, "Interesting." Then he slipped away and disappeared. At the same time, within the Demon Sky Pavilion, Lu Zhu seemed very calm. Ming Shiyin said, "Master, these two people are descendants of the Ten Wu. I'm afraid they have other plans." Pan Zhong nodded in agreement. "They really have guts as big as the heavens, daring to act on Tai Sui's head." Duan Musheng interjected. "Fourth senior brother is right." Zhao Yaner saw her master lost in thought and angrily puffed out her cheeks. "Master, you must not let those two go. Just capture them both and interrogate them harshly like Fan Xuan." "I don't believe they won't reveal everything." Xiao Yanher asked innocently. "Why are you all looking at me like that? Did I say something wrong? Master, have I improved a lot?" Pan Zhong and Zhu Jifeng nodded simultaneously. Zhu Xiansheng said, "Exactly." Lu Zhao glanced at her coldly and said, "Foolish. How could I not know they have other intentions?" Chen Zhu is one of the divine capital's 3 great divine archers, a true 6-leaf nascent soul realm expert. Chen Zhu's death has seriously injured Mo Li. How could she easily give up her intentions? Furthermore, when unsealing Zhao Yu once lost control. One behind this is most likely Mo Li. Through several interactions, although we haven't officially met, I can sense from her methods that she is not a kind person who sincerely wants to seek peace. If that's the case, why did Master still let them leave? Ming Shiyin analyzed. As long as they are alive, Wei Zhuoyan won't be at peace. We originally thought they shared a master, but now it seems they are like fire and water, where the snipe and clam fight, the fisherman benefits. Duan Musheng thoughtfully said, "Master is truly wise." Zhao Yue decided not to interrupt. After all, she had made mistakes before, and she couldn't pull off this level of bootlicking even if she tried. Lu Zhao glanced around. Hua Wudao wasn't here. Currently, the Demon Sky Pavilion needs talents like Hua Wudao to help him offer useful advice. Where is Elder Hua? Duan Musheng puffed out his chest and said, Elder Hua has been tired these past 2 days and has been resting in the West Pavilion. Forget it. Lu Zhao waved his sleeve and stood up. Ming Xinyin. This disciple is here. Lu Zhao calmly instructed. Remember, you must retrieve the zither, master. The zither must be in 7th junior brother's hands. If nothing unexpected happens, 7th junior brother will go look for 1st and 2nd senior brothers, Ming Xinyin said embarrassedly. To be honest, this disciple's strength and cultivation are no match for theirs. I'm afraid they won't be willing to open the zither, Lu Zhao said. 7th is a smart person. Smart people will open the zither. Why? Lu Zhao said. Smart people have one characteristic, that is, they always think they are right. Ming Xinyin swallowed. His head bowed low. He remembered that he had just analyzed his master's intentions, so now his master was using the stick to scare the monkey, warning him. This situation left him speechless, Duan Musheng said. What master says is very reasonable. This disciple also thinks so. Ming Xinyin followed suit. What master says is very reasonable. I will definitely retrieve the zither from 8th junior brother within 7 days. But 2 days later, on the mountain range near the fierce Tiger Ridge area, a giant flying chariot slowly appeared in the sky. Surrounding the massive flying chariots were dozens of cultivators, and although the speed seemed slow, it reached above fierce Tiger Ridge in the blink of an eye. On the roof of the flying chariot, a flag fluttered in the wind. On the flag were written 3 words. Underworld Sect. And below the sect's name was a drawing of the azure jade saber. Chuan Tianxing's flying chariot was heading towards Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong, who was resting, was awakened by the panicked shouts of his subordinates. Reporting to the chieftain, a strange flying chariot has been discovered approaching. Zhu Honggong recalled what 7th senior brother had said, and exclaimed, Could it be the Righteous Path sect coming for revenge? Then, he abruptly stood up and rushed to a cabinet, rummaging for something. One of his subordinates offered an idea. Chieftain, if it's really the Zheng Yi Dao, I suggest we escape right now. Escape? Ridiculous. Am I, the mighty evil king, supposed to be afraid of those Zheng Yi Dao guys? Zhu Honggong plopped back down, outwardly feigning composure, but inwardly, he was a mess of panic. The subordinates continued. It's said that Zhang Yuanshan, the sect leader of Zheng Yi Dao, has a 7-leaf golden lotus cultivation. Zhu Honggong retorted, 7 leaves? I wouldn't even give it a second glance. But that suggestion you made earlier is worth considering. Which way is the fastest to run now? Zhu Honggong, with a huge bag of stuff slung over his back, ran for his life, his subordinates scrambling after him, replying, the back mountain. Zhu Honggong decisively bailed, leading his lackeys toward the back mountain. A scene so comical, like a mama pig leading her piglets in a frantic escape. But just as they burst out of the mountain stronghold, 4 massive Dharma bodies descended upon the fierce Tiger Ridge, engulfing the entire forest and mountain range. The colossal Dharma bodies, along with the golden lotuses beneath them, shone with dazzling brilliance. Zhu Honggong's eyes rolled back in his head, his mouth agape. 2 7-leaf golden lotuses and 2 6-leaf golden lotuses stood majestically in the sky. Seeing this, his subordinates asked, Chieftain, are you all right, Chieftain? Steady now, I didn't bring extra pants. 2 subordinates hastily supported the trembling Zhu Honggong. The flying chariot continued to approach. Boom! A earth-shattering sound exploded, sending dust and smoke billowing. It seemed someone had descended from the flying chariot. Zhu Honggong stared blankly, question marks popping up in his head. From behind the smoke and dust, a figure slowly emerged. Just then, a voice called out, 8th junior brother, long time no see. It was the voice of a handsome and badass-looking man. Zhu Honggong was completely bewildered. Above, the massive flying chariot came to a halt. A figure stepped out, followed closely by 4 others. The 5 nonchalantly strolled through the air, slowly descending. Had the disciples of Fierce Tiger Mountain Stronghold ever witnessed such a sight? Many had never even seen a 6-leaf powerhouse in their entire lives, and now 4 of them appeared at once. How could they not be terrified? Zhu Honggong hurriedly wiped the sweat from his face and cleared his throat. Senior brother, don't support me. Look at you guys. No backbone whatsoever. Such a mere sight, and you're all scared witless. As he spoke those words, the 4 Dharma bodies vanished, and the 5 grandmasters slowly descended before Zhu Honggong. Yu Zhenghai, with his sharply defined features and brimming with masculine aura, stood at the front, hands clasped behind his back, and said with a smile, 8th junior brother. Zhu Honggong immediately flattered. So it's senior brother gracing my Fierce Tiger Mountain stronghold. I thought it was some blind fool causing trouble. Your junior brother was about to unleash my divine might and wipe him out. Yu Zhenghai scoffed. All right, that little skill of yours is only good for scaring others. Aha. Senior brother, you're always so busy with a million things. What wind has blown you here? Finishing his words, Zhu Honggong glared at his subordinates. Scram, all of you! You have no eyes at all, can't you see? This is my senior brother. Yes, chieftain, D. Do you want to change your pants? Thud? Zhu Honggong kicked the subordinate next to him away, his face regaining its serious expression. Yu Zhenghai didn't answer his question, but instead glanced at the 4 guardian kings and instructed, leave the coffer here. You guys take the flying chariot back to the sect leader. Don't return to Pingdu Mountain. Your senior brother and I haven't seen each other in ages. I want to catch up with him. I'll be staying at Fierce Tiger Mountain Stronghold for the next few days, Yu Zhenghai replied casually, showing no disdain for the dilapidated stronghold. Understood. Leaving the coffer, the 4 Guardian Kings bowed slightly, stepping into the void to return to the flying chariot. Before long, the flying chariot left the skies of Fierce Tiger Ridge and disappeared from sight. Yu Zhenghai sat down next to the coffer and said indifferently, "Your 7th junior brother, Jianan, is for me." Zhu Honggong glanced at the mysterious coffer and said with a laugh, "7th junior brother really did go looking for senior brother. In my opinion, we shouldn't open this coffer. What's the point of opening it? Only to fight each other until heads roll and blood flows? It's not worth it. The things inside the coffer hold no allure for me. The only thing in this world that can truly attract me is this beautiful landscape." Yu Zhenghai didn't enter the stronghold, but stood on the sheer cliff, observing the surrounding scenery. He loved this feeling of observation, with all living beings beneath his gaze, as insignificant as ants. Zhu Honggong grimaced. "Senior brother, I don't have such grand dreams as you. I just want to live a good life." Yu Zhenghai asked, "8th junior brother, if inside this coffer is a heaven-grade weapon, and one that you like the most, what would you do?" "A heaven-grade weapon?" Zhu Honggong's eyes lit up. He scratched his head, reaching for the coffer to examine it. "Ah, so inside this coffer is a heaven-grade weapon. Then we have to open it." "Heaven-grade weapons shouldn't be collecting dust," Yu Zhenghai said. "You're taking after 7th junior brother again. You should be diligently practicing your tiger carvings in your spare time. Your cultivation isn't strong enough to control a heaven-grade weapon. Only those who enter the nascent divinity realm have the qualifications to control it." Zhu Honggong sighed. "Alas, I understand the reasoning behind senior brother's words. It's just that our master, bless his old heart, only taught me the 9 Tribulation Lightning Steel up to the 7th level, missing the final 2. It's already a miracle that I've managed to cultivate to this point." Yu Zhenghai nodded. "Put aside the 9 Tribulation Lightning Steel for now. There are many cultivation manuals from renowned sects in the world. Maybe you can find another technique to replace it." "I'm not used to those so-called manuals from renowned sects. I've tried cultivating them, but they don't work for me. They're completely unsuitable. I only like the 9 Tribulation Lightning Steel." Zhu Honggong's face was filled with regret. Yu Zhenghai turned to face Zhu Honggong. "That's fine, but..." Yu Zhenghai disregarded him and slowly walked into the stronghold. "Senior brother, what about this coffer?" Zhu Honggong waved his hand, sending the coffer flying into his arms. He hugged it tightly and ran after Yu Zhenghai. Yu Zhenghai acted like he was in his own home, walking to the Grandmaster's chair in the stronghold and sitting down. "8th junior brother, have you been working for 7th junior brother these past few years?" Zhu Honggong replied. "What are you saying? Senior and junior brothers are just helping each other out," Yu Zhenghai said casually. "You are, after all, a disciple of the Demon Heaven Pavilion. This tiny stronghold is hardly worthy of the title Evil King." Zhu Honggong continued. "Senior brother, I don't want to do it either. I'm scared and anxious all day. Last time I went to the Azure Jade platform and ran into Master. If I hadn't reacted quickly, I'm afraid senior brother wouldn't be seeing me now." "Master is old. Why would he appear at the Azure Jade platform?" "How would I know?" Yu Zhenghai asked with a smile. "The Azure Jade platform is Zhang Yidao's territory. You dare to go there without fearing Zhang Yuanshan would kill you." Me, scared of him, Zhu Honggong had barely finished speaking when a flustered subordinate rushed in to report. Camp leader, another flying chariot is approaching. This one's a bit smaller than the last one. Seems like it's from the Zheng Yi school." Zhu Honggong couldn't help but be stunned, almost losing his balance. Yu Shangrong slowly said, "8th junior, let senior brother see how much you've improved these past few years. I won't interfere." Zhu Honggong wanted to cry. "Senior brother, I would have already run for the hills if you weren't here. What am I supposed to do now?" Zhu Honggong inwardly hesitated, his face contorted in a grimace, unsure whether to go out and meet the challenge. Yu Shangrong's expression was calm, clearly wanting to watch the show. "Crying won't solve anything. If you really can't win, it's not too late to run then." Zhu Honggong cleared his throat twice and said to the subordinate, "Follow your king to meet the enemy." Perhaps because he hadn't had time to react, the subordinate habitually said, "Camp leader, your Chu, back mountain, quickly." As he spoke, Zhu Honggong kicked it. "What back mountain? Meet the enemy my ass." The two of them went outside, one in front of the other. Yu Shangrong indifferently stood up, clasped his hands behind his back, and followed. The camp was empty, and it was also very boring. It would be more fun to go outside and watch the excitement. In the sky outside the Fierce Tiger Mountain camp, there was indeed a flying chariot from the Zheng Yi school. The brothers in the Fierce Tiger Mountain camp had just had their horizons broadened by the Yuming sect's flying chariot, so now they weren't surprised to see the Zheng Yi school's flying chariot. Compared to that flying chariot, this one was completely tiny, not worth mentioning. Zhu Honggong raised his head and looked at the brothers, shouting, "Brothers, start practicing! Those who aren't cultivating, get out of the way. People who have entered the Tongshuan realm and the Ningxi realm, prepare traps to serve the guests. Those above the Fanhai realm, assemble immediately." The brothers in the Fierce Tiger Mountain camp acted extremely quickly. Zhu Honggong's henchmen had all assembled, their hands full of hot stuff with murderous eyes. Yu Shangrong's eyes swept around, and he nodded slightly. For a small mountain village to have this level of emergency response, it was quite rare. Whoosh, whoosh. In the forest around the mountain village, Weeds were growing everywhere. All kinds of large crossbows suddenly appeared from all directions. Seeing the city defense crossbows appear, Yu Shangrong walked to Lao Ba's side and said indifferently, "Lao Ba, it turns out I underestimated you." He, senior brother, this is my lair after all. How can I not have some tricks up my sleeve, otherwise I would have been uprooted long ago. The city defense crossbows were ready. Zhu Honggong looked up at the flying chariot in the sky. These city defense crossbows are the nemesis of flying chariots. Fire. He immediately gave the order, not even giving Zheng Yi School a chance to say a few words. Arrows tore through the air. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The power of the large crossbows was extremely strong. To block these crossbows, the cultivators protecting the flying chariot had to have very strong kuwa. Otherwise, once the kuwa was penetrated, the flying chariot would also fall. The sound of 10 crossbows piercing the sky and shooting into the sky echoed in the forest. Sure enough, the expressions of the cultivators surrounding the flying chariot changed, and they activated their body-protecting ki. Boom! Crash! Crash! Rings of ki appeared on the cultivators' bodies, repelling the crossbows that had just been fired. Zhu Honggong frowned. They really don't hesitate to spend money. City defense crossbows are useful for dealing with ordinary flying chariots. Even if they don't kill the cultivators, they will disrupt the other party's formation and shoot down the flying chariots. But it is a bit difficult to deal with cultivators with relatively high cultivation levels. Again, Zhu Honggong ordered. Exhaust their vitality. The crossbows shot out, and at the same time, the flying chariot had flown above Fierce Tiger Ridge. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Another group of giant crossbows flew toward the flying chariot. The cultivators protecting the flying chariot released their body-protecting Q again. The crossbows were repelled, and rings of ripples formed in the Q in the air. Suddenly, a majestic voice resounded throughout the Fierce Tiger Mountain camp from the flying chariot. Zhu Honggong, so you were hiding here. Last time, I let you escape from Qingyu platform. This time, I'll see where you can run. Dozens of cultivators stepped out of the flying chariot and flew through the air. A subordinate saw this and shouted, "Camp leader, the crossbows are useless. Should we retreat?" Zhu Honggong angrily shouted. "Shut up, senior brother is standing next to me. How can Zhu Honggong let senior brother mock me?" He turned his head to look at Yu Shangshong and said with a smile, "Senior brother, your junior brother is not incompetent." Then he waved his hand, his eyes shining brightly, opened his mouth wide, and shouted loudly. 8 trigrams formation. Echoes came from all directions, heaven and earth, wind and clouds, dragon, tiger, bird, and snake, all in place. Activate, taking Fierce Tiger Mountain as the center. A half circle of black and a half circle of white combined to form a large circle. Outside the circle, 8 formations lit up at the same time. Yu Shangrong nodded slightly in praise. It seems that my 8th junior brother is not too stupid after all. The terrain of the Fierce Tiger Mountain camp is indeed extremely suitable for exerting the power of the 8 trigrams formation. Senior brother, you flatter me too much. Zhu Honggong was very pleased in his heart to be praised by his senior brother. It was so rare he only got praised once in his life. Yu Shangrong clasped his hands behind his back and said, "The 8 trigrams formation is a formation of the Dao sect. It can disrupt the surrounding vitality and then gather it in the middle, forming a vortex. The flying chariot will definitely crash if it gets close." Zhu Honggong continued. "Senior brother is knowledgeable and well-informed. I really admire you." Whoosh! The flying chariot just happened to fly directly above Fierce Tiger Mountain. The 8 trigrams formation had taken shape, and the vitality of the 4 directions and 8 directions trembled, with raging winds and swirling clouds. Under the influence of the 8 trigrams formation, the vitality condensed into Q. A huge vortex appeared in the sky, above Fierce Tiger Mountain. When the Zheng Yi school elder saw this, he hurriedly ordered, "Not good, it's the 8 trigrams formation. Fly away quickly, fly away!" The cultivators protecting the flying chariot used all their strength to mobilize their vitality. Yu Shangrong nodded. "They're not too stupid either. They know to run." "Senior brother, why are you speaking up for outsiders?" Yu Shangrong smiled and said, "If you don't act now, once the flying chariot flies out of the 8 trigrams formation, your formation will have wasted years of accumulating vitality." Zhu Honggong understood. He stomped hard with both feet, and his figure shot out into the middle of the 8 trigrams formation like lightning. Yu Shangrong clasped his hands and reminded, "8th junior brother, the divine court realm, the middle of the Gimai is still the divine court realm. Don't hide anything." Under Yu Shangrong's gaze, Zhu Honggong's fingers curled into claws, as if grabbing at some majestic key. The key surrounded the huge vortex. The vitality inside the 8 trigrams formation just happened to be taken advantage of by Zhu Honggong. 9 Tribulation Thunder Chi. The key turned into the color of thunder and lightning, different from Lu Zhuxiao's Thunder Chi. Zhu Honggong's 9 Tribulation Thunder Chi was condensed from vitality. The key and his own key intertwined violently, so it created the illusion of thunder and lightning. How interesting! 8th junior brother used the 8 trigrams formation to maximize the power of the 9 Tribulation Thunder Chi. Zhu Honggong's hand gripped the energy like he was trying to catch a dragon with too big of a mouth. Break! At this moment, the flying shuttle was struggling to escape the vortex, but unfortunately, Zhu Honggong's attack arrived. Scatter! The cultivators standing around the flying shuttle had no choice but to scatter and dodge. One strike from within the 8-direction formation. Boom! Zhu Honggong struck the flying shuttle, chaotic energy scattering everywhere like snowflakes or even like fireworks blooming. As a disciple of the Demon Sky Pavilion, how could he, with only a divine tribunal realm cultivation, become a devilish figure in his own right? The answer lies here. The thousands of fierce Tiger Mountain brothers all looked up to the sky, observing this astonishing strike, dazzling and brilliant, causing people to sigh in awe. Without energy to protect them, the cultivators. This one strike destroyed the formation patterns on the flying shuttle's body. Crack, crack. The flying shuttle cracked open, becoming unstable, with no strength left to fly. The vortex within the 8-direction formation took the opportunity to suck it in. The Divine Might Camp Master and the fierce Tiger Mountain brothers had never seen Zhu Honggong display such divine might. This one strike boosted the morale and confidence of the fierce Tiger Mountain brothers. At the same time, with the flying shuttle unable to fly any further, the righteous cultivators immediately moved away, scattering across the sky. Zhu Honggong stood within the 8-direction formation and said in a deep voice, "It's not over yet, I told you. I'm not that easy to bully." The primal chi gathered within the 8-direction formation was no less powerful than that of a nascent soul realm expert. In other words, although Zhu Honggong was in the divine tribunal realm, when he was within the 8-direction formation he was a nascent soul realm expert. Even his senior brother Yu Zhenghai couldn't help but be amazed. 7th Tribulation Heavenly Phenomena. Zhu Honggong shouted loudly, mobilizing the remaining primal chi in his body and channeling it into the 8-direction formation. The energy, like lightning, swept across the sky, shooting towards the scattered cultivators. Heavenly Phenomenon was the 7th Tribulation in the 9 Tribulation Lightning Strength Technique, and also Zhu Honggong's strongest move at the moment. The righteous cultivators had activated their protective energy, while the weaker ones continued to fall. The 8 Meridian Ocean of Brahma Realm cultivators summoned their avatars. Several 6-lobed separation and union, and 7-star soul-chasing avatars descending. The effect of the 9 Tribulation Lightning Strength manifested. The 8-direction formation condensing primal chi into energy, striking everyone, damn it. The righteous cultivators were doing their best to resist. 100 Tribulation Insightful Ming. Finally, among the cultivators scattered in the sky, 100 Tribulation Insightful Ming 4-leaf Golden Lotus avatar suddenly appeared, shining brightly, blocking the heavenly phenomenon. Zhu Honggong said in shock, "This is fing unfair. How much effort did I put in to accumulate so much primal chi, to create the 8-direction formation and unleash my strongest move, only to be blocked by 100 Tribulation Insightful Ming?" Zhu Honggong was not convinced. Again, the 100 Tribulation Insightful Ming avatar suddenly disappeared. A figure broke through the air, rushing forward. It was a righteous elder, Zhang Chunlai, not sect leader Zhang Yuanshan. Zhang Chunlai looked very angry, his eyes blazing. "Pay with your life." Zhang Chunlai flew straight forward, palms striking out continuously, heading straight for Zhu Honggong. Thunder Honggong once again borrowed the primal chi of the 8-direction formation, condensing it into energy, and coordinated with lightning to counterattack Zhang Chunlai. Boom boom boom. Zhang Chunlai's palm strikes, and the vortex of energy collided, ripples appearing, and trees all over Fierce Tiger Mountain snapped in half. Zhang Chunlai said in surprise, "To have such ability in the divine tribunal realm? No wonder you're a disciple of the Demon Sky Pavilion." Zhu Honggong pointed at Zhang Chunlai and shouted loudly, "Don't waste words!" "Zhang Chunlai, I couldn't find you at the Green Jade Altar last time, but I didn't expect you to come to my door yourself now. Unfortunately, the Divine Tribunal Realm is still the Divine Tribunal Realm." "You want to defeat me just by relying on the 8-direction formation, old fart?" the chubby young Zhu Honggong replied. "Then let's try." While speaking, the range of the halo expanded, half black and half white intertwined, and the light in the 8-direction formation became increasingly intense. Zhang Chunlai frowned. How can such a powerful formation be set up by a small and weak mountain camp like Fierce Tiger Mountain? He hurriedly looked around, scrutinizing stronger targets, but found nothing. Yu Zhenghai stood in the 8-direction formation, calmly watching this scene, secretly nodding. That old righteous head isn't stupid. 8th junior brother's strength and cultivation are weak. Relying on his identity as a Demon Sky Pavilion disciple, many people have targeted him over the years, but those who wanted to take his life haven't succeeded. If he didn't have some self-defense skills, how could 8th junior brother have survived until now? Moreover, he has Siwu Yai helping him behind the scenes. Yu Zhenghai maintained a spectator's attitude, retracting all his aura. At the same time, Zhu Honggong had successfully converged his energy, and with the cooperation of the even more powerful 8-direction formation, his aura and energy had reached the nascent soul realm. The righteous cultivators scattered in the sky all felt incredulous. It seemed they had underestimated the Demon Sky Pavilion's 8th disciple. Lightning energy blotted out the sky. Hold on. After the flying shuttle was damaged, the consciousness condensation realm cultivators could hardly protect themselves. Most of them were Ocean of Brahma realm cultivators, and they were still struggling painfully, descending while doing everything possible to resist the pressure brought by the 8-direction formation. Zhang Chunlai shouted loudly. "I said, the Divine Tribunal Realm is ultimately just the Divine Tribunal Realm." The 100 Tribulation Insightful Ming avatar appeared again, the difference from before being that this time it was a 5-leaf golden lotus. Zhu Honggong broke out in a cold sweat. At the sight of this, Zhu Honggong looked at his golden lotus, his scalp tingling. Did I offend anyone? They're even hiding their cultivation. Yu Zhenghai watched the fun with great interest, still not intending to intervene. Yu Zhenghai praised. Seems like he has some skills, knowing how to use the difference in realm to break the vortex with strength. The main effects of the formation on the avatar are to increase cultivation and defensive capabilities, while also suppressing the target. But usually, cultivators only focus on increasing cultivation and suppression. Once the avatar is broken, it will no longer be effective. However, if one knows how to exploit the difference in cultivation realms, and use their avatar to suppress the opponent, everything will be smooth sailing. Zhang Chunlai's move was swift and accurate. Zhang Chunlai, wielding his 5-leaf 100 tribulation insightful avatar, charged into the 8 directions formation, hiding inside his glittering golden avatar, which was equivalent to hiding inside the formation itself. The avatar withstood all the 8 directions formation's powerful chi, Zhang Chunlai's figure flickering about. Take this old man's palm strike. He abandoned his avatar, instantly closing the distance to Zhu Honggong, now only 10 meters away. Unleashing a palm strike, a Taoist palm imprint, Zhu Honggong raised an eyebrow, mobilizing his primal chi to block the attack. Boom! However, a 5-leaf golden lotus nascent soul realm cultivator was far superior to one in the divine court realm. The primal chi within the 8 directions formation seemed clamped down by the avatar, unable to gather. This palm strike truly landed on Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong looked up to the sky and flew backward. Chief! Chief! The gang all roared, heads tilted back. The 8 directions formation was gone, primal chi gradually dissipating in all directions. Zhu Honggong spun in the air, stepping on nothingness to stabilize himself, his chest surging with blood and chi. His hands were numb, almost wanting to vomit blood. Was I wrong, or what? Astonishment filled Zhang Chunlai's face. He's not dead? Under circumstances of being at a disadvantage of an entire realm, this palm, even if it didn't kill him, should have at least severely injured him, yet he's completely unscathed? Zhu Honggong grinned. Old man, didn't expect that, Ha ha! A Baoshan vest. Zhang Chunlai noticed a corner of clothing peeking out from Zhu Honggong's attire, his expression instantly souring. This Baoshan vest is rumored to be the treasure guarding the Tiangshuan Temple, one of the 4 great Buddhist sects. How is it? On a disciple of the evil sky pavilion. Now, ordinary people wearing the Baoshan vest are immune to blades and spears, but for cultivators, it can also block damage from powerful chi. Zhang Chunlai arrogantly waved his hand. Since this old man has come, I'm taking your dog life. The cultivators scattering in the sky suddenly gathered together. Without a formation to protect them, even if all of them share the Baoshan vest, they'll just be punching bags. How can they contend with me? Never mind those insignificant lackeys. I hear the 8th disciple of the evil sky pavilion is skilled in escape arts. Quickly surround him. I want to see how long that Baoshan vest can hold out. Whoosh whoosh. 2 divine court realm cultivators and several ocean spirit realm cultivators swiftly flew over. Zhu Honggong immediately landed, a dejected expression on his face. Senior brother, I can't take it anymore. Yu Zhenghai smiled faintly. Not bad. You even know to use a formation to compete with a nascent soul realm cultivator. Not bad. Then, Yu Zhenghai stomped on the ground, leaping into the air. Seeing Zhu Honggong bowing his head before Yu Zhenghai, Zhang Chunlai was confused and startled. Huh? Zhang Chunlai sensed something was wrong. How could a disciple of the evil sky pavilion bow down before a middle-aged man? Senior brother, quick, quick, quick. If this continues, my little fortress will be destroyed by this old guy. Without the formation buff, even if Zhu Honggong had the Baoshan vest, he'd still just be a punching bag. How could he possibly contend with Zhang Chunlai? Junior brother, don't be afraid. Yu Zhenghai cupped his hands and stepped forward, looking up. Zhang Chunlai glanced at Yu Zhenghai and said, Bluffing. How could this old man be tricked by you again? Capture them. Yes. Yu Zhenghai noticed he said tricked by you again, so he turned to look at Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong hurriedly lowered his head, like a kid caught doing something wrong. Several cultivators surrounded the two mid-air. Zhang Chunlai didn't waste any more words, immediately unleashing a palm strike straight down. Dozens of powerful palm imprints crashing down like mountains collapsing and seas overturning. Yu Zhenghai stood still, his hands behind his back, almost motionless, unhurried and unfazed. When the palm imprint arrived before him, Yu Zhenghai's right hand flicked slightly, rotating his palm and unleashing a seemingly ordinary stream of chi. The chi shot out from Yu Zhenghai's palm. When the chi collided with the palm imprint, boom, taking the point of impact as the center, a circle of chi ripples formed horizontally. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding trees, already trampled beyond recognition by primal chi, were once again sliced apart by the horizontal ripples, the cuts clean and uniform. The force generated when the chi collided didn't dissipate. The ripples were suddenly lifted high by a strange force. One palm strike sent several people flying back, primal chi spraying out like a hail of bullets. The onlookers closed their eyes and covered their ears in pain. Zhu Honggong's face was filled with longing and worship. This is Senior Brother's Great Xuan Heavenly Palm, fused with palm techniques to become the Great Xuan Heavenly Palm. A tremor ran through Zhang Chunlai's heart. He instantly realized this middle-aged man was an unparalleled expert. He hurriedly gave the order. Retreat. As soon as he finished speaking, he bolted. Zhu Honggong pointed from behind. Senior brother, he's planning to use the Great Divine Power technique to escape. Yu Zhenghai flashed forward, blocking Zhang Chunlai's path. Too late. Sound waves combined with rolling ripples crashed down. Ocean Spirit Realm cultivators couldn't withstand a single blow. Falling in an instant, Divine Court Realm cultivators barely managed to fly for a bit before also falling, the scene no less tragic. Only the nascent soul realm Zhang Chunlai remained, eyes wide, retreating non-stop. 100 Tribulation Insight, Zhang Chunlai unleashed his ultimate move again. Yu Zhenghai smiled faintly. I've been waiting for your avatar. He flicked his right hand slightly, and the jade green staff spun out. Heaven-grade weapons are practically the nightmare of all kinds of avatars. They can easily break through an avatar's defenses. The 100 Tribulation Insightful avatar was a high-consumption ultimate move. If it was destroyed, the user would be severely injured. Both Zhang Chunlai and his avatar flashed in an instant, teleporting 1,000 meters away. In just a few seconds, he had escaped the area of the Tiger Mountain Fortress. Just when he had breathed a sigh of relief, Yu Zhanghai suddenly appeared in front of his 100 Tribulation insightful avatar, his hands behind his back. Yu Zhanghai was clad in a black robe, paired with his sharp features. He looked incredibly powerful under the dazzling sunlight. Zhang Chunlai heard a sound above him. He looked up. The jade green staff, surrounded by powerful qi, was spinning non-stop. A Xuan heavenly star beam strike was even larger than a millstone. Yu Zhanghai asked, "Only 5 leaves?" 5 leaves meant a 5-leaf nascent soul realm cultivator, yet he could only run this far, and he's so fragile. Yu Zhanghai was very displeased with such an opponent. Zhang Chunlai, "Your 5 leaves is not even as good as my 4 guardians." Zhang Chunlai was about to use a great divine power technique again. Relying on trash like the Zheng Yi Dao sect, "You dare to talk big about leveling my junior brother's Tiger Mountain." The evil Sky Pavilion's eldest disciple. Just then, the profound heaven stellar palm slammed into Zhang Chunlai's 100 Tribulations moving light dharmic body. Boom! Zhang Chunlai's dharmic body got chopped in half like tofu. The dharmic body was like tofu being minced by the jade green blade. The ki went wild instantly, and a raging gale swept through. The fierce beasts within a meter's radius were all diced by this chaotic kill, and the trees snapped like twigs. Only Yu Zhanghai was completely unaffected, calmly watching the ki, tearing things up in the sky. Zhang Chunlai looked utterly defeated. Escape? Nah, using great divine power techniques would only get him killed faster. He raised both hands, unleashing all the Yuan ki in his body, pretty much his entire strength. Countless palm prints filled the sky, trying to hold back the heaven-grade weapon, but the difference in cultivation level was just too massive, and the jade green blade was top tier even among heaven-grade weapons. Boom! As the jade green blade flashed past, Yu Zhanghai didn't even bother looking at him anymore, strolling casually back through the air. His mission done, the jade green blade vanished without a trace. Before long, the sky returned to silence, and the wild kin slowly subsided. Yu Zhanghai returned to Tiger Mountain and landed in front of Zhu Honggong. He patted the 8th junior brother on the shoulder. Lucky for you, he was only at the 5 leaves level. If he had 1 more leaf, you'd have been toast. Zhu Honggong was still in shock, his face blank. The brothers on Tiger Mountain were gaping, eyes wide. Just 1 palm and 1 blade strike, and that's it? Everyone stood there dumbfounded, staring at the chaotic ground and broken trees. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, who would believe that this was caused by the grand disciple of the Demon Sky Pavilion? They'd been following Zhu Honggong for years, and got to share some of the Demon Sky Pavilion's reputation. The fact that the 8th had displayed any power at all was already beyond their expectations, but who knew the grand disciple of the Demon Sky Pavilion was so damn strong? A completely clean, swift victory, effortlessly dealing with a 5 leaves expert. How could they not be shocked? Yu Zhanghai's pat on the shoulder finally snapped him out of it. He swallowed hard. "Senior brother!" He suddenly became obedient, meekly trailing behind Yu Zhanghai. "You've gotten so awesome after coming out of seclusion, using a cleaver to kill a chicken. Not worth mentioning." Yu Zhanghai said, "Worth it, totally worth it. I've never seen Senior Brother's profound heaven palm before in my life, so damn powerful. My admiration for you is endless like a river, like..." Well, never mind. Yu Zhanghai walked into the camp and sat down. "Who did you learn to be such a brown noser hanging around with 7th junior brother for so long?" "Hee hee. Thanks for your help, senior brother. I'd be screwed if you weren't here today," Zhu Honggong said. Yu Zhanghai didn't scold him, but said, "Did 7th junior brother set up your 8-directional formation?" "Ahem. Senior brother has sharp eyes. Nothing gets past you," Yu Zhanghai continued to ask. "Did 7th junior brother get you the treasure meditation vest too?" Zhu Honggong hurriedly covered his chest. "Senior brother, please. This is the only treasure I have." Yu Zhanghai sighed, shaking his head. Zhu Honggong laughed again. "Senior brother, you're a top-tier character. How could you be interested in my treasure meditation vest? Your protective king alone is way better than this treasure." His voice grew softer, finally admitting honestly, "7th senior brother did get it from the Heaven Selection Temple for me." Yu Zhanghai said, "Don't waste 7th's good intentions. You would have died long ago if not for this treasure meditation vest." "Senior brother is right," Yu Zhanghai slowly said. "The righteous path suffered losses this time, so Zhang Yuanshan probably won't dare to offend us again with his temper. But we can't let our guard down. What senior brother said is very true." Yu Zhanghai glanced at the coffin next to him. "Did 4th junior brother say when he'd come to retrieve Baoyang?" Zhu Honggong counted on his fingers and replied, "He's scheduled to come get it in 3 days. In that case, I'll stay here for 3 days. Senior brother can stay for as long as you want." Yu Zhanghai smiled, shaking his head. "It's so boring to chat with you. It would be great if 7th were here." After speaking, he stood up, his right hand gently waved, and the mysterious coffin instantly flew in front of him. The jade green blade also appeared. "Senior brother, are you going to open the coffin?" Zhu Honggong saw the jade green blade, his face full of envy. It would be so great if there were a heaven-grade weapon in the coffin. The jade green blade slowly descended, and a crisp sound rang out on the pattern on the coffin's surface, indicating that the jade green blade had successfully unlocked it. But one last weapon was needed to fully open it. Zhu Honggong saw the coffin in front of him, his eyes wide and greedy. Zhu Honggong's eyes lit up, pondering. It would be great if there was a heaven-grade weapon inside the coffin. Seeing Yu Zhanghai constantly using the jade green blade to chop at the coffin, Zhu Honggong clapped from the outside. "Cheer! Well done, senior brother. Well done, master, oh master. How many treasures are you hiding after all? With your skill, senior brother, why don't you think of a way to open this coffin?" What if there are unimaginable treasures inside? Yu Zhenghai shook his head. What kind of treasure could be in this coffin that would attract him? Yu Zhenghai continued. Ever since the Demon Sky Pavilion began accepting disciples, Master has always given each person a set of suitable techniques and weapons. From then on, the Demon Sky Pavilion became famous throughout the world. Even if this coffin contains some kind of treasure, I wouldn't be surprised, Zhu Honggong exclaimed. That's right. Senior brother has relied on the Jade Green Blade and the Great Profound Heavenly Palm to defeat many experts. Later, establishing the Nether Sect also made him the current #1 demonic sect of Great Yan. Second Senior Brother's returning origin sword technique is so divine and unpredictable, he was unmatched in the battle at Upper Origin City, and he destroyed tens of thousands of valuable items. Yu Zhenghai turned his head and silently looked at Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong's heart suddenly skipped a beat, and he hurriedly added, Ahem, Second Senior Brother's returning origin sword technique is powerful, but it's still slightly inferior to Senior Brother's Great Profound Heavenly Palm, Yu Zhenghai said. Second Junior Brother's methods have always conflicted with mine, but oh well, who told me to be the Senior Brother? That's right. Senior Brother is generous and tolerant. How could ordinary people compare to you? Zhu Honggong also knew that Yu Shangrong had killed Chen Wenji. After all, Chen Wenji was from Senior Brother, and also one of the 3 great sword maniacs. His swordsmanship was superb, so he was also a powerful henchman. To lose someone like that, and Senior Brother doesn't even hold it against him. If this isn't generous and tolerant, then what is it? Yu Zhenghai had heard a lot of brown-nosing words, so he didn't react. Tell your people to clean up. Zhu Honggong hurriedly waved to his subordinates outside to take the time to tidy up the room. My Senior Brother wants to rest. He's Yu Zhenghai, the grand disciple of the Demon Sky Pavilion, who single-handedly forced back the righteous path, and also the leader of the unfathomable Nether Sect. Who would dare be rude to him? The subordinates immediately nodded and hurriedly ran to clean up the rooms. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye, and the early morning sunlight shone on Tiger Mountain Fortress. After being cleaned and repaired, the fortress looked quite tidy. Only the surrounding trees, which had been cut down miserably, couldn't stand up, and the fortress lacked a bit of scenery, giving off a barren feeling. 1,000 meters away from the fortress, Ming Shiyin appeared on schedule. He had originally planned to descend directly into Tiger Mountain Fortress, but felt that the scene here looked too strange, so he landed outside and investigated. There are traces of a high-level battle. Ming Shiyin wasn't stupid. Only a battle between great cultivators could make the surrounding scenery like this. He looked at Tiger Mountain Fortress suspiciously. Idiot 8th? Did something happen? He was a little worried. He tapped his feet lightly, and his whole body darted towards Tiger Mountain Fortress as fast as lightning. The scenery around Tiger Mountain also surprised him. The trees were all cut down. A flying chariot of the Righteous Path smashed on the ground attracted Ming Xinyan's attention. The title Righteous Path was engraved on the flying chariot. Just as he was feeling strange, a Tiger Mountain brother appeared nearby, bowing and said, Fourth, mister. Our campmaster has been waiting for you for a long time. Ming Xinyan was stunned. Waiting for me for a long time. Moreover, this low-level cultivator recognized him. Ming Xinyan landed and thought, it must be because my reputation is too great, so only 2 visits have made them deeply impressed. But how did 8th know that he had come to Tiger Mountain? The man continued. Yes, Great Senior Brother asked us to greet you, Great Senior Brother. Ming Xinyan frowned upon hearing this. Don't tell me that the leader of the Nether Sect, Yu Zhenghai, is on this mountain. Yes, it is, Great Senior Brother. Ming Xinyan was silent for a moment. Then Ming Shiyin panicked, and there was no pretense left. He scratched his hair and waved his hands. I suddenly remembered that I have something to do. I will come to get the sheep later. Oh, fourth mister, don't see me off, I have to go. Ming Shiyin waved his hand and hurried away. Just as he was about to use his method to leave, a voice came from Tiger Mountain. Since fourth has come, why are you in such a hurry to leave, Tani? It's been a long time since our brothers last met. Come into 8th's camp, so that our 3 brothers can catch up. I've prepared meat and wine. If you leave, it will make your senior brother sad. Yu Zhenghai sent a voice transmission, his words crystal clear. Ming Xinyan was utterly embarrassed. Ugh, talk about bad luck. With the invitation from the 4th senior brother, Ming Xinyan had no choice but to follow that guy into the mountain stronghold. Sure enough, a feast of meat and wine was already prepared inside, with senior brother Yu Zhenghai sitting there properly. When Ming Xinyan saw his senior brother, he felt a bit uneasy, but in the end he mustered all his courage and walked over. Nothing to be scared of. I can survive by master's side. Why should I be afraid of senior brother? Ming Xinyan cupped his fist in greeting. Senior brother, old 8, was also very proper, quickly standing up. 4th senior brother, Yu Zhenghai, laughed heartily. 4th junior brother, come, sit down quickly, let's pour some wine and drink until we drop. Ming Xinyan waved his hands repeatedly. Senior brother, your tolerance for alcohol is immense, how can I compare? Besides, I'm here to retrieve the yang, and I need to hurry back to report. Old 8, where's the yang that belongs to master? Yu Zhenghai said, no need to rush, the yang is right behind me. Come, sit down. How could Ming Shiyin refuse? So he walked over and sat down. He couldn't possibly fall out with senior brother and end up getting beaten. The cup in front of him was filled to the brim with wine. Yu Zhenghai suddenly asked, Old 4, I heard you often stand in front of master and criticize me, is that right? Ming Xinyan immediately replied, how could that be? Who dares to talk nonsense and slander senior brother? Yu Zhenghai's voice then became gentler, deeper, and kinder. Don't be nervous. If I can't even tolerate these small things from you junior brothers, how can I be worthy of being your senior brother? Zhu Honggong kept munching away and chimed in. That's right, senior brother isn't the petty kind to hold grudges. Yu Zhanghai then asked. Old 4, how's things on the mountain lately? Ming Shiyin said frankly. Ah, a bit better than before. Master is getting old, and those eyeing the evil sky pavilion are always looking for an opportunity to take a bite. Yu Zhanghai sighed. How's Master's health? Is his temper any better? Hearing this question, Zhu Honggong stopped eating and looked towards Ming Shiyin. His health is still okay, he can beat people without a problem. Ming Shiyin spoke very carefully. And his temper has indeed changed. Hearing this, Yu Zhanghai picked up his wine cup, drained it in one gulp, and laughed, saying, Master rewarded you with a heaven-tier weapon called the separation hook. Ming Shiyin was startled and replied, Senior brother's information is really well informed. Although I've left the evil sky pavilion for a long time, I still always think about it. Not lying to senior brother, I also want to ask you a question. We're brothers. Just chat freely, don't be so formal. Ming Shiyin asked seriously. When senior brother was still at the evil sky pavilion, what was its reputation like? Who dared to humiliate it back then? I'm very curious. Why did senior brother choose to leave the evil sky pavilion? He had asked old 7, Si Wu Yai, this question before, but unfortunately his answer was too vague. This time he was asking senior brother. Hoping to get a satisfactory answer, Yu Zhanghai drank 3 cups of wine in a row, and the little brother Meng Hushan kept refilling them. If I didn't leave the evil sky pavilion, there would only be one path left for me. Death. Ming Shiyin and Zhu Honggong were both slightly startled upon hearing this. That serious, Yu Zhanghai nodded indifferently and said, Let's not talk about this anymore, let's drink. Ming Shiyin blankly drank his cup, then another. Ugh! Everyone in the evil sky pavilion knew senior brother's tolerance for alcohol was high. He wouldn't fuss over other things. But when it came to drinking, he wanted to enjoy himself. Swallowing a few cups of hot wine, Ming Xiyin's whole body was burning. Senior brother had reminisced about the past and they'd drunk some wine. Now about that yang. Yu Zhanghai put down his wine cup, looking at Ming Xiyin seriously. Old 4. If I want to keep this yang, what are you going to do? Ming Xiyin immediately replied. A master's order is hard to disobey. Senior brother should understand master's temper. I'm just acting on orders. If I can't bring the yang back, I'll naturally be punished by master. Yu Zhanghai chuckled. You weren't like this before. In Wu Yai Junior brother's letter, he mentioned your changes, saying that you've become much more obedient. I didn't believe it. Now it seems Wu Yai Junior brother was right. Ming Xiyin grumbled with dissatisfaction. Old 7 always likes to talk behind people's backs. He's praising you, not bad-mouthing you. Don't mind it too much. Well, that's okay then. Say what you want. Old 8, Zhu Baji, was just shoving food into his mouth. Seeing a guest and eating so much, Yu Zhanghai glanced at Old 8 and then turned to look at Ming Xiyin. Master is getting old. The glory days of the evil sky pavilion are over. He can withstand it this year, but what about next year, the year after that, or 10 years from now? Zhu Honggong chewed as he said, Senior brother, I understand your meaning. I know master is old, and he can't avoid the great tribulation of lifespan. I'm tired of hearing this, Ming Xiyin replied. Master is still healthy now, so there's no need to talk about things that haven't happened yet. We can talk about the future later. Well said. Yu Zhanghai couldn't help but clap and praise Ming Xiyin's words. Zhu Honggong also said, Fourth senior brother is right. Ming Xiyin glared at him, scolding. Eat your food. Zhu Honggong picked up his chopsticks and occasionally glanced at the two of them. The two big shots were chatting. Why would I be so nosy and interrupt? After praising him, Yu Zhanghai said sincerely, Old 4, if you have nowhere to go in the future, remember that your senior brother's nether sect always has a place for you. Ming Xiyin cupped his fist. Thank you for senior brother's kindness. I heard that the 4 great protectors of the nether sect have at least 6 leaf cultivation. If I rely on connections to get in, I'm afraid I'll be envied by many people. Yu Zhanghai said confidently, I make the decisions in the nether sect. Seeing that Ming Xiyin was about to say something more, Yu Zhanghai continued, Don't be in a hurry to refuse. No one can be sure about the future. It's better to have a way out than a dead end, don't you think? Ming Xiyin fell silent, saying nothing. Zhu Honggong shamelessly said, Senior brother, do you want my Tiger Mountain to join the nether sect as well? Ming Xiyin frowned when he heard Zhu Honggong say that. Yu Zhanghai waved his hand and said, Just protect your Tiger Mountain stronghold well. Zhu Honggong felt that senior brother was looking at him with disgust, and fell silent for a moment. Ming Xiyin finished his wine and slowly stood up, then cupped his fist, and said to Yu Zhanghai, Master ordered me to bring the yang back. Please hand it over, senior brother. Clang. The chopsticks in Zhu Honggong's hand fell onto the table. Fourth senior brother is really bold, daring to speak to senior brother in such a tone. It's over. It's over. If senior brother gets angry, my broken stronghold won't be able to withstand it. Zhu Honggong secretly glanced at Yu Zhanghai. Yu Zhanghai wasn't angry at all, but on the contrary, he seemed very calm, gently nodding his head and saying, You can take the yang. Say hello to master for me. Tell him that Yu Zhanghai is in the 9 provinces and 4 seas, but his heart is still with the evil sky pavilion. Ming Xiyin replied, Thank you, senior brother. I will definitely pass on your words. Old 8. I have to return to the evil sky pavilion to report. If I have time, I'll visit you often, Zhu Honggong said. No need to be so polite. I'm extremely welcome. Yu Zhanghai waved his hand, causing the mysterious yang coffin lying in the corner of the house to float gently towards Ming Xiyin. Ming Shiyin caught it with one hand. It was as light as nothing inside. Ming Shiyin nodded and turned to walk out of the mountain stronghold. Zhu Honggong said after him, "Farewell, fourth senior brother." In the blink of an eye, Ming Xiyin's figure had disappeared without a trace. Zhu Honggong wiped the sweat from his face. "Senior brother, fourth senior brother is really something. How could he dare to speak to you in such a tone? If it weren't because he looks too skinny, I would have beaten him up." Yu Zhenghai snorted after hearing Zhu Honggong's words. Not stopping there, Zhu Honggong continued, "Ugh, of course senior brother wouldn't care about such small things. It's just a pity about that yang. That yang was made from a special material. Even the four great protectors working together couldn't make it budge, and the final key is in master's hands, so even if I kept that yang, it would be useless." Zhu Honggong said casually, "That magical? If that coffin is so sturdy, might as well use it as a weapon." Yu Zhenghai looked at Zhu Honggong again. Zhu Honggong became even more flustered. Senior brother, I misspoke again. No, you actually make a good point this time. Even top-tier heaven-grade weapons can't do anything to this box, so the box itself might just be some indestructible treasure. Zhu Honggong was clutching his head, regretting it so bad he wanted to die. Too bad everyone was too busy staring at the stuff in the box to notice the obvious. Meanwhile, Ming Shiyin returned to the Dark Heaven Pavilion. He stepped into the main hall. Ming Shiyin, carrying the box, walked up and asked, "Little Shimei, where's Shifu?" Xiao Yan'er, standing in front of the hall, said, "Fourth senior brother, you're back. Bad timing. Shifu thought you wouldn't be back until tonight, so he went into seclusion." Ming Shiyin nodded, his eyes wide. "Talk about bad timing. I ran into senior brother, but luckily I was super firm and gave him a good scolding, so he backed down. He knew he was in the wrong and couldn't argue with me, so he had to return the box." Xiao Yan'er clapped her hands and said, "As expected, fourth senior brother handles things the best." Ming Shiyin nodded again, then went around the hall and headed toward the secret chamber. Soon, he arrived outside the chamber. Ming Shiyin cleared his throat and said, "Shifu, this disciple was fortunate enough not to fail the mission and retrieved the box." Inside the secret chamber, Lu Zhao was snug as a bug in a rug, fast asleep. Hearing Ming Xiyin's voice, Lu Zhao opened his eyes and sat up. "What's the situation with the box?" Lu Zhao asked via telepathy. Ming Xiyin, hugging the box, grinned. "The senior brothers didn't make it too difficult for this disciple. They all used weapons to try and open it. Now all it needs is the Daqing ring." The door to the secret chamber slowly opened. Lu Zhao clasped his hands behind his back. He slowly walked out, his eyes fixed on the box in Ming Xiyin's hands. In his heart, Ming Xiyin was secretly pleased. He did so well this time. Will Shifu be happy and reward him? Ming Xiyin bowed and presented the box. "The box is here, Shifu." Lu Xiao ignored Ming Xiyin and just examined the box. The patterns on the 5 sides had all been activated, only the Danqing ring pattern was missing. Just hoping that what's inside the mysterious treasure box isn't a pile of trash. He muttered, "You need a lucky hand to open this." Ming Xiyin, hearing Shifu, asked, confused, "A lucky hand?" Ming Xiyin didn't understand. He only knew to watch as Shifu pondered, holding the box as he walked away. Lu Zhao nodded occasionally and shook his head at other times. He thought for a moment and said, "Leave." Ming Xiyin and Xiao Yan'er said in unison, "Disciple obeys." Lu Zhao didn't have time to guess what they were thinking. He took the box and returned to the secret chamber. He didn't know what was inside the treasure box, and it wouldn't be good if the 2 disciples saw him opening some great treasures. Once inside the chamber, Lu Zhao casually waved, and the box fell. He opened the system interface. The Daqing ring. Ye Tianxin's Daqing ring weapon was floating in front of him, emitting a faint light. The weapon, after being claimed and activated, shows its extraordinary nature even without the urging of primal energy. "I hope the treasure hidden inside this box isn't just a bunch of horns." Lu Zhao wrapped the Daqing ring in astral energy and pressed it into the pattern on the box. Here goes nothing. A soft click was heard, as if the internal mechanism had been activated, and a powerful golden glow emanated. Lu Zhao stared wide-eyed as the mysterious treasure box split into 2 halves, left and right. Ding! Successfully opened the mysterious treasure box, gained 1,000 merit points. Lu Zhao looked at the box with its dazzling light, not seeing anything, and wondered, what the heck? Gained items: 1 Ji Tiandao Peak State Card, Brahma Lasso, 3 Refining Talismans, 6 Harmonies Separation. Am I really lucky right now? He'd been transmigrated for so long. His emotions had gradually become numb, but this time he was truly shaken. The Ji Tiandao Peak State Card, even though it was only a 30-minute state, was an extremely powerful trump card. He had been unlucky for so long, and finally had a lucky moment. This feeling was even more stimulating than when he was playing Warcraft in his previous life and opened a twin blade equipment. Maybe it was because he had fully integrated into this new identity. Lu Zhao was much calmer and steadier than he was in his previous life. He looked at the Ji Tiandao Peak State card for a long time. After his emotions had completely calmed down, Lu Zhao murmured to himself, "Having learned from previous mistakes, I will not use this card unless it is absolutely necessary." Brahma Lasso, unactivated weapon. Brahma Lasso, recommended target for claiming Xiao Yan'er. He had never seen such a weapon before, so he didn't know how powerful the Brahma Lasso was. But if it was something for a disciple, he didn't need to keep it. The Brahma Lasso looked like a piece of cloth, and it would look ugly for a man to use it. He should still use a powerful weapon. This is fine. I won't have to worry about becoming rich because of finding weapons for Yan'er in the future. Refining Talisman can refine 4th order heaven-earth mysterious yellow weapons that have been claimed. Refining weapons has always been a difficult problem for cultivators. Many people, After killing people and stealing treasures, find that the weapons they seize that have already been claimed are the biggest headaches for them. Weapons that have already been claimed usually have a very high degree of compatibility with their original owners, and in order to break this compatibility and get them to cooperate with the new owner, they must be refined again. The conditions for refining weapons are very harsh, not only requiring cultivators to use their primal energy to burn and refine them, but also requiring special energy stones for refining. Energy stones can increase the quality of weapons, making them extremely valuable. Not bad, Lu Zhao suddenly remembered that when Ming Xinyin killed Zhang Quazi, he had obtained a heaven-grade weapon called the Life-Reaping Saber. Without a refining talisman, that Life-Reaping Saber could only be refined into a mysterious grade weapon at best. Life-Reaping Saber. The Life-Reaping Saber immediately appeared, floating in front of Lu Zhao. A refining talisman appeared in the palm of his hand, and with a thought, within a radius of half a meter, the refining talisman gradually dissipated into a faint red light, like flames burning, covering the Life-Reaping Saber. This special flame energy burned the Life-Reaping Saber, causing it to turn red and emit a vibrating sound. Lu Juhao was startled. He had obtained Ji Tiandao's memories, with a vast amount of knowledge, but he couldn't find a refining method in his memory that was similar to this flame. Swish, swish, swish. The Life-Reaping Saber seemed to be heated and melted, becoming soft, but the flames emanating from the refining talisman helped the Life-Reaping Saber maintain its original shape. Just as Lu Zhu was thinking about how long this refining method would take, ding. Refining complete, gained weapon. Life-Reaping Saber unactivated. That's it. The speed of refinement was completely beyond Lu Zhu's expectations. Normally, refining a heaven-grade weapon would take at least half a year, and up to 3 to 5 years. It would also take time to prepare the necessary raw materials. But this refining talisman refined a heaven-grade weapon in the blink of an eye? Lu Zhao couldn't help but be surprised. The Life-Reaping Saber was still floating in the air, its whole body glowing with a fiery red color. But then it slowly cooled down, without even needing to be dipped in water. I'll keep it for now. Lu Zhao already had the Nameless Sword, which could be transformed into any shape, so he didn't have much affection for other weapons. He waved his sleeve and took back the Life-Reaping Saber. 1 refining talisman was used up, leaving 2 more, 6 harmonies separation. Lu Zhu noticed the last reward for opening the treasure box. This Dharma body was sold in the mall for 12,000 merit points. He only spent 2,000 points to buy the treasure box, a huge profit. Lu Xiao unhesitatingly used the 6 harmonies separation. The 6 harmonies separation is an extremely important Dharma body used by cultivators in the Voyager realm to consolidate their cultivation. It means to use the 8 extraordinary meridians to mobilize primal energy skillfully. Lu Xiao's 8 meridians had been opened long ago, so when the power of the 6 harmonies separation poured into his body, it directly increased his cultivation. Previously, he could barely be considered a Voyager Realm 8 Meridian cultivator, but now he was a true Voyager Realm 8 Meridian cultivator in name and in fact. At the same time, as Lu Xiao's cultivation improved, there was a commotion around the Dark Heaven Pavilion. A beam of light shot straight into the sky like a laser. Zhao Yanhe and Ming Xiyin, who were sitting outside the main hall eating cakes, felt the primal energy coming from the secret chamber, each holding a cake in their hands, just about to put it in their mouths, when Ming Xinyin had a hunch. Having fallen once before, he had become wiser. Ming Xinyin smiled and said to little Shimei, "There is no need to go and see. It must be that Shifu, the old man, is trying out the magic of another sect again." Xiao Yancher blinked her big eyes. "Magic from another sect?" Ming Xinyin nodded. "The last time someone opened 8 meridians on Dark Heaven Pavilion, I thought an enemy was invading. Fortunately, Shifu only punished me and Dong Mianbi for repenting. Obviously, Shifu is cultivating the techniques of another sect. This kind of primal energy fluctuation is at most a Voyager Realm cultivator." Xiao Yanhe shoved a piece of pastry into her mouth and exclaimed, "Oh!" Ming Xinyin glanced over and praised, "Don't forget, the evil heart meditation was sent back to the Western Paradise by Master with his great fearless seal of Buddhism." Hearing, Xiao Yanhe hurriedly ran off. Ming Xinyin didn't bother consoling his junior sister, but quickly grabbed the bag of pastries from her hand. Xiao Yanhe's voice echoed, "Fourth senior brother's analysis is very reasonable. I should go cultivate." Sometimes Xiao Yanhe felt she was too lazy. Master was so old yet still diligently cultivated, while she, on the other hand, just lazed around all day doing nothing. Ming Xiyin teased, "Little junior sister, the path of cultivation should be taken slowly. You mustn't rush. Your innate talent is truly rare. Later on, the senior brothers and sisters might even have to rely on you to protect them." Hee hee. Xiao Yanhe was flattered, her eyes crinkling with joy as she ran off in spurts. Xiao Yanhe suddenly thought of something, and she became serious again, huffing, "I wouldn't bother protecting the senior brothers and sisters." With that, she continued to run away. Ming Xinyin scratched his head, wondering, "I usually treat little junior sister very well. Did I offend her somehow? Why is she acting like this?" Just then, Zhao Yue suddenly hurried over from behind. "Fourth senior brother! There's an anomaly at Gengzi Zhen. It seems someone is targeting the Evil Sky Pavilion." Ming Xinyin's face was full of doubt. "Someone's targeting the Evil Sky Pavilion. How do you know?" Gengzi Zhen isn't far from the Evil Sky Pavilion, but it's still a distance. Normally, people from the Evil Sky Pavilion wouldn't leave Golden Court Mountain unless something special happened. Previously, Master wanted to gather external information, so he sent Zhao Yanhe to the post station in Gengzi Zhen to eavesdrop. But recently, Zhao Yanhe hasn't been going out anymore. As for Zhao Yu, she's been solely focused on healing in her room to restore her cultivation. Zhao Yu said, "Someone sent a secret report." Ming Shiyin asked, "Who?" Zhao Yu looked a bit worried. The informant is an ordinary person, but it's likely a powerful expert guided him. "We sent some disguised female cultivators to Gengzizhen to investigate, and confirmed there is indeed an anomaly there." Ming Shiyin comforted his junior sister with the bag of pastries he just snatched from Zhao Yanhe. Zhao Yu paused, quickly ate a piece of pastry, and continued. "There are 3,000 cavalrymen stationed in Gengzizhen, which isn't scary, but there are also more than a dozen cultivators in red robes, appearing and disappearing, often wandering around the vicinity of Gengzizhen." Ming Shiyin was speechless. "You describe them like wandering ghosts." "Ugh. Fourth senior brother, that's not the point," Ming Shiyin said. "Keep talking." Zhao Yue voiced her thoughts. "These cultivators in red robes are probably descendants of the Tenvu. They came to visit the Evil Sky Pavilion a few days ago, so I suspect they're up to something." Ming Shiyin showed disdain. "Master didn't even bother with them. How dare they still be dissatisfied?" Zhao Yu said, "After all, they come from the palace. The person behind the scenes may outwardly fear the Evil Sky Pavilion's strength, but they could very well be doing something earth-shattering behind our backs." Ming Shiyin nodded, looking at Zhao Yu with a probing gaze. Leave this matter to me." Zhao Yu glanced at Ming Shiyin. "Sorry for troubling fourth senior brother." Ming Shiyin asked, "How's your cultivation recovery going?" Zhao Yu replied, "About 50% of my power. The Jade Purity Art has a natural advantage, and with Master's improvements, it's even more beneficial to my cultivation." Ming Shiyin nodded. "That's good." From the direction of the Lost Hall came the sound of moving mechanisms. Followed by footsteps, Lu Zhao slowly walked out, hands clasped behind his back, gradually exiting the hall. Zhao Yu and Ming Shiyin, who were sitting, were a bit startled, and said loudly in unison, "Disciple greets master." Lu Zhao continued to walk calmly, his gaze falling upon Ming Shiyin and Zhao Yu. During this trip to obtain treasures, Ming Xiyin's loyalty never wavered. Si Wuyai and Yu Zhenghai are both skilled in winning people's hearts, but Ming Xiyin wasn't swayed by them, indicating Lu Zhao's previous actions had a significant impact. Zhao Yu's loyalty has increased quite a bit. Though it hasn't reached 70% yet, it is continuously increasing. Lu Zhao opened his mouth and said, "I heard what you were saying." Ming Xiyin bowed. "Master?" This disciple finds that these people don't know what's good for them. They outwardly seek peace, but secretly covet the Evil Sky Pavilion. This disciple is willing to go down the mountain. Lu Zhao stepped forward, reached into his pocket, took out a piece of pastry, and said, "I'm afraid things aren't that simple." While enjoying the crispy pastry, Lu Zhao said, "If Mo Li knew the Evil Sky Pavilion's strength, would he only prepare these few tricks?" Hearing this, Ming Xiyin immediately asked, "What does master mean?" Lu Zhao replied, "The Tenvu are skilled in formations. Wu Sheng and Wu Guan are still trying their best to hide their cultivation, but it's no lower than 4 leaves." Ming Xiyin and Zhao Yue were startled when they heard this. In the cultivation world, low-level cultivators are numerous. Entering the Vanquishing Sea realm, being able to fly is only considered entry-level. Entering the Divine Court realm is considered to have achieved some success. Only entering the Primal Spirit realm deserves to be called a true powerhouse. Wandering in the cultivation world, from 1 leaf to 3 leaves, the cultivation difference isn't significant, but from 4 leaves onwards, each time a leaf is opened, there is a qualitative leap. Wu Sheng and Wu Guan may look ordinary, but they actually have 4 leaves cultivation. Ming Xiyin eagerly asked, "Master, are we just going to stand by and watch them act recklessly in front of us?" Lu Ju shook his head. If the peak trial card wasn't so precious, he could have crushed them all by himself. Lu Juchu thought for a moment and asked, "Where's the Evil Sky Pavilion's flying chariot?" Ming Xiyin replied, "The cloud-piercing flying chariot has been in the North Pavilion for a long time, unused." He thought for a moment and added, "Master, don't you already have a mount? Using the flying chariot wouldn't suit your status." Lu Xiao, with a slightly cold gaze, said, "A mount can't carry many people. If they like to cause trouble, then I'll bring people along to play with them." Ming Xiyin and Zhao Yu's eyes widened with excitement upon hearing this. In his heart, Ming Xiyin thought, "Old man master, you're planning to take your disciples out to wreak havoc. It's been a long time since we've done this. Just thinking about it is so exciting." Ming Xiyin immediately jumped up. "Master, this disciple will immediately have people clean the flying chariot. It will be ready for your use very soon," Lu Ju ordered. "Go!" Ming Xiyin excitedly ran off. "This is going to be great. Time to stretch my muscles." Lu Zhao looked at Zhao Yu. Zhao Yu entered the sect not long ago, but her cultivation is quite a bit lower than Ye Tiangxin. She is currently only at the peak of the Divine Court realm. The flaws in the Jade Purity Art have greatly affected her cultivation, and the fact that she doesn't have a good weapon to use is like losing an arm. All things considered, Zhao Yue and Zhao Yanhe both need a suitable weapon. Zhao Yanhe already has the Heaven-Sundering Ribbon, so what will Zhao Yu use? The Life-Severing Saber. At this moment, Zhao Yu's head was full of the idea of butchering people in all directions. Lu Zhao recalled the appearance of the Life-Severing Saber. That weapon was big and heavy. Would a delicate woman like Zhao Yu be uncomfortable using this kind of weapon? Lu Zhao asked. "How far have you cultivated the Jade Purity Art?" Hearing Master's question, Zhao Yu replied, "Reporting to Master, it has improved a lot. Since the Jade Purity Art was supplemented and corrected, my cultivation has also been continuously increasing," Zhao Yu earnestly said with a determined voice. "Disciple will definitely not fail Master's expectations." Lu Zhu nodded. Unfortunately, you cultivate the Jade Purity art, and there is currently no weapon suitable for you. Zhao Yu hurriedly knelt down, prostrating herself. Zhao Yu is already extremely satisfied with how things are now. I dare not ask Master to bestow a weapon upon me. Lu Zhao noticed that her loyalty increased by another 2%. He was just saying something casually, and her loyalty increased. Truly unexpected. It can be seen that in the past, Ji Tiandao always treated his disciples with harsh scoldings. Lu Zhao waved his hand. You may leave. Disciple takes her leave. Zhao Yu stood up and left the Evil Sky Pavilion. Lu Zhao was still thinking about finding a weapon, treasure box. Lu Zhao's eyes lit up. He returned to the secret chamber, looking at the two halves of the bare treasure box. He walked back and forth muttering, the box is left in two halves, might as well throw it away. But after a moment, Lu Zhao mused, this box can withstand that famous sword. It's definitely not an ordinary item. Si Wuyai, Yu Shangrong, and Yu Zhenghai all wanted to know what was inside the box when they saw it, but they couldn't open it. Lu Zhao noticed that all 6 sides of the box had patterns, 3 on the left half and 3 on the right half. He waved his hand, and with a click-clack sound, the 3 patterns on the left half of the box automatically rotated, combining to form a bizarre object. He waved his hand again, and the 3 patterns on the right half of the box also rotated and combined in the same way, forming a shape exactly like the left half. His eyes widened. This is... Lu Zhao didn't recognize this thing. Of the 18 types of martial arts, none seem to look like this. It's neither round nor square, somewhat like an irregular block. Acquired weapon, Li Hen Twin, usage form. Gauntlets. Easier to understand, it's a type of glove. This coffin is totally a weapon. Looking at it now, these 2 weird blocks really look like gauntlets. It can handle most attacks from other heaven-grade weapons, so this gauntlet itself must be heaven-grade too. From start to finish, this coffin has been a forgotten treasure. But Lu Zhao didn't see any system prompt about target recognition. The previous weapons all had suggestions for target recognition, but not this coffin. Shouldn't it suggest Zhao Yue as the owner? Lu Zhao suddenly imagined Zhao Yue wearing the gauntlets, her hands as steady as iron claws. Kinda gives me the creeps. Either way, it's a treasure, at least on par with the truncating fate saber. Lu Zhu retrieved the weapon and stepped out of the secret chamber, into the main hall. He saw Zhao Yanhe and Zhao Yue standing there. Zhao Yue hadn't returned to her cultivation room. Seeing her master appear, Zhao Yue bowed and said, Disciple greets master. Lu Jue then asked, What's up? Junior Brother 7th sent a letter saying that the Ma Xia sect leader, Ren Buping, has also arrived in Gangxi town and, spit it out, Zhao Yu continued. Moreover, the descendants of the Tenvu are setting up a formation, plotting to devour the Golden Court Mountains barrier. Lu Zhao's heart skipped a beat, but he remained calm on the surface. Is 7th's information reliable? Xiao Yanhe angrily said, It's not just Senior Brother 7th. Jiang Aijian also sent a letter. Master, look at this. They're pretending to make peace, but behind our backs they're plotting something big. I should have chopped them into 8 pieces that day, she scolded as she handed over Jiang Aijian's letter. Si Wuyai and Jiang Aijian sent the same message. 2 identical messages. Lu Jiju stroked his beard thoughtfully. Everyone knows how strong the Golden Court Mountain barrier is. Even when the 10 great experts besieged Golden Court Mountain, they couldn't do anything to the barrier for a while. If they use a powerful formation to devour the barrier, using a formation to counter a formation might not work. And this involves the descendants of the 10 Vu, and the Vu sorcery expert, Mo Li. With their Vu sorcery skills, who knows how they'll sneakily steal the barrier without anyone noticing. We need to be careful dealing with these guys, but what excuse do we use? We can't just wait until they steal the barrier and then reason with them. Thinking of this, Lu Ju shook his head. That's not right. Why does my evil sky pavilion need an excuse? Lu Juju opened his mouth and said, Su Yueming, Shiyin, hurry up. Also, bring Fan Shuen and the Black Knights here. Since that's the case, I'll strike first. Disciple obeys. At the same time, in the North Pavilion of the Evil Sky Pavilion, Ming Xiyin led nearly a dozen female cultivators in quickly cleaning the flying chariot. The female cultivators wiped and gossiped. This is the largest flying chariot in the Evil Sky Pavilion, the cloud-piercing flying chariot. It's long and narrow and oval-shaped. The entire body is made of rare materials. It's over 10 zang long and over 3 zang wide. The body of the flying chariot is engraved with formation patterns and intricate, ornate carvings. The color of the flying chariot is slightly dark, making it look ordinary, but if you carefully appreciate it, you'll see that the formation patterns and carvings are very regular. When primordial chi is poured into it, it creates stunning effects. When flying at night, it looks like a shooting star with a long tail. Some female cultivators were standing and wiping, some were kneeling and wiping, and some were lying face down and wiping. The female cultivators kept gossiping. Small flying chariots only need 1 fierce beast to pull them, but they can only carry 1 or 2 people, so their effectiveness is limited. A giant flying chariot like the Cloudpiercer is like a mobile home. Ming Xinyin stood next to the flying chariot, hands behind his back, pacing and thinking. We're short on manpower, how are we going to fly the chariot? Ming Xinyin sometimes stroked his chin, and sometimes scratched his head. Such a large flying chariot needs at least 38 Meridian Sea of Qi cultivators, and 5 Divine Court cultivators, and also 28 Meridian Sea of Qi cultivators, as backup to take turns resting. For small sects, it's already very difficult to have one Divine Court cultivator. The 8 Meridian Sea of Qi realm is considered the main force of small sects. Previously, when the Yuntian Luo 3 sects cooperated, they selected 10 Divine Court cultivators from more than 10,000 disciples to cooperate with Ye Tianxin to besiege Lu Jiao. But he killed them all with one string technique, driving the 3 sects crazy. They lost so many elites, how could they not hate the evil sky pavilion? Ming Xinyin pointed to a female cultivator. You, come here. What are Fourth Master's orders? Ming Xinyin then asked the female cultivator. How many people does your moon-reflecting palace have in total? And what is the highest cultivation level? The female cultivator quickly replied. Reporting to Fourth Master, there are 10 Profound Connection Realm cultivators, 10 Focus Realm cultivators, and 2 8 Meridian Sea of Qi Realm cultivators. Ming Xiyin continued to ask, no Divine Court Realm cultivators? The female cultivator shook her head. There were originally 3 Divine Court Realm cultivators, but one betrayed us, and the other 2 were killed by the Ma Sha sect after the Palace Master's accident. Ming Xiyin awkwardly said, even Tianxin's senior sister's moon-reflecting palace has traitors? Looks like their management isn't anything special. That's why the Palace Master set a rule that anyone who joins the Moon-Reflecting Palace must never have any personal relationships with the opposite sex for the rest of their lives. Ming Xiyin looked at the group of female cultivators with a complicated expression. That's cruel. The female cultivator bowed and continued to work. Ming Xiyin scratched his head again. Only 2 8 Meridian Sea of Qi Realm cultivators? That's still not enough. This is difficult. Some flying chariots require cultivators to stand outside the chariot and pour primordial qi into it, which requires cultivators capable of flying. The cloud-piercing flying chariot can pour primordial qi from the inside, but the problem is that there aren't enough people. Fourth Master, do you need us for something? Not far away, Pan Zhang and Zhu Jifeng were bowing and greeting. Ming Xiyin, you've come at the right time. Take a look at what this flying chariot looks like. The two of them stared at the cloud-piercing flying chariot. Its reputation precedes it. Back then, the Pavilion Master sat on this chariot and swept across Great Yan and Rongbei, shaking the world. That's right. Do you want to sit on it? I can tell you want to sit on it. Ming Xiyin arrogantly said, it's okay. Help me control the flying chariot later. It would be a waste not to use such a good flying chariot. Ming Xiyin glanced at them. What, do you have any objections? Zhu Jifeng and Pan Zhang hurriedly nodded. No, we're completely willing. One is the former chief disciple of the Heavenly Sword Sect, Zhu Jifeng, a Divine Court Realm cultivator. The other is a member of the Pure Clarity Dao sect, Pan Zhang. Although these two are slightly stronger than ordinary Divine Court Realm cultivators, it's still not enough. Ming Xiyin continued to lie down and think. Junior sister. Forget it. Junior sister seems to still be angry these past few days. Hua Wudao? He's a evil Sky Pavilion elder now anyway, and he's also a 6-leaf cultivator. It's a disservice to his status to have a dignified 6-leaf cultivator drive a flying chariot. Fourth senior brother. Zhao Yu quickly stepped forward. What's wrong? Zhao Yu said. Master is urging us again. Ming Xiyin frowned. Fifth junior sister, I just happen to be short on manpower. With you, that's 3 Divine Court Realm cultivators. It seems like it's still a little short. Just as they were discussing, Lu Jiao appeared outside the North Pavilion. Besides Lu Jiao, there were also Fan Xuan and 2 Black Knights, Yue Zhong and Duan Yanhong, whose cultivation levels were extremely tightly sealed. Xiao Yancher, Duan Musheng, and Hua Wudao were also beside him, walking slowly alongside Lu Jiao. Everyone bowed. Master, Pavilion Master. Lu Jiao looked at the cloud-piercing flying chariot with satisfaction and nodded, saying, Get on the chariot, Ming Xiyin said loudly. Master. Gangzi Town isn't far from Golden Court Mountain, how about we walk? Using the flying chariot requires too many people, and seems a bit too ostentatious. Fourth senior brother, you're letting Master walk? Hua Wudao cupped his hands and said, The cloud-piercing giant chariot has a very fast burst speed. I heard that the descendants of the Tenvu are in Gangzi Town. They are skilled in Great Vu sorcery formations. This flying chariot can avoid the influence of the formations, and can also be used to pursue enemies. Using great divine power techniques is too wasteful of primordial qi. If we have a flying chariot, of course we should use it well. Ugh, everyone hop on the flying chariot. The female cultivators tossed Fan Xuan's group up. Fan Xuan's face was super ugly. It's useless even if you capture me. She won't be threatened by you. Although I'm the Black Knight leader, I've long seen through life and death. Xiao Yanher said fiercely. Shut your trap. What prisoner blabs as much as you? Soon enough, everyone was settled in the flying chariot. Why aren't we going yet? Hurry. I've never even ridden the transverse cloud flying chariot before, ya know? Xiao Yanher urged. Ming Xiyin shook his head helplessly, having to bow and say, We still need 2 Divine Court experts for the chariot to take off. Lu Ju waved his hand. Ming Xiyin, with your disciple at the helm, 1 nascent soul expert is worth 10 Divine Court experts. Lu Jiao said. Ugh, Ming Xiyin cursed inwardly. You gotta be kidding me, why'd it end up being me? He hastily said. Master, Your disciple is, for better or worse, a key member of the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Isn't driving the chariot a bit? Lu Zhao's gaze landed on Ming Shiyin. Yu Zhanghai drove for 5 years and never uttered a single complaint. Are you more precious than him? Lu Zhao said plainly. Disciple wouldn't dare. I was just saying, I'll drive, I'm a skilled driver, I swear. Ming Shiyin immediately changed his tune. He jumped onto the flying chariot and obediently ran to the controls. Duan Wusheng also jumped up and patted Ming Shiyin's shoulder. Hey, don't look at me. Master ordered me to keep a close eye on those 3 Fan Xuan guys. Can't let anything go wrong. Drive carefully, Ming Shiyin. And here I thought third senior brother was all honest on the outside, but you're so scheming on the inside. Ming Shiyin braced himself, placing his hands on the transverse cloud-flying chariot's steering wheel. Everyone settled in. In an instant, as primordial chi poured in, the long, dormant flying chariot resonated with a melodious sound of primordial chi. The powerful energy activated the array patterns and carvings on the chariot's body. The transverse cloud-flying chariot lit up brilliantly, emitting a dazzling light. The array patterns on the body emitted primordial chi, which, upon condensing and colliding with the external astral winds, instantly generated propulsion. The entire void of the northern pavilion trembled. The flying chariot slowly ascended. The transverse cloud-flying chariot lingered in the sky above the Demon Heaven Pavilion for a moment. The female cultivators who didn't get a chance to ride the chariot all looked up at the sky. From below, the chariot looked like a small, glowing boat. Ming Xingyin suddenly felt that standing at the bow of the ship and steering wasn't so bad. The entire Golden Court Mountain was in view. Let's go! Ming Xingyin announced. The flying chariot gradually moved forward in the sky. Slowest speed over Gengzi town, which isn't far from here, Lu Zhao instructed. Your disciple obeys. The speed slowed down. Everyone stood by the side of the flying chariot, observing the landscape below. Some unique flying-type fierce beasts flew in the clouds, and sunlight filtered through, creating a stunning scene inside the chariot. Lu Zhao said, Elder Hua, please. Hua Wudao was flattered, and immediately made a gesture of invitation, letting Lu Zhao take the lead, and the two walked side by side to the front of the chariot. Standing in the best position to enjoy the scenery, Ming Xingyin arduously pushed chi into the drums to operate the flying chariot. Hua Wudao stood there, looking at the sky and earth. He even recited a few lines. Overlooking the earth, mountains, rivers, trees, forests, and streams, the sunlight shines through the clouds, a captivating scene. Such beautiful scenery compels me to compose a poem. Suddenly a loud shout, Elder Hua is falling! From afar, an old codger was seen falling off the flying chariot. After Hua Wudao fell, the flying chariot had no choice but to swoop down to pick him up. Duan Musheng then asked, Elder Hua, are you all right? The old man lowered his head, embarrassed. Ah, I'm fine, Hua Wudao continued. The Cloud Sect has 2 flying chariots, one used by the sect leader and one used by the sect leader's daughter. But compared to the transverse cloud flying chariot, even both of them combined can't match it. Hua Wudao praised from the bottom of his heart. Lu Zhao slowly replied, It's just a tool to replace walking. Not worth mentioning. Hua Wudao nodded. A tool to replace walking. This saying from the pavilion master is truly refreshing. The transverse cloud-flying chariot continued to fly leisurely. Hua Wudao thought for a moment and said, Fan Xuan is a prisoner, and his cultivation has been sealed. If we're going to seek justice from the descendants of Shi Wu, why bring them along? Lu Zhao explained, Fan Xuan is the leader of the Black Knights, with profound cultivation, but he was willing to kneel and beg the seat for Mo Li's sake. Hua Wudao then asked, Is the pavilion master saying that Mo Li might yield for Fan Xuan's sake? Not necessarily. Lu Zhu stroked his beard, saying, With Fan Xuan's knowledge and temperament, what kind of woman hasn't he seen? How could there be someone who would make him willingly bow his head? Even unafraid of life and death, Fan Xuan doesn't seem like the infatuated type at all. Hua Wudao shook his head helplessly. Witchcraft. It must be. Indeed it is, Hua Wudao revealed a look of astonishment. I thought this kind of despicable, evil method had long been lost, but I didn't expect it to still exist today. Lu Zhao continued. The world is vast, and there is no shortage of strange things. The flying chariot soared across the horizon, and as it approached Gengzi town, some cultivators flying at low altitudes saw this scene. Flying chariot! It's a flying chariot! Which great sect's flying chariot is that? Can't see it clearly, and there's no sect insignia. The young cultivators naturally didn't recognize the transverse cloud flying chariot. Some veteran cultivators widened their eyes, excitedly saying, This is Ji Tiandao's transverse cloud flying chariot, Demon Heaven Pavilion, the Demon Heaven Pavilion's flying chariot. The cultivators immediately lowered themselves, fearfully watching the transverse cloud-flying chariot slowly flying in the sky. Some with weaker nerves had already fled. Back then, when Ji Tiandao dominated the world, he sat on this flying chariot. Didn't everyone say that Ji Tiandao's great tribulation was approaching? And he's now enjoying his old age on Golden Court Mountain? A skinny camel is still bigger than a fat horse. Don't forget how the 10 great experts besieged Golden Court Mountain last time, ending in a miserable defeat. The cultivators in the vicinity of Gengzi town all looked up, and when they mentioned the name of the Demon Heaven Pavilion's founder, everyone's expression changed. Before long, the transverse cloud-flying chariot glided over the landscape and arrived at Gengzi town. Pan Zheng observed the land and raised his eyebrows, saying, Pavilion Master, please look below. There's a misty haze of witchcraft rising up. It's a bit strange, Zhu Jifeng suspiciously said. That's right, isn't it? It's a beautiful sunny day, so why is there a misty haze of witchcraft? Zhao Yanhair asked. Is it a great witchcraft formation? I'm so smart I once went to the Fairy Heaven River with my master. This kind of phenomenon of witchcraft filling the ground, other than it not being light purple, looks exactly like the great witchcraft formation at the Fairy Heaven River. This formation doesn't look like it was just set up 7 days ago. Quickly channeled primordial chi into it, Ming Xinyin turned his head and looked at him. It's very simple. This means they arranged this great formation long before coming to the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Everyone was shocked. Hua Wudao looked towards Lu Jiao, who was standing beside him. Lu Jiao's expression remained calm. Without a trace of fluctuation, Hua Wudao said. It seems that the one in the palace never intended to seek peace from the beginning to the end. Lu Jiao was not surprised at all, having anticipated it. Seeing the density of that misty haze of witchcraft. This great formation is no ordinary thing. It's been prepared for a very long time. It was right to bring the transverse cloud flying chariot here, Ming Xiyin. Let your disciple take a lap around Golden Court Mountain on patrol. Ming Xiyin straightened his back, his whole body revealing an energetic and excited spirit. Hua Wudao nodded. Pavilion Master. You are truly insightful, Lu Ju replied. Knowing yourself and your enemy, you can win every battle. The transverse cloud flying chariot's speed suddenly increased, almost several times faster than before. The scenery and architecture on the ground passed by in a blur. Pan Zhang carefully observed every anomaly below. The four of them continuously channeled their power to boost the chariots. The Demon Heaven Pavilion has always been feared and respected by the world, so within a radius of dozens of miles around here, except for Gengzi Town, no one dares to live, and there are very few cultivators. The flying chariots soared past many places, and below, a misty haze of witchcraft rose up. Moreover, these hazes were slowly moving towards Golden Court Mountain, and a portion of them had already come into contact with the barrier. People who don't understand formations would think this is just a very normal, natural phenomenon. The transverse cloud-flying chariot's speed increased again. Ming Xiyin steered. Zhao Yu, Pan Zhang, and Zhu Jifeng assisted in pouring primordial chi into it, and the flashing long-tail effect of the flying chariot appeared. Golden Court Mountain was very large, and the time it took to go around it was not short. But for the transverse cloud-flying chariot, it was nothing. A moment later, Ming Xiyin said loudly, "We're about to reach Gengzi Town again!" He deliberately added the word again to the sentence, meaning the transverse cloud-flying chariot had completed a full circle. Pavilion Master, I've checked carefully. Only the area 3 miles south of Golden Court Mountain has a formation set up. There's nothing in other places. Lu Zhao nodded. The descendants of Shiwu, after all, are not Shiwu. They can't possibly possess all of Shiwu's methods. Hua Wudao agreed. Shiwu was someone who had achieved great success in witchcraft, but for the descendants of Shiwu to be able to set up a 3-mile great formation is already no simple feat. The transverse cloud-flying chariot's speed gradually slowed down. The flashing comet tail effect also gradually disappeared. At the same time, the cultivators in red robes who were setting up the great formation in the vicinity of Gengzi Town all stopped their actions and looked up at the sky. The huge transverse cloud-flying chariot had attracted their attention. The 3 cultivators in red robes quickly gathered together, forming 3 rows. Wu Sheng and Wu Guan looked at each other. It's the Demon Heaven Pavilion's flying chariot. They still haven't figured it out yet. Yu Guan's normally calm face twisted into a sinister smirk. The Mao Sha sect already agreed to join forces with us. I wonder when they'll arrive. Before he could finish his sentence, the sound of the skyship chariot echoed from the horizon. The skyship chariot began to decelerate, slowly descending. As the concentrated true essence was poured in, the light around the skyship chariot faded. Without the light enveloping it, the chariot looked even more like a small boat floating in the sky. The chariot stopped. Hovering motionless at treetop level, Yu Sheng and Yu Guan's eyelids twitched a few times. Above the skyship chariot, Lu Zhao and Hua Wudao stood at the very edge, looking down at the red-robed cultivators. Not leaving for a second, the red-robed cultivators flew towards the skyship chariot. Reaching the same altitude as the skyship chariot, they simultaneously bowed. Yu Sheng pays respects to Senior Ji. The other red-robed cultivators also bowed. Lu Zhao clasped his hands behind his back, his gaze sweeping over the 3 red-robed cultivators. How far along is the formation? Straight to the point, no dilly-dallying. Yu Sheng's heart skipped a beat, clearly. The Evil Sky Pavilion knew about their formation setup. Who dared to leak such a secret, Yu Sheng said. Pavilion Master, we're just following orders. Happened to be staying in Gengzi Town for a few days. This kind of talk was a waste of time, completely meaningless. Lu Zhao asked again. Where's Mo Li? Yu Sheng replied. Lord Mo is far away in the divine capital. I don't know what business the Pavilion Master has with him, but I can relay a message. Lu Zhao's cold gaze swept over the red-robed cultivators before him. Not only were they unafraid, but they even dared to secretly covet the Evil Sky Pavilion's things, wanting to steal the barrier's power and pretending they knew nothing. What a bunch of fraudsters, Lu Zhu said coldly. Bold, aren't we? The group of red-robed cultivators was slightly startled, not quite understanding Lu Zhu's words. Ming Xiyin shouted coldly, daring to have malicious intentions towards Golden Court Mountain. Are you tired of living? Hurry up and destroy this formation. Obediently kneel down and surrender. If my master is in a good mood, he might spare your lives. Hearing this, Yu Sheng turned around and saw that Ming Xiyin was the one who spoke. Formation. This junior really doesn't understand him. He maintained his innocent facade. Lu Zhao shook his head and sighed. Duan Musheng, if they don't understand, then you go and teach them a lesson. Duan Musheng was overjoyed, brandishing his overlord spear. This disciple obeys. With that, Duan Wusheng leaped down, leaving the skyship chariot. Lu Xiao, seeing a female cultivator bringing a chair, signaled Hua Wudao to join him. Inviting Hua Wudao quickly responded, "Many thanks, Pavilion Master." The two sat in front of the skyship chariot, watching the battle from above. Yu Sheng didn't expect the evil sky pavilion to attack so suddenly. At this point, he was certain that the Tenvu's plan had been exposed. The three red-robed cultivators retreated, backing away into the air, their formation scattering. This junior treated the evil sky pavilion with sincerity. But the evil sky pavilion is being so aggressive, this junior has no choice but to defend himself, you shameless thing. Zhao Yanhe stood on the skyship chariot, pointing at Yu Sheng and scolding him. Duan Wusheng held the overlord spear in his hand, standing in front of Yu Sheng and Yu Guan, the spear casting 1,000 shadows. Everyone, please give this little sis a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to motivate me to release more videos. Little sis will reveal that there are many super awesome long stories under the comments or in the playlist. Bros and sisters, please watch and support Little Sis. Little Sis is extremely grateful. Yu Sheng and Yu Guan formed a hand seal. Two faint purple halos appeared, merging into one, blocking in front of Duan Wusheng. Bang! Both sides retreated. But Duan Wusheng didn't stop, Duan Wusheng exclaimed. As expected, Vu Art cultivator of the nascent divinity tribulation realm, they continued to fight fiercely. None of the low-level cultivators around Gengzi town dared to approach. Hua Wudao, watching the battle from afar, couldn't help but praise, Duan Wusheng has a heaven-grade weapon. Fighting two opponents alone, he can be said to be unparalleled in bravery. Lu Zhao shook his head, not satisfied. Duan Wusheng's cultivation was only at the opening realm. How long would it take if he continued to fight like this? However, this battle could temper him, helping him grow quickly. After a brief but intense battle, a muffled sound came from Gengzi town. Everyone on the skyship chariot turned to look. In the rear of Gengzi town was a black dragon chariot, slightly smaller than the skyship chariot, slowly flying over, passing through the weapon screen, crossing Gengzi town, its speed neither fast nor slow, and not flying high. What made people wary was that around the dragon chariot were about 400 limitless sea realm cultivators guarding it. Soaring through the air, someone standing nearby asked, "How can you tell there are 400 cultivators?" Seeing the flag banner, the people shouted, "The Ma Sha sect!" The commoners of Gengzi town were all panicked, hiding in their houses and closing their doors, not daring to come out. These were all devils, guilty of heinous crimes, who would dare to show their faces. Lu Xiao remained calm. The Ma Sha sect's black dragon chariot is not as good as the skyship, but it has 400 limitless sea realm cultivators around it, plus a few divine tribunal realm cultivators. On top of that, the cultivators channeling true essences to create the resonant sound from earlier makes people feel pressured. The reactions of the unrelated people in Gengzi town were the best proof. The low-level cultivators all scattered far away. As the black dragon chariot came into view, Duan Wusheng retreated under his control. The overlord spear pushed back Yu Sheng and Yu Guan. Neither side was injured. The black dragon chariot steadily stopped in the air, and a deep voice came from inside. "Senior Ji, long time no see." Ren Buping, wearing a black robe, with a haggard face, slightly disheveled hair, and deep eyes, slowly walked out. This was the leader of the Maosha sect, and also the grand seat of the Maosha sect. Their eyes met, and Lu Zhao's mind flashed back to Ren Buping's former appearance. "You've gotten old," Ren Buping bowed and replied. "Still far from Senior Ji. Even if I live for a few hundred more years, it wouldn't be a problem. I bet you won't live past today." In Lu Zhao's eyes, he was already a dead man. Ever since the Maosha sect repeatedly provoked the evil sky pavilion, his end was sealed. Ren Buping laughed loudly and said, "Senior Ji, you really have gotten old. Don't you feel like this place is very strange?" Lu Zhao replied unhurriedly. "Tell me." Yu Sheng flew into the air, level with Lu Zhao. Yu Sheng said, "This junior initially came to visit the evil sky pavilion, and indeed wanted to treat you with sincerity. But the evil sky pavilion was too aggressive, so this junior had to resort to this, luring you here." Duan Wusheng brandished the overlord spear, pointing it at Yu Sheng's face. "You mean you did this on purpose?" Yu Sheng nodded. "That's right." His gaze shifted from Duan Wusheng to Lu Zhao, old senior. "This junior originally wanted to seek peace, but changed his mind halfway. This junior only has one request." Lu Zhao let out a Yu Sheng continued, "I hope the senior will hand over the evil sky pavilion's traitor, Ye Tiangxin, to the people in the palace." "For Ye Tiangxin, you deliberately lured the evil sky pavilion here." Everyone on the skyship chariot exchanged glances. Zhao Yue, hearing this, quickly lowered her head and said, "This disciple didn't know this was a trap. I beg master for forgiveness." Lu Zhu waved his hand. "It's all right. Even if Zhao Yu didn't say anything, this would still happen. The evil sky pavilion couldn't possibly sit idly by and watch the descendants of the Tenvu erode the Golden Court Mountains barrier." Ming Xiyin sneered. "I spit on that." Who gave you the confidence? Just based on you and Ren Buping, you think you can call this a trap?" Yu Sheng smiled, turning to look at Ren Buping. "Confidence?" He stretched out his hands towards the earth. "Here, I have confidence." Among the people in front of them who could be considered opponents, there were only Ren Buping, Yu Sheng, and Yu Guan. On the evil sky pavilion side, there was Hua Wudao, Duan Wusheng, Ming Xiyin, and the old ancestor, who had unfathomable cultivation and personally came to the battlefield. Ren Buping saw more than two of the red-robed cultivators simultaneously clasping their hands together, their bodies emitting faint, true essence energy. This was the same for Yu Sheng and Yu Guan. Within a radius of 3 miles, the misty weapon suddenly disappeared. Taking the red-robed cultivators as the center, half a semicircle in front of them added 10 faint purple halos. The grand formation that we set up isn't for eroding the Golden Court Mountain's barrier. That's just the news they wanted you to hear, man, Yu Sheng continued. This grand formation is called the Immortal Sage Formation. Immortal Sage Formation. Hua Wudao jumped up, eyes wide. Lu Zhao remained totally chill. Xiao Yanfei scoffed. Immortal Sage, Schmimmortal Sage, who cares, I'll knock their teeth out. Hua Wudao shook his head. The Tenvu are the Immortal Sages. This formation lets their power possess them. In other words, we're facing the Tenvu themselves, Ming Xiyin gasped, his hand trembling slightly. Master, should we, avoid this mess? Lu Zhao casually shook his head. Nah, as the founder of the Devil Sky Pavilion, do I look like I run away from stuff? He slowly stood up, clasping his hands behind his back. Alright, let's see just how much power these Tenvu have. Yu Sheng cupped his fist in salute. Pavilion Master needn't bother. Once the Tenvu make a move, they surpass even the 10 great experts of the orthodox sects. Senior, without a barrier, how can you withstand them? Ren Buping waved his hand, asking a subordinate behind him. Where's the three-headed seat? The three-headed seat and Sword Saint Luo Shisan will arrive soon, the subordinate replied obsequiously. Hua Wudao frowned. The thing he wanted to avoid the most had finally happened. He used to be from the Yun sect, but now he's with the Devil Sky Pavilion. The people he really didn't want to see were his old sect bros. Ming Shiyin asked, Elder Hua, Sword Saint Luo Shisan only cares about cultivating, so why is he working with the Devil Slaughter sect? Isn't the Yun sect supposed to be all righteous and stuff? Hua Wudao's face turned red, unable to explain. Heck, he even joined the Devil Sky Pavilion, so who was he to judge? Pan Zhong said. Sword Saint Luo Shisan is the younger brother of Luo Changqing, one of the 3 great sword maniacs. Both of their sword skills are insane. They're devoted to the Tao and rarely get involved in conflicts. I never thought Luo Shisan would become someone else's pawn. Yu Sheng shook his head. I disagree, Brother Pan. You're wrong. You came from the Pure Bright Tao, another righteous sect, but now you've joined the Devil Sky Pavilion. Aren't you just the Devil Sky Pavilion's pawn? The wind blew, ruffling Yu Sheng and Yu Guan's red robes, their attitudes now turning hard. Pan Zong coldly snorted. Even though I joined the Devil Sky Pavilion, I still have a conscience. You guys are descendants of the Tenvu, now turned into Moli's hunting dogs. Aren't you ashamed of the Immortal Sages? Yu Sheng clasped his hands. Arguing with words is useless. My loyalty to the court is witnessed by the sun and moon. Pan Zhong couldn't take it anymore. Tui, who is Mosli? Before Pan Zhong said that, Yu Sheng was super confident, his tone strong. But when he heard that, Yu Sheng immediately frowned. You, what do you know? Just a coincidence, Pan Zhong replied. Back then, I was seeking medical treatment, and I went to see not only Wu Yi but also an imperial physician once. I accidentally found out a little something. Duan Musheng, Xiao Yanhe, Ming Xiyin, and Ye Tiangxin were watching from behind, chattering. Spill the tea, who is Mo Li? Pan Zhong added another bomb. Mo Li is from the second prince Liu Huang. He followed up with another sentence. He's a man. Ming Xiyin, Duan Musheng, Ren Buping, and Hua Wudao were all just... The atmosphere froze. The expressions on Yu Sheng and Yu Guan's faces were a little unnatural. Even Lu Jiao hadn't expected this. Ming Xingjin, Duan Musheng, and Tian Xin all stopped snacking, Duan Musheng exclaimed. After all this back and forth, Mo Li is a guy, Ming Xinyin chimed in. This news is seriously too shocking, hard to believe. If that's the case, Lu Jiao thought, then second prince Liu Huang likes guys. That's pretty weird. No, it's Mo Li who likes guys, right? Lu Jiao thought it over and over, and the image of second prince being gay suddenly appeared in his mind. This. Lu Jiao turned to look at Fan Xuan, who was in the flying chariot. Fan Xuan's face was incredibly ferocious. His eyes looked like they were about to pop out, and his lips kept trembling. I wonder what Fan Xuan's mood is at this moment. Lu Jiao shook his head, shaking off the miscellaneous thoughts, and looked back at Yu Sheng. Clearly, Yu Sheng looked angry, pointing at Pan Zhong and saying, You previously humiliated the Tenvu Immortal Sages in the Devil Sky Pavilion, but I spared you out of respect for the Pavilion Master. Now you're humiliating Lord Molai. Today, if you don't die, I'll have no face to meet the Tenvu Immortal Sages. As soon as he finished speaking, he waved his hand. 30 cultivators in red robes instantly gathered together. The faint original Q on their bodies suddenly burst out extremely powerfully, and at the same time, 10 faint purple circles underneath also emitted a dazzling light. It's the power of the Tenvu. Ren Buping laughed loudly. Ji Tiandao, looks like you can only run away. The Tenvu are not the same as the 10 great masters. The bright circle was gradually supplemented with faint purple power, and the circle formed very quickly. Lu Xiao looked towards the circles of light. This is the power of the Tenvu. Yu Sheng's eyes began to look weird. One side black, one side white. What this junior wants is just one thing. Hand over Ye Tiangxin, and I'll spare the Devil Sky Pavilion. His robes fluttered with the surging original Qi. In a blink, 10 red-robed cultivators' eyes turned crimson. You want Ye Tiangxin? Lu Xiao finally opened his mouth. The momentum on Yu Sheng's body increased again. Ye Tiangxin is, Bai Dan. Senior, you don't have to deceive yourself. A look of surprise flashed in Ren Buping's eyes, and he deliberately said loudly, Ji Tiandao, you have lived for so long in vain. Don't you know that the heir of Bai Dan can live to be 2,000 years old? Yu Sheng suddenly turned to look at Ren Buping. Ren Buping shut his mouth. He increasingly felt that Yu Sheng's demeanor, eyes, and aura had completely changed. Ren Buping determined that the person standing in front of him was no longer Yu Sheng. At this moment, a faint purple circle of original Qi quickly merged with Yu Sheng. The cultivators behind him, who had not changed, all bowed. Greetings, Lord Yuhan. An elder pointed, his mouth agape. There is a mountain called Vip Feng in the mouth of the Great Flame, Ziyu Men, the entrance of the Sun and Moon Tenvu, including Yuhan, Yuxi, Yushan, Yupeng, Yujiu, Yuzhen, Yuli, Yudi, Yuxi, Yuluo. It is said that they have boundless power and can do anything. Ren Buping lowered his posture and clasped his hands. Welcome, Lord Yuhan. This is the leader of the Tenvu. Yuhan officially descended into Yusheng. Hua Wudao said in a deep voice. Pavilion Master, what are your plans? Lu Jiao was slightly surprised in his heart, but remained silent on the surface. Originally, he thought this great formation was used to improve the barrier. But he didn't expect it to be a great formation of the power of the Tenvu. This means that his opponent has become the Tenvu. With such a powerful opponent, how could his disciples possibly deal with it? So the peak state card has to be used up again. Lu Jiao held the card in his hand before it could even warm up, and a voice rang out. Greetings, Lord Yuxi. Purple circles of light hovered around. Greetings, Lord Yushan. Every time a red-eyed cultivator appeared, someone would salute. Suspended in the sky, the shocking momentum made even the brave and good fighter Duan Musheng show an unbelievable expression. Yu Peng, Yu Jiyu, Yu Zhen, Yu Li, Yu Di, Yu Xie, and Yu Luo. The remaining 6 Vu successively descended into the bodies of 6 cultivators. The powerful purple energy of Hongbao looked like flames burning their bodies. The opponents, who were not worth paying attention to, became strong enemies, with a total of 10 people floating in front of the Chuan Yun flying chariot. Yu Sheng, or rather Yu Han, glanced at Lu Jiao, then said indifferently, Turns out it's just a junior about to face a great calamity. 1,000 years, these shocking words could only be uttered by Yu Han, I bet. Ren Buping shuddered upon hearing this. That tone was unmistakably from the Tenvu, Senior Vu, Ren Buping hurriedly said. It's highly likely that the celestial jade is on Ye Tiangxin. Please take action to quell the evil sky pavilion. The Tenvu lined up, their bodies radiating increasingly intense purple flames, their aura rising compared to before. Even without mobilizing their primal chi, the fluctuations in the surrounding primal chi were comparable to those of powerful cultivators. The 10 Sages formation is indeed well-deserved. Hua Wudao praised wholeheartedly. Pavilion Master, I feel we should consider Ming Shi Yin's suggestion. To put it nicely, it's avoiding the sharp edge. To put it bluntly, it's just running. The 10 purple halos were still emitting strange primal chi, and soon they would all descend. According to the previous calculations, Duanmu Sheng and Ming Shi Yin could deal with Yu Sheng and Yu Guan. Ren Buping only needed to use one card, a fatal blow, to finish off the rest. Splitting up the enemies wasn't scary. As for Duan Xing and Luo Shisan, Hua Wudao could hold them off. Luo Shisan and Duan Xing were very observant people. With his personality, he probably wouldn't join the battle. But if he really wanted to participate, it would only cost one more card at most. At the current price, it's still a profit. The purple flames radiating from the Tenvu grew even more intense. Lu Jiao glanced at them, then sighed. But it's hard to say now. The Tenvu were relying on a temporary formation to descend, no different from 10 top experts. How could his disciples be a match for them? While Lu Jiao was worried, the disciples were discussing, Zhao Yannier kept asking, What does Mo Li as a man mean? Tell me in detail. Observing the situation, Lu Zhu continued to think. The Tenvu are originally dead, ancient sages. What if using a fatal strike card doesn't grant merit points and wastes a use? Wouldn't that be a huge loss? This situation is a bit difficult. Yu Han looked indifferently at the cloud-piercing flying chariot and said in a deep voice, Ignorant celestial jade. These words baffled everyone. Lu Juha looked at the Tenvu, then at Yu Han, and said coldly, You are the leader of the Tenvu, Yu Han. Yu Han also looked directly at Lu Jiao. You are the master of the Evil Sky Pavilion, Ji Tiandao. Their attitudes and tones were very similar. Lu Jiao didn't bother to care. Being ancient sages of the Tenvu, why are you willing to be Mo Li's lapdogs? HMPH. He immediately emitted sound waves. Yu Han's expression darkened. The affairs of the Tenvu are none of your business. He raised both palms, one on top of the other, facing each other. A pale purple halo with a diameter of about 30 meters converged and shot straight towards the cloud-piercing flying chariot. Lu Zhao stood motionless as a mountain, because he had sensed the primal chi fluctuating on Hua Wudao's body. The 6 Harmony Dao seal lit up, and 6 large seal characters emitted golden light, flying around. A Bagua diagram appeared under Hua Wudao's feet, 1 yin and 1 yang. Boom! The 6 Harmony Dao seal only appeared for a moment but blocked the pale purple halo. This is the legendary turtle shell grand art, Ming Xinyin shouted. Stabilized the cloud-piercing flying chariot. Pan Zhang and Zhu Jifeng took turns stabilizing the cloud-piercing flying chariot. Yu Han's eyes looked at Hua Wudao. Taoist Hua Wudao. Hua Wudao cupped his hands. The Tenvu are ancient sages. The 10 sages formation can only use 8% of its power, and the time is limited. Being ancient sages, how can you not distinguish between right and wrong? Yu Han waved his hand. 8% is enough. Hua Wudao said. Unfortunately, Vu techniques are not good at close combat, and the casting time is too long. The cloud-piercing flying chariot can definitely leave here. Then we'll have to see if you have the ability. Yun Shi, who was at the rear, suddenly stepped forward. Yu Ji Yu, Yu Zhen, Yu Li, and Yu Di also stepped forward, forming 2 rows, 5 people in front and 5 people in the back. The cultivators below exclaimed, The Tenvu have finally made their move. Everyone's pupils contracted, looking at them. Yu Ji suddenly made an incomprehensible move. He didn't kneel down, but pointed both hands toward the sky, raising his head to pray. The purple flames on his body began to spread, and the 10 halos below suddenly filled with a special kind of primal chi. Yundi emitted a strange sound from his mouth, cooperating with the surrounding primal chi, exalting each sound wave that swept and shot forward. Ming Xinyin wanted to turn around and run, but the problem was, if he ran, who would pilot the cloud-piercing flying chariot? Master, that old man, was still standing motionless, with no intention of ordering a retreat. Hua Wudao said in a deep voice. The 10 of them are proficient in 10 different fields, but when combined, they create an extremely terrifying power. Lu Jukao calmly crossed his arms and said, I've roamed the world my whole life, but I've never witnessed the methods of the 10 Vu with my own eyes. Now I have the opportunity. I must carefully observe the Vu techniques of the ancient sages. The worst case scenario is using up all my merit points and killing them all. Even if I don't get merit points, I can't let this old life be ruined. Wu Zhen's hands blazed with fire as he stepped to Wu Ji's left, speaking with utmost reverence. Offer together. Unfortunately, shamanistic cultivators don't manifest dharma bodies, so there's no guessing how strong they are. Duan Musheng roared. Enough of this flashy mumbo-jumbo. Let me have a taste. All these fancy tricks are nothing compared to him trying it out firsthand. At the same time, the sky and earth dimmed. Or more accurately, the area enveloped by the 10 rings of light formed a sealed space, and purple meteorites rained down from the sky. Heavenly balance breaker. Duan Musheng's spear shadows attacked the 10 shamans, who were in the middle of their ritual. At this very moment. Shamanistic arts have always been like this, using a series of slow movements. How could they not use protective measures? Wuhan said nonchalantly. With a wave of his sleeve, a purple ring of light expanded from small to large, blocking Duan Musheng's spear shadows. Myriad spear shadows were completely blocked, as if by a shield. Clang, clang, clang. The astral energy hammering against the shamanistic shield created rippling waves. Hua Wudao muttered. Duan Musheng has just opened his leaves. His cultivation and strength are equivalent to an ordinary 3-leaf nascent soul realm expert. For his ultimate move to be so easily blocked by the leader of the 10 shamans. The 10 shamans are truly formidable. The group of female cultivators became extremely worried upon seeing this. Although Hua Wudao was strong, he only specialized in defense. If he wanted to stop the opponent from continuing their shamanistic arts, his power was even less than Duan Musheng's. At least at the level of 6 leaves, Hua Wudao exclaimed in admiration. Hua Wudao often sparred with Duan Musheng, so he clearly knew the intensity of this move. Even for him to block it so easily would require his full strength. It was clear that 80% of Wuhan's power was already incredibly strong. Duan Musheng paused mid-air, his hands trembling. Wu Di's voice continued to resonate within the cloud-piercing flying chariot. The female cultivators with slightly lower strength felt dizzy and uncomfortable. This sound wave seemed similar to the Buddhist sect's Sanskrit dream entrancement, but its offensive power was lower. Ren Buping watched this scene with high spirits, an eager look on his face as he enjoyed the commotion. Prayers, praises, and sacrifices converged. The remaining members of the 10 shamans all emitted origin energy like a tidal wave. The power of shamanistic arts could help them gather origin energy. Everyone was shocked. In the space filled with dancing purple origin energy, it suddenly condensed into an astral barrier, transforming into a torrential downpour. From the outside, it looked like a purple meteor shower. They intend to wipe us all out with a single move. Hua Wudao moved in front of Lu Zhao. It just so happens I haven't had a chance to use my strongest move at the Evil Sky Pavilion yet. Now, let this old man give it a try. Hua Wudao stepped on empty air, leaving the flying chariot. The 100 Tribulations' insightful golden lotus dharma body beneath him radiated a brilliant golden light. 6 leaves unfurled. Heaven and earth, life and death, water and fire, existence and non-existence. 8 large seal characters rapidly revolved around Hua Wudao. He stepped on the 8 trigrams, merging yin and yang. Duan Musheng looked at the 6 harmonies Dao seal in astonishment. Elder Hua sparred with me, but always held back his full strength, Wuhan said indifferently. A pointless struggle. Almost immediately after, the 6 harmonies Dao seal bloomed, enveloping the entire cloud-piercing flying chariot. Rumble. The entire rain of purple astral energy slammed into the 6 harmonies Dao seal, like raindrops falling on a golden glass surface, radiating light. The astral energy reverberated in all directions, creating waves that filled the sky. Hua Wudao's expression was grave as he continuously mobilized the 6 harmonies Dao seal. This old man is afraid I can't hold out for much longer. The opponents are the formidable 10 shamans. Pavilion Master, quickly try to find a chance to retreat. Cloud Sect Traitor, today I will clean up the sect. Outside the sealed space, a massive arm wielding a long sword shimmering with silvery light shot forth, piercing through the purple space, and stabbing directly at the 6 harmonies Dao seal. Sword Saint Luo Shisan, Mo Sha Sect's Ren Buping exclaimed in shock upon seeing this. Luo Shisan can cut through the 10 shamans barrier. Just as he was doubting, the 3rd seat of the Mo Sha sect appeared beside him, as if out of nowhere. Sect leader Duan Xing, you're back just in time. Ren Buping was overjoyed. Duan Xing said, my subordinate and senior sword saint rode our mounts here. Luckily, we made it in time. I spoke with Wu Sheng earlier. This barrier doesn't bind people from the Mo Sha sect. Very good. Ren Buping's mood lightened as he watched Sword Saint Luo Shisan's earth-shattering sword strike without blinking. One of the 3 great sword fanatics, Luo Changqing, is Sword Saint Luo Shisan's elder brother. It's just that back when Luo Shisan became famous, he earned the title of Sword Saint, but in recent years, he has focused on cultivation, so his fame was gradually eclipsed by Luo Changqing. But his strength is undoubtedly formidable. This sudden change made everyone's heart tremble slightly. Ming Shiyin, who was steering the cloud-piercing flying chariot, couldn't evade. If he tried to flee, the flying chariot would definitely fall. Xiao Yanhe was only at the divine court realm, and couldn't possibly withstand an attack from a nascent soul realm expert. Pan Zhong and Zhu Jifeng were the same, and the female cultivators even more so. Duan Musheng was attacking the 10 shamans, and couldn't turn back to help in time. Duan Musheng shouted loudly, "Elder Hua." Only one person could save Hua Wudao, and that was Master Ming Shiyin. Although he wasn't too fond of this old geezer Hua Wudao, he was still a member of the Evil Sky Pavilion. If something happened to Hua Wudao, it would be like the Evil Sky Pavilion getting a vicious slap in the face. Lu Juju clasped his hands behind his back. A faint light appeared in his aged palm, and a prop card materialized. Just as he was about to make a move, Hua Wudao suddenly spoke. "Pavilion Master, please step back." Lu Zhao pondered. He could still hold on. The 8 large seal characters suddenly doubled in size. Almost at the same instant, boom! The longsword pierced into the 6 Harmonies Dao seal. Old man Hua Wudao glared angrily. Luo 13, Luo Shisan. Luo Shisan looked towards Hua Wudao and roared, "Traitor!" Luo Shisan's eyes were also blazing with fire. Both Hua Wudao and Luo Shisan glared at each other with bloodshot eyes, as if meeting a sworn enemy. Everyone was shocked. Hua Wudao raised his voice. "Luo Shisan, I left the position of elder long ago. How have I become a traitor in your mouth?" Luo Shisan retorted, "You left with your front foot and entered the Evil Sky Pavilion with your back foot." Hua Wudao, "How is that any different from being a traitor?" Luo Shisan looked at the 6 Harmonies Dao seal protecting the cloud-piercing flying chariot, his heart filled with even more anger, and said in a low voice, "Enough talk. I am here under the sect leader's orders to clean up the sect." Rumble, rumble, rumble! The sword's body vibrated, astral energy swirling around it. Ming Shiyin, seeing this, muttered, "The 6 Harmonies Dao seal is truly powerful. It's resisting the continuous corrosive origin energy of the 10 shamans, while also blocking a sudden strike from the sword saint." Just how strong is Hua Wudao? Luo Shisan is already old. His silver hair whipped wildly in the gale, completely blocked outside the 6 Harmony Dao seal. The item card in Lu Zhao's hand vanished, and he calmly looked towards Luo Shisan. Lu Zhao wasn't in a rush to attack. He was waiting for the perfect moment. A fatal strike card could definitely take Luo Shisan's life instantly, but he had to use it cautiously and sparingly. The peak trial card needed even more careful consideration. Shi Wu, Ren Buping, Luo Shisan, Duan Jing, and the lurking Mo Li with his crew of experts. The numbers were overwhelming. Relying solely on item cards would put him in a completely passive position. Luckily, Hua Wudao was strong enough. Yu Han, the leader of the 10 shamans, had also seen Luo Shisan earlier. Yu Sheng had prepared everything carefully, and the information relayed to Yu Han was clear. This person was a friend, not an enemy. Yu Han looked at the 10 circles of light on the ground. The absorption of power was basically complete. The 10 shamans' strength was ready, and now was the time for the decisive battle. Yu Han raised his hand, his crimson robes billowed, and his hair scattered in the fierce wind. Oath. A violent gust swept in, carrying a purple torrent of primal chi that slammed into the 6 Harmony Dao seal. Prayer, praise, sacrifice, and now the oath. The sealed space turned even darker, as if the entire world was turning black. Everyone, fall back. Hua Wudao felt the pressure suddenly surge. Lu Zhao didn't make a move. It was precisely at times like these that he couldn't afford to panic. Lu Zhao Shisan roared. "Wanna leave? Not before you can handle my skill." Luo Shisan's voice echoed. 13. The long sword in his hand multiplied from 1 to 13. This was his signature move, capable of unleashing 13 sword keys simultaneously. Sword Saint Luo Shisan earned his title thanks to this very technique. The 13 sword keys condensed and instantly shot towards Hua Wudao. The 6 Harmony Dao seal was indeed powerful, but ultimately, it was just a defensive technique, forever destined to be a punching bag. Bang! The 8 large seal characters slowly shattered, starting with the character Fire. Hua Wudao's expression changed. The corrosive power of the 10 shamans was terrifying. Fortunately, they weren't skilled in close combat like Duan Musheng, and needed half their numbers as support for their incantations. Otherwise, Hua Wudao would have absolutely no chance of resisting. At this moment, seeing a sword chi about to pierce him, Hua Wudao was at his wit's end. Luo Shisan suddenly woke up to reality. He had just charged forward, relying on the 10 shamans' assistance, so he only had eyes for Hua Wudao, completely overlooking the old man, with the weak aura standing beside him. The gray-haired old man beside Hua Wudao was none other than Patriarch Ji Tiandao of the Evil Sky Pavilion. A dark blue beam of light pierced through the defensive layers and shot towards him. A surge of dark blue light erupted from his hand, and that lightning chi suddenly transformed into a bolt of lightning. Just like lightning striking from the heavens, bang! It hit Luo Shisan squarely. The 13 sword keys instantly dissipated, and Luo Shisan flew backward. Everyone's attention was drawn to Lu Zhao's action, the master of the Evil Sky Pavilion making a move. "How could they not pay attention?" someone exclaimed. "Lightning chi." Lu Zhao flicked his sleeve and said in a deep voice, "Bullying the weak with numbers. Truly laughable." Seeing this scene, Ren Buping exclaimed in surprise. The Evil Sky Pavilion's 8th disciple, Zhu Honggong, is skilled in the 9 Tribulation Lightning Chi, but why is Ji Tiandao's Lightning Chi so eerie? Duan Xing raised his eyebrows. He had indeed impersonated a great Buddhist master. After the incident at Qingyu altar, the Righteous Unity sect had repeatedly complained about the evil fiend sect. Later they had a falling out and separated, and the Righteous Unity sect no longer had any contact with the evil fiend sect. From the beginning, Duanxing couldn't believe it, but seeing it with his own eyes now, he couldn't help but be shocked. As soon as Lu Zhao made his move, Hua Wudao let out a sigh of relief, his heart also calming down. Many thanks, Pavilion Master, it's nothing. Lu Zhao shook his head. This time was truly unlucky. He only triggered the probability of repelling the target, not even achieving the probability of injuring the target. 100 million merit points went down the drain just like that. How many more cards would he have to use? Duan Musheng couldn't hold back any longer. The gang chi surrounding the Overlord spear crackled and clashed as he thrust it towards the 10 shamans. His arm spun 1,880 degrees, and spear shadows appeared like a rapidly beating fan. Yuhan said coldly, "Absorb!" A strange, deathly aura simultaneously erupted from the 10 shamans. The deathly aura enveloped the condensed primal chi, forming a gang chi barrier that blocked the Overlord spear. Bang! Duan Musheng tilted his head back and flew backward, completely no match for the 10 shamans. The 10 shamans were so powerful they induced despair. The 10 circles of light beneath the ground continuously supplied power to the 10 shamans, and this power was clearly still growing. Seeing this, Ren Puping couldn't stop praising them, and hurriedly reminded Yuhan, "My lord, strike with full force. Time is running out. Don't give them any more chances." The 10 shamans also clearly understood that the Immortal Sage Grand Formation could only be maintained for half an hour, but the problem was that casting their spell took a very long time. Prayer, praise, and sacrifice had to be performed in the correct order and required time to complete. The 6 Harmony Dao Seal was already teetering on the brink of collapse under the assault and corrosion of the purple primal chi rain. The 10 shamans' shamanic arts were getting stronger and stronger, and the 6 Harmony Dao Seal could no longer withstand it. Xiao Yanhe hurriedly went to Ming Xinyan's side. "Fourth senior brother, let me take the wheel, you go up." "All right." Ming Xinyan jumped out. Xiao Yanhe wasn't just any ordinary divine court realm cultivator either. As soon as Ming Xinyan left, she channeled her primal chi, making the flying chariot hover in midair. When necessary, she could also control the flying chariot to leave the grand formation. Crackle, crackle, crackle. The sound of the purple rain falling on the 6 Harmony Dao Seal had also begun to change. The shamanic art was about to take form. After being knocked back, Luo Shisan looked with a shocked expression at Lu Zhao standing on the flying chariot. He turned his head and said to Yuhan, "Lord Yuhan, lend me a hand." Yuhan's expression remained unchanged. With a slight wave of his hand, the rain in the sky instantly converged into one spot, striking heavily against the 6 Harmony Dagyo Seal. "Danger, I'll help you." Ming Xiyan's figure flashed like lightning. "Ming Xiyan, you." Hua Wudao didn't turn his head. In the blink of an eye, Ming Xiyan appeared right beside Hua Wudao. Given the current situation, Hua Wudao was even more hopeful that Ming Xiyan could continue piloting. With the cloud-piercing flying chariot's special characteristics, when combined with the 6 Harmony Dao Seal, as long as the pilot's strength was sufficient, leaving this grand formation wouldn't be a problem. By then, no matter how high the 10 shamans' cultivation was, they wouldn't be able to do anything to them once they escaped the sealed space. "Don't say anything, Elder Hua. You should feel honored that I'm doing this for you," Ming Xiyan said excitedly. Ming Xiyan placed a palm on Hua Wudao's back, and a majestic flow of primal chi surged into Hua Wudao's body. Under Ming Xiyan's amplified energy, the seal character Fire reappeared, filling its original position. At the same time, the 8 seal characters shone even more brilliantly than before, and the 6 Harmony Dao Seal had become much stronger. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The purple rain was blocked by the 6 Harmony Dao Seal, Luo Shisan said in a deep voice, "Just prolonging your demise." Lu Zhu's gaze shifted from Wuhan to Luo Shisan as he finally spoke. "You looking for death?" Luo Shisan abruptly halted. Hovering just outside the 6 Harmonies Dao Seal, he could clearly see Lu Zhu's figure standing on the flying chariot, protected by the Dao Seal. That thunderous astral strike just moments ago had caught him completely off guard, sending him reeling back, but he didn't feel that the attack had much power, Luo Shisan said arrogantly. "So you're the dignified patriarch of the evil Sky Pavilion, and that's all the tricks you've got? You want to scare me? Not enough." Whoosh! The long sword in his hand vibrated incessantly, emitting a buzzing sound like a swarm of bees flapping their wings. But at this very moment, Shi Wu suddenly changed their positions, forming a formation in a 5-3-2 arrangement, with Wu Sheng and Wu Guan, aka Wu Han and Wu Shi, at the front. The 10 purple light circles under the ground vanished, and the power of Shi Wu was fully unleashed. "The power of Lord Shi Wu is complete. The end is near for the evil Sky Pavilion." Ren Buping was already mouthing off before doing anything. What a chatty guy. In the dim sky, a surge of witchcraft power slowly appeared like an inverted tide hanging in the night sky. Then it poured down like snowflakes, a look of resignation appearing on everyone's faces. With witchcraft power at this level, even Hua Wudao, enhanced by Ming Xinyan's power, couldn't stop it. Luo Shisan originally intended to act, but he stopped as well. With such power, even an 8-leaf expert couldn't withstand it. The people of the Demon Slaughter sect stared intently at this scene, Luo Shisan's eyes gleaming, while the cultivators in red robes remained indifferent, seemingly unsurprised by this scene. In Gengzi Town, the low-level cultivators looked up at the huge closed space circle in the distance. Aside from seeing some light emitting from the 6 Harmony Dao Seal, they couldn't see anything else. The cloud-piercing flying chariot started shaking violently, and sweat was now beading all over Zhao Yanhe's face. Even with her divine court realm cultivation plus Fan Zhong, Zhu Jifeng, and Xiao Yu, who had recovered some of her southern city cultivation, helping her control the chariot, it still felt incredibly difficult. Master, I can't hold on much longer. Lu Xiao reluctantly shook his head. Guess he couldn't save those cards. He stepped forward. To the outermost edge of the Six Harmony Dao seal, light appeared in his palm when suddenly Wu Han's deep voice rang out. To catch bandits, capture their leader first. Finally, I've been waiting for you. In an instant, thousands of purple key drills appeared from all directions, flying towards Lu Xiao. Lu Xiao frowned. Do I have to waste another damage immunity card? This is the power of the oath, being able to predict the opponent's next move. So annoying. Almost at the same time, a clear cry came from the sky, and everyone looked up at the purple tide above. Above everyone, they saw Bai Zi appear, its whole body enveloped in auspicious energy. Bai Zi seemed to sense that its master was in danger. It appeared in the sky, stepping on nothing with its 4 hooves, circling in the air. The auspicious energy fell like white snowflakes covering the sky and earth. The purple tide was forced back by the auspicious energy, quickly weakening, and those purple kill drills were also dissolved by the magical auspicious energy. There's always a bigger fish. Or, in this case, auspicious beast. Everyone standing in the transverse cloud-flying chariot was deeply shaken by Bai Zin's appearance. Hua Wudao looked up and said, "A precious legendary mount. They all possess a kind of extraordinary power. When their master needs them, they will actively release that power." Talk about loyalty, am I right? Wu Han, the leader of Shiwu, looked up and narrowed his eyes at Bai Zi. Although he was an immortal sage, shock still flashed in his eyes when he saw Bai Zi. Bai Zi's clear cry completely drowned out the praise of Shi Wu. This wasn't just a bigger fish. This was complete suppression. Wu Han's voice trembled. Bai Zi? Wu Shi, how is this possible? Shi Wu are immortal sages. How could they cause Bai Zi to resist? Bai Zi represents auspiciousness. Everything it considers the opposite is evil. Shi Wu was stunned. They had never thought that what they were doing was evil. They felt that everyone standing in the transverse cloud-flying chariot was truly evil. They deserved to die. They shouldn't be protected by Bai Zi. Why? What's the problem? Bai Zina's appearance surprised Ren Buping. The power of Shi Wu had been weakened a lot. Simultaneously bathed in the auspicious bronze light, the cloud-piercing flying chariot radiated an even more dazzling brilliance. The 8 large seal characters of the Six Harmony Dao seal unexpectedly gained a 9th character, Hun. Even Hua Wudao couldn't believe it. The 9th character of the Six Harmony Dao seal, which he had studied for decades, had never appeared before. But now, after being cleansed by Bai Zi, it appeared. Talk about a blessing in disguise. The 9 seal characters of the Six Harmony Dao seal kept spinning, comfortably blocking the purple rain. And Bai Zen's voice boosted everyone's morale. Unbelievable. The prop card in Lu Zhao's palm disappeared. Didn't think I'd save a card. Great, can't let them go to waste. Duan Musheng suddenly unleashed overwhelming primal Qian Qi. Duan Musheng used the Qian to vent his anger, condensing it into sharp blades and firing them in all directions. Third senior brother is at it again. The people on the transverse cloud-flying chariot were utterly convinced. The rage of being suppressed by Shi Wu finally erupted completely. The golden lotus of the 2-leaf 100 tribulation illumination body appeared in the sky. Duan Musheng pointed his spear straight at Shi Wu. Ren Buping's figure flickered. "If you want to hurt Lord Wu Han, you'll have to see if I agree," Duan Xing loudly responded, acting tough. Yes. Sect leader, Duan Xing, saw Ren Buping take several steps, covering dozens of meters, sneakily attacking Duan Musheng. But Duan Xing didn't advance towards the transverse cloud-flying chariot. Instead, he slipped away and disappeared. After giving the order, Ren Buping's attention was all on Duan Musheng, not paying any attention to Duan Xing. Evil Sky Pavilion, Duan Musheng, die for me. Ren Buping's 7-leaf avatar appeared, and he launched a sudden attack. The cultivators below shouted with their eyes wide open. 7-leaf golden lotus. It's already separated a path. With a slight tendency to become 8 leaves, Duan Musheng immediately turned his head to look back. Lu Zhao decisively waved his sleeve, a card appearing in his palm, shining brightly. I said, "You won't live past today." Lu Zhao hated sneak attackers the most. Ren Buping had been causing trouble from the open to the dark. If he didn't eliminate him now, when would he? A small vortex appeared in Lu Zhao's right palm. And Shi Wu also saw this scene. Ren Buping instinctively turned his head back. Old geezer. I've been in seclusion for many years. You can't do anything to me. The 7-leaf avatar appeared, with a very strong Kia shield. Ren Buping intended to resist this move from Lu Zhao. His whole body still rushed forward, intending to use one move to kill Duan Musheng. Duan Musheng's 2-leaf avatar immediately felt danger approaching, but he was attacking forward. At the same time, the energy in Lu Zhao's hand gradually bloomed, and hand seals appeared one after another. About 9 hand seals appearing in a straight line, each hand seal with a different gesture. Taoist's 9-syllable true word hand seals. Ren Buping was stunned. First, the legendary Bai Zi, and now the 9-syllable true word. For a moment, Ren Buping didn't know what to do. The 9-syllable true word Grand Hand Seal is the supreme secret technique of Taoism, you know? Lu Zhao didn't expect that unleashing a fatal blow would have such an effect. Maybe because he had been thinking about the 6 Harmony Dao seal, that's why he struck out such a move. The 9-syllable true word Grand Hand Seal. Each word in it has immense power, formed from 9 unique seals. Total Void Protection Seal, Grand Chongshu Treasure Seal, Outer Circle Profound Seal, Inner 8 Character Seal, No Foot Binding Seal, Myriad God Seal, 8 Trigram Seal, Treasure Gourd Seal, Sun and Moon Seal. Each type of seal is in the shape of a seal character respectively. Lin Bing Dao Zhe, Ji, Zhen, Lai Qian Xing. 9 seal characters form a straight line. As Ren Buping's 7-leaf Dharma body glanced towards Lu Zhao, his heart immediately sank to the bottom. From a distance, it looked like a huge beam of light piercing through Ren Buping and his 100 Tribulation Cave Illumination 7-leaf Golden Lotus Dharma body. This was a 7-leaf expert, a major sect with tens of thousands of disciples. Takes hundreds of years to cultivate a 7-leaf expert, just like that, pierced through by Lu Zhao's one move. That huge Dharma body was like a piece of glass slowly cracking. Bai Zi's auspicious aura had driven away most of the darkness. The vision of everyone was much clearer than before. The 7-leaf Dharma body was shattered into small pieces. The primordial ki dissipated into the heavens and earth, devastating the surrounding scenery. The figure of the Moshe sect leader Ren Buping froze in midair, his eyes filled with fear. But everyone around was focused on Ren Buping's figure being struck by Luo Zhao's blows. As the primordial ki in Ren Buping's body surged out, he suddenly understood why Zuo Xinchen had died. With such heaven-defying means, why would the Evil Sky Pavilion even bother with the Moshe sect? Ren Buping was like a balloon of air, the primordial ki in his Danshin Ki Si constantly dissipating. Until it was completely dried up, his whole person fell to the ground. Sect leader! Sect leader! The Moshe sect's dragon carriage shook violently, falling apart. With the sect leader dead, how could the rest remain calm? Astonishment, fear, unease, not knowing what to do. It was said that Ren Buping had been in seclusion for many years, his cultivation advancing rapidly. Since the Evil Sky Pavilion killed the Moshe sect's second seat, Zuo Xinchen, Ren Buping had been constantly looking for an opportunity to take revenge, even joining forces with Zhang Yuanshan of the Zhengyi Dao at Qingyu altar. But he had never found a suitable opportunity. From beginning to end, he had underestimated this seemingly weak old demon ancestor, who could defeat him with a mere wave of his hand. Lu Zhao stood on the flying chariot, his eyes looking towards Duan Xing in the distance. Duan Xing suddenly appeared on the flying chariot, proudly standing upright, waving his hand and saying, "Don't panic, retreat quickly." Seeing that the sect leader was dead, Duan Xing knew that the Moshe sect's plan had failed. Even before he could expand their glorious enterprise, Duan Xing's whole body trembled, and he hurriedly bowed. "Senior, this action was all the Moshe sect leader's own will. This junior would never dare to be an enemy of the Evil Sky Pavilion. I swear on my status as the third seat. From now on, the Moshe sect will never dare to offend the Evil Sky Pavilion. If I break my oath, may I end up like this person." Someone immediately offered an idea. "What nonsense are you talking about? Get lost." Duan Xing glanced at him. Duan Xing's figure flashed, turning into a black shadow that swept past the group of Moshe sect experts. That group of Moshe sect experts immediately died on the spot. The Moshe sect crowd stared in disbelief, their whole bodies trembling. Lu Zhao looked towards the Moshe sect's flying chariot where Duan Xing was sending the group of Moshe sect experts to meet King Yama. The methods were extremely ruthless, even killing his own people. Ming Shiyin thought to himself, "In the empty forest, the monkey becomes king. Duan Xing is now the strongest in the Moshe sect. Who would dare to disobey him?" He wasn't just saying things randomly. This action was killing 3 birds with 1 stone, showing his intention to the Evil Sky Pavilion, establishing his authority, and also killing Ren Buping's confidants. Those who just died were Ren Buping's confidants. Lu Zhao glanced at the Moshe sect's dragon carriage. He's quite sensible, interesting. Lu Zhao didn't pay attention to Duan Xing anymore, but turned to look at Duan Wusheng. Duan Xing decisively ordered a retreat. The Moshe sect crowd hadn't even had time to react. Facing the Tenvu and the Evil Sky Pavilion, they were now like snakes without heads, without their own ideas, only knowing to hurriedly bow. Yes, the Moshe sect's dragon carriage turned around and left. Even the Sword Saint Luo Shisan was shaken by Lu Zhao's earth-shattering move. The 9-syllable true word Grand Hand Seal. Unbelievable. He retreated again and again, not recovering for a long time. The Tenvu were suppressed by Bai Zi's auspicious aura, not having the strength to care about these things. Under Duan Wusheng's storm of spear images, Wu Han was enraged. Wu Shi frowned and said, "Why is it like this?" Wu Han raised his right hand, his left hand drew a line. Fresh blood shot out. A faint purple aura emanated from his fingertip. His blood-stained finger swept from his left eye to his right eye. Wu Han's eyes had now changed from red to dark blue. Light Spirit Technique. The Light Spirit Technique is a common method in witchcraft. It doesn't have offensive power, only the effect of seeing clearly the truth of things before the eyes. Wu Han didn't believe that the beast, stomping continuously in the sky, was the legendary Bai Zi. And even less did he believe that the Tenvu were considered the evil side. His gaze looked towards Bai Zi in the sky. He really wanted to see clearly, was that the real Bai Zi or a fake? However, the light on Bai Zi's body was extremely pure. When the Light Spirit Technique looked at that light, it even emitted a 7-colored light. The purple shield also began to weaken. Of course, this weakening was mainly thanks to Bai Zi. Hua Wudao opened his mouth and praised. "Bai Zi not only weakens witchcraft, but also enhances our combat power. Everyone, don't panic." Bai Zi let out a clear cry. The praising sounds of the Tenvu immediately stopped. The world became clear again. The light around Bai Zhen's body dissipated. It flashed and disappeared. Bai Zhe, Zhao Yanze was a little reluctant, unwilling to part. Bai Zhe was strong, but its abilities weren't endless. It also needed to rest. Hua Wudao nodded. Lu Zhao opened the system panel to see. Sure enough, below Bai Zhe's image card there was an additional note. Resting. No specified rest time. Sword Saint Luo Shisan went to the side of the Tenvu, Lord Wu Han. The remaining 2 red-robed cultivators also simultaneously activated their primordial Qian. Supporting them, Lu Zhao murmured. Oh well, Bai Ze being able to exert auspicious power is already beyond expectations. If so, then Bian can also go on a rampage. In Wu Han's eyes, images of Lu Zhao and someone else appeared, while Lu Zhao glanced at him, wondering. This person is clearly very weak. Why does a dangerous spirit always lurk around? Wu Han is the leader of the Tenvu, and also the strongest. If even he can sense that the opponent is extremely dangerous, then that person is truly very dangerous. Unbelievable, unbelievable, clang 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 clang. Duan Wusheng seemed tireless, the spear images constantly stabbing forward. The purple shield also began to weaken. Of course, this weakening was mainly thanks to Bai Zhen. Hua Wudao opened his mouth and praised. Bai Zhen not only weakens witchcraft, but also enhances our combat power. Everyone, don't panic. The praising sounds of the Tenvu immediately stopped. The world became clear again. In the moment when the sounds stopped, Wu Jie, Wu Di, Wu Li, Wu Zhen, Wu Luo staggered backward. At the same time, Duan Wusheng's spear images also broke through their defenses, then retreated back. Standing in front of the flying chariot, Wu Han raised his hand. The purple flames on his body grew out like tentacles, wrapping around the 5 witch practitioners. Then he shouted, "Return quickly!" The remaining 2 red-robed cultivators also simultaneously activated their primordial Qia, supporting them. Sword Saint Luo Shisan walked to Shi Wu's side. The power of the shamanic arts was weakened, so he didn't dare attack recklessly. Hua Wudao snorted. Luo Shisan, you want my old life, right? I'll give you a chance. Sword Saint Luo Shisan was very wary of Lu Zhao, so he loudly said, Hua Wudao, if you have the guts, fight me one-on-one. Hua Wudao immediately replied. As you wish. Hua Wudao turned around and cupped his fist towards Lu Zhao. Pavilion Master, please don't interfere. If I die, it's because my skills are inferior. Lu Zhao agreed and replied, Go. Lu Zhao knew that the beef between Hua Wudao and the Yun sect had to be completely resolved. Otherwise, this would become his second mental block. With the 9th seal unlocked, his strength had greatly increased. The power of the shamanic arts had been weakened by Bai Ze, and wasn't much anymore, not enough to pose a threat. Hua Wudao rushed towards Luo Shisan. I'm coming. Luo Shisan quickly responded, You seek death. Sword Saint Luo Shisan jumped up, and Hua Wudao's toes lightly tapped off the flying chariot. As he left, the 6 Harmony Dao seal completely dissipated. Luo Shisan and Hua Wudao fought incessantly, fighting and flying away, soon disappearing without a trace. Lu Jiao stood up straight, his eyes shining brightly. Shi Wu, immortal sage. Their eyes met. In Wu Han's eyes, he only saw Lu Jiao. He got information from Wu Sheng's mind. You are the former master of the Evil Sky Pavilion. He used to look down on everything, but not now. He was once again examining the person before him. Lu Jiao suddenly said, I'm very disappointed, Wu Han snorted. Lu Jiao continued, Shi Wu, immortal sage, reduced to being someone else's lapdog. Hearing this, Wu Han said in a deep voice, If it weren't for Bai Zi's sake, you would have deserved to die 1,000 times for insulting Shi Wu like that. Here we go again with the bickering. Ming Shiyin coldly spoke up. Stop with the BS. The power of the shamanic arts has vanished. At most, you guys are only at 4 or 5 leaves now. You're the leader of Shi Wu, right? Now you're only at 7 leaves. Can you withstand 1 palm from my master? Wu Han was originally a dead man. Now he's using the power of the shamanic arts to descend upon a descendant. At this point, who cares about good or evil anymore? Audacious! Wu Han flew up, his whole body bursting with purple energy, like tentacles spreading in all directions. Mortals are just mortals. Ants are just ants. How can you imagine the power of Shi Wu? 5 people, Wu Shi, Wu Di, Wu Zhen, Wu Luo, and Wu Li, simultaneously unleash their energy. Seeing this, Pan Zhong hurriedly reminded everyone, be careful, this shamanic art is equivalent to a peak 7 leaves. Without 8 leaves, it's very difficult to restrain him. Ming Shiyin was a little surprised, his eyes wide. Peak 7 leaves, Lu Zhao slapped his palm, and Fan Shuwen was pulled over by him. A vast ocean realm doing this was effortless. Lu Zhao looked at Fan Shuwen. Fan Shuwen, have you seen clearly? Fan Shuwen's expression was grim, and he remained silent. The dignified leader of the Black Knights, the former top dog on the Black Roll. Now, I'll let you see clearly. Lu Zhao slapped Fan Shuwen's back. Pan Zhong shouted in fear. Pavilion Master, you can't. As the primal chi poured in, Lu Zhao could clearly feel the extraordinary power transmitted by the heavenly writing. A cool sensation, his mind extremely clear, the powerful and brilliant primal chi rushing straight into Fan Shuwen's 8 extraordinary meridians. The power sealing Fan Shuwen's whole body dissipated in an instant. Ah! Fan Shuwen's eyes turned dark red, his face ferocious, and he roared. It's you again. The amorous sentiment curse has been broken. Get out. Lu Zhao clapped his hands. Boom! Fan Shuwen was sent flying by Lu Zhao. At this moment, he had also regained consciousness. His mind was suddenly blank. Who am I? Where am I? I remember now. Memories rushed in like a tide. Shi Wu, Mo Li. Fan Shuwen's eyes blazed with fire. Boom! The 100 Tribulations Insight 8 Leaves Golden Lotus immediately bloomed. Yu Zhong and Duan Yanhong's faces were filled with disbelief as they looked at their leader. Leader! Boss! Yu Zhong cried out. You, what exactly did you do? Pan Zhong looked for a moment before suddenly realizing what was going on. He immediately scolded. Shut up! Fan Zhuwen was controlled by someone using the amorous sentiment curse. The Pavilion Master helped him break the shamanic arts. Don't be ungrateful. Yu Zong was surprised. The amorous sentiment curse? Pan Zong continued. See for yourselves. Pan Zong had studied shamanic arts for quite some time. People who knew nothing about shamanic arts wouldn't see any clues. Of course, he was also very embarrassed that the method for sealing cultivation from the pure clarity Dao was blown away by Lu Jiao with a single palm. This was beyond his expectations. His brain went blank for a moment. And then Fan Xuan returned to normal. He was immediately filled with boundless anger. The one who harmed Lang Luo, you must die. Fan Xuan flipped his hand and produced the Great Abolition Dao Seal. Blessed by the 100 Tribulations Insight 8 Leaves Dharmic Body. The entire sky was filled with Fan Xuan's afterimages. The former top dog on the black roll had returned. Fan Xuan rushed in and attacked fiercely. Yu Chu and Duan Yanhong's minds were greatly shaken by what they were seeing. Wu Han's shamanic arts were spreading, and the remaining 9 shamans were startled by this suddenly appearing 8 Leaves expert. Boom, boom, boom. The afterimages filling the sky simultaneously attacked Wu Han, the gang Kui intent like a storm of bullets. Pan Zhong was endlessly surprised. Perhaps this is Lang Luo's true strength. After all, he's an 8 Leaves who has been secretly cultivating for hundreds of years. Who exactly is that Moai Li who could continuously control 8 Leaves Fan Xuan for so long? Fan Xuan's offensive was all-encompassing, looking extremely powerful. Even the leader of Shi Wu, Wu Han, suffered losses. Seeing this, the remaining people shouted, Lord Wu Han! Suddenly, Duan Musheng's voice rang out. Your opponent is me! Duan Musheng swung the Overlord's spear, attacking the remaining people. Before Duan Musheng finished speaking, Ming Shiyin's voice came. And me, Ming Shiyin, stepped through the air, the departure hook in his hand like a shadow. Watching from afar, Lu Zhao saw his 2 disciples rush up with weapons and muttered, they both have heavenly weapons. When facing the 9 shamans 3 and 4 leaves, they can barely hold them off for a while. The problem is that there are 9 of them. Even though they are cultivators, shamanic arts require time to cast spells. With only Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng, how can they cope with the 9 shamans? Lu Jiao was calculating the right moment to strike. Leader Yue Chung and Duan Yanhong's eyes blazed with fire. They and Fan Xuan shared life and death together and understood each other very well. Seeing their leader fight to the death with a powerful enemy, how could they stand by and watch? Lu Jiao stroked his beard and said, have you seen clearly? Pan Zhong immediately explained. Lang Luo was controlled by someone. The 4 of you brothers are also pieces being used. Now the one controlling you is right in front of you. Those Shi Wu, Yue Cheng, and Duan Yanhong, like Fan Xuan, had clearly seen everything on the flying chariot. How could they not be furious? Pan Zhong stepped forward and gently placed his hands on their backs. Boom! Boom! Unlocking the restraints on their cultivation, primal chi like a cool spring poured into their whole bodies. The power that had been sealed for so long finally returned to their bodies. Lu Zhu Kao calmly looked at them, faced with the powerful master of the evil sky pavilion. How could they have any other intentions? The 9 words of truth Grand Hand Seal had just killed Ren Buping, a 7 Leaves expert. They still haven't recovered, and such a situation has already happened, so how can you blame the evil sky pavilion? If there's anyone to blame, it's the one who was controlling things behind the scenes. The flying chariot leader was slipping away, and below Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin were still doing their best to hold back the shamanic art squad. Seeing their leader in a life and death battle, Yue Chong and Duan Yanhong shouted, we're coming too! Yue Chong and Duan Yanhong looked at each other and jumped down. The addition of the 2 immediately increased the pressure on the 9 shamans exponentially. Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng could each take on 2 opponents. Yue Chong and Duan Yanhong each dealt with 1, so that leaves 3. Lu Zhao's gaze immediately swept towards Yu Shi, Yu Peng, and Yu Zhen, the 3 strongest of the remaining 9. Yu Han had flown up high, hovering level with the cloud-piercing flying chariot. He and Fan Xuan were locked in a fierce battle. Impossible to tell who would win. Yu Han still arrogantly shouted, another one? No matter what, you can't defeat the Tenvu sages? Yu Han's voice was full of anger. Lu Xiao didn't want to waste any more words. 3 lightning gang cards appeared in his palm. He waved his hand, and they shot out. The targets were Yu Shi, Yu Peng, and Yu Zhen. Lu Xiao suddenly spoke. You've underestimated this old man. 3 powerful lightning gangs, like bolts of thunder, shot off in 3 directions, shocking the crowd. After launching the 3 cards, Lu Xiao stood with his hands behind his back, calm and collected, continuing to observe the battle. Thunder and lightning, mixed with gang qi, surged like heavenly thunder, striking at them. The 3, Yungji, immediately activated their defensive shields, unable to escape. That lightning gang had a diameter of several meters, completely exceeding everyone's comprehension. This is lightning gang, more like heavenly lightning. When Yu Ji activated his defensive shield, despair appeared in his eyes, and a thought flashed through his mind. Could it be that the Tenbu sages were wrong? Otherwise, why would heavenly lightning strike down? Rumble, the 3 giant lightning gangs struck the 3 individuals, sending them flying backwards simultaneously. Puffed, Yunxi spewed out immortal blood, and suddenly, a purple light escaped from his body and dissipated into the air. Lu Xiao's heart fluttered. The system notification sounded in his ear, eliminated a target, gaining 100 merit points, a one-hit kill probability of only 1%. And he actually encountered it. Just your bad luck. Lu Xiao shook his head. Luckily, he didn't intend to use too many lightning gang cards in exchange for the one-hit kill probability. Or he'd be dirt poor by now. Whoever the 10 incantations possess, only the living gain merit points after eliminating them. Of the remaining 2 lightning gang cards, one injured and the other critically injured someone nearby. He was indeed quite lucky. From opening the mysterious treasure chest, to the sudden appearance of the Baizi Enlightenment, including the 1% one-hit kill just now, everything surprised Lu Zhu. Just as Lu Zhu was pondering, Yuhan's voice echoed again. Time is running out. Gather together. Yuhan was so enraged by Fan Xuan's torment that he couldn't bear it any longer. As Yuhan made this decision, with a ferocious face, a voice seemingly protesting in his mind, Lord Yuhan, don't self-destruct. Yuhan, while blocking Fan Xuan's relentless attacks, said, the reputation of the 10 Wu sages has been ruined by you all. I only hope this will serve as a warning to our Wu clan descendants. We vow to follow Lord Yuhan to the death. The remaining 8 Wu said in unison. It was an extremely intense battle, Lu Zhao decisively ordered. Fly up, disciple obeys. Xiao Yanhe and Zhao Yue immediately mobilized their primal Q to control the cloud-piercing flying chariot. Taking advantage of Yuhan still being entangled by Fan Xuan and the formation no longer being effective, the cloud-piercing flying chariot could leave at any time. The entire flying chariot glowed, flying towards the outside of the formation. Zhao Yanhe shouted, third senior brother, fourth senior brother. Hearing Zhao Yanhe's shout, Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng seemed to understand the current situation. Ming Shiyin retracted the separation hook, laughing. This old man can't beat you two. No wonder you are the 10 Wu sages. His figure flashed, flying quickly behind a great divine power technique. Duan Musheng did the same, retracting the overlord's spear. A true man knows when to yield and when to strike. We'll fight again next time. Tendrils appeared from Yuhan's fingertips, and he roared. You think you can escape? Fan Xuan rushed forward, delivering a powerful punch to Yuhan, a concentrated golden light striking Yuhan. Fan Xuan's avatar erupted. Fan Xuan was too close to Yuhan, and his avatar was tightly entangled by Yuhan's tendrils. Fan Xuan is too huge, Mo Liling Luo. Even if I die, I won't let you live in peace. Yu Chong and Duan Yanhong were stunned. Leader Fan Xuan shouted, Yu Chong, Duan Yanhong. If you're afraid of death, hurry up and leave. I, Ling Luo, will hold them back. At the same time, the flying chariot was already flying away very quickly. Lu Zhu hugged the flying chariot tightly, looking quite comical. Lu Zhu thought to himself, you're both evenly matched? Let's see who can hold out until the end. Anyway, Yuhan is limited by time, and he's not as good as Fan Xuan in a head-on clash, so using Wu magic to self-destruct is the best choice in a short amount of time, unleashing all his power to perish together with the opponent. After all, they're already dead. They don't fear death. The cultivators in red robes heard this and quickly fled, desperately flying away. Nascent soul realm cultivators with great divine power techniques could keep up, but they were too slow. They continuously screamed, Run, I don't want to die. Yue Chong and Duan Yanhong didn't leave but flew towards Yuhan. Though we weren't born on the same day, we're willing to die on the same day, leader. We're here. The avatar of the law stood tall for a moment as the cloud-piercing flying chariot flew out of the formation. The entire formation area seemed to shatter. With Yuhan as the center, the energy of the 8 Wu gathered and exploded outward with a deafening roar. The exploding energy stirred up dust and sand, forming a sandstorm that quickly swept in all directions. In the instant the cloud-piercing flying chariot flew out of the formation, the entire formation area seemed to shatter. With Yuhan as the center, the energy of the 8 Wu gathered and exploded outward with a deafening roar. The exploding energy stirred up dust and sand, forming a sandstorm that quickly swept in all directions. At the same time, some purple ripples, burned black by the flames, bared their fangs and claws, chasing after everyone indiscriminately. The 3 avatars only managed to resist for a moment before being shattered into pieces. The cultivators in red robes with the lowest cultivation levels, even flying with all their might, couldn't compare to the speed of the flying chariot. In an instant they were swallowed by that merciless energy. Master, third senior brother, fourth senior brother, Xiao Yanhe pointed towards Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin, who were rapidly flying towards them. The flying chariot stopped. Lu Zhu raised his hand. With their cultivation levels, they had been fighting for too long. Even if they used great divine power techniques, it would be difficult to escape the range of the Wu magic's influence. The flying chariot had to stop and wait for them to climb on. On the surface, Lu Zhao seemed very calm, but in his heart, he was filled with regret. In his eyes, those cultivators in red robes were all targets providing merit points. The 10 Wu were already dead people. The only one worth anything was Yu Sheng. But unfortunately, he had no way to survive in that wave of exploding energy. Even Fan Xuan and the 2 great black knights would have brought a lot of merit points. Not earning them now made him feel very anemic. While he was pondering, Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin jumped onto the flying chariot. Lu Zhu shouted, Go! The flying chariot started up, stopped, and then started up again. This process naturally slowed the flying chariot down. In this very breath, the powerful black-purple energy that was chasing after Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin struck. The overwhelming energy surged like a tidal wave. Lu Zhao frowned, looking at the wave. He already felt extremely anemic. Did he really have to use another damage immunity card now? But a damage immunity card was probably like the one-hit kill card, only applicable to one person. Suddenly, within that overwhelming wave, an 8-leaf golden lotus avatar flickered with light. It suddenly bloomed, blocking all the powerful gangwinds rushing towards them. Fan Xuan, covered in blood, appeared inside the avatar. Fan Xuan was still not dead. Ming Shiyin and Duan Musheng cautiously stepped forward. Wary of Fan Xuan, Lu Zhao nonchalantly said, An ant trying to topple a tree. You want to bite me before you die? In his palm, a one-hit kill card appeared, but Fan Xuan's powerful gale actually blasted in the opposite direction. Huh. Is he helping us? Ming Xinyin exclaimed in surprise. Lu Xiao was also puzzled. Fan Xuan should be mortal enemies with the evil sky pavilion. At this moment, shouldn't he be letting the energy explosion destroy the cloud-piercing flying chariot? Why is he helping the evil sky pavilion? What's the meaning of this? Wait a minute. Lu Xiao raised his hand. Fan Xuan having an 8-leaf cultivation and being this strong is reasonable, but what's truly shocking is that he could survive until now amid such a powerful energy surge. Ming Xinyin sighed and shook his head. Sacrificing his Dantian Sea of Qi to cast this spell, I'm afraid Fan Xuan is doomed. Fan Xuan had exerted all his strength, and the raging purplish-black wave was pushed back a bit after being blocked by Fan Xuan's avatar. Fan Xuan's hoarse and tragic scream reached everyone's ears. Fan Xuan has never begged anyone, but I risked my life to block the Tenvu. I only ask that Senior agrees to one thing. Kill Mo Li. Before Lu Xiao could respond, the purplish-black explosion surged toward his avatar again. The avatar dissipated, and the 8-leaf golden lotus spun a few times in the air before gradually disappearing. A foolish choice. The great wave transformed into the shape of a skull. Uttering these words, those on the flying chariot sighed softly. Who would have thought that Fan Xuan would make such a choice, all just to beg Lu Xiao to do one thing for him? The surging wave gradually dissipated. Ming Xiyin and Duan Musheng entered the flying chariot, channeling their primal qi. Even though the power of the Wu technique had disappeared, the area was still filled with dust. The two controlled the flying chariot to fly higher, the cloud-piercing flying chariot glowing as it flew out of the dusty area. Trailing a long, meteor-like tail behind it, it completely exited the area affected by the Wu technique in a flash. At the same time, the low-level cultivators who had been observing the battle in Gengzi Town were all looking up. The Evil Sky Pavilion won! Those red-robed cultivators were so strong, but they were still defeated by the Evil Sky Pavilion. Just how strong is the Evil Sky Pavilion anyway? Who knows? The visibility was blocked earlier. Besides some flashes of light and crackling sounds, what else could we see? Just look at the results. The facts have proven that, even without the Evil Sky Pavilion's first and second disciples, no one can shake them. A sigh. A lament. Phew. Well, at the beginning, there weren't many cultivators observing. Later, more and more people gathered, watching from afar. They exclaimed, "Too strong." Having witnessed this battle, I can brag about it for 8 generations when I go back to the village. My dear old dad, you can finally rest in peace in heaven. After seeing this battle, my wife definitely won't run away with another man anymore. I'm not even dead yet. In the crowd, a cyan-robed swordsman stood with his arms crossed, calmly looking at the cloud-piercing flying chariot flying in the sky, shaking his head slightly. Greetings, brother. It's dangerous over there. Don't go that way. Thank you. The cyan-robed swordsman shifted slightly to the side, watching the remaining dust from the battle gradually settle. Brother, you're late. You missed the spectacular battle. What a pity. See that flying chariot over there? It's the Evil Sky Pavilions. A guy next to him chimed in. That's right! That's right! I'm a witness! I didn't even blink once. Then, another guy butted in. The master of the Evil Sky Pavilion just used the 18 subduing dragon palms to split the heavens and earth, followed by a maiden sunrise. You're talking nonsense. He clearly summoned myriad gods to descend. Thousands upon thousands of lightning bolts shattered those demons into pieces. A cultivator standing nearby gave him a patronizing look. The cyan-robed swordsman stared at the flying chariot, ignoring him. Phew, I didn't expect the Evil Sky Pavilion to be this strong. Back in the day, when the first and second disciples hadn't left, how glorious was the Evil Sky Pavilion. Their style is still the same as ever. The cyan-robed swordsman noticed the words he just used. The style is still the same as ever. Sometimes, the demonic path is not necessarily an object of hatred for everyone. There are also many people who respect and admire the demonic path. This person must be one of them. Thank you for the compliment. The cyan-robed swordsman politely nodded. Thank you. Is he crazy? Just when that person was feeling strange, the crowd suddenly exclaimed, "The cloud-piercing flying chariot is back. It's not leaving." The low-level cultivators all retreated, afraid that a demonic devil from the Evil Sky Pavilion would suddenly appear and chase them all down. But the thing that they were worrying about did not happen at all. The cloud-piercing flying chariot flew back to the area of the Immortal Sage Grand Formation, the speed gradually slowing down. At the same time, Lu Zhu stood on the flying chariot, observing the surrounding situation. The field of vision had completely recovered. Find Elder Hua. Yes. Ming Xinyin and Duan Musheng jumped out of the flying chariot. The two of them descended. The moment the two of them jumped out, the low-level cultivators observing the battle in Gengzi Town immediately turned around and ran, running as far as their legs could carry them. Ming Xinyin looked down from above at this scene. They're all cowards who are afraid of trouble. It would be strange if they weren't afraid. Duan Musheng glanced at him. Third senior brother is insightful. The ground was extremely devastated after the battle, and the places where the Vuk technique was deployed were even more charred. Duan Musheng searched everywhere, turning over every stone, calling out, "Elder Hua." Ming Xiyin looked around. Elder Hua shouldn't have gone too far. Luo Shisan isn't an ordinary person. I'm afraid Elder Hua isn't his match. Elder Hua's 6 Harmony Dao seal has already manifested the 9th seal script. Luo Shisan's 13 sword cues probably can't do anything to him. When Ming Xinyin said these words, there was a hint of dissatisfaction in Duan Musheng's voice. He's just enduring it. If I were Luo Shisan, I would slowly exhaust him. Ming Xinyin coughed, pretending not to understand. Third senior brother has a point. Creak, creak, what's that sound? Ming Shiyin turned around. In the charred mud behind him, a hand suddenly emerged. Ming Shiyin was startled and rushed over, jumping up to hug Duan Musheng tightly, saying, "A reanimated corpse." While waiting for new chapters under the comments, or in the playlist there are many good things. Everyone supports Little Moo to have the motivation to release new chapters quickly. Little Moo was extremely grateful. Seeing Ming Shiyin jumping and hugging him tightly, Duan Musheng was annoyed, and kicked the youth in the butt. "You're so noisy, stay away from me." Ming Shiyin stroked his chin, thinking. But thinking about it carefully, who could survive such a powerful energy explosion? Ming Shiyin was smart, and a name immediately appeared in his head. No way, it's Fan Xuan. Ming Xinyan's first reaction was that this person was Fan Xuan. The energy explosion just now swept away everyone, and other than Fan Xuan, no one else could have survived until now. His two subordinates, Yue Cheng and Duan Yanhong, didn't have that kind of skill either. Lu Zhao, standing on the flying chariot, observed the scorched earth below. He also saw that hand. "Master, this is very likely Fan Xuan. Talk about having a tough life. No need for Master to make a move, let me kill him." Ming Xinyan smirked, the separation hook floating in his hand, emitting a faint glow. "Such a strong enemy, we have to be careful." Duan Musheng was speechless. Fourth bro, what you're best at is bullying the weak." Just as Ming Shiyin arrived next to that charred hand, Lu Zhao's voice suddenly rang out, pulling him back. Ming Shiyin was dumbfounded. "Huh," Duan Musheng said. "Master told you to pull him back." Ming Shiyin was a little dazed, and sheathed the separation hook. What a pity, if he could kill such a strong opponent, who would dare to underestimate Ming Xiyin's name in the future? Ming Xiyin waved his hand. The barren soil was lifted by his astral energy, revealing a body that had been burned as black as coal. Ming Xiyin clicked his tongue in wonder. Master really is Fan Xuan. It was a miracle that he could survive under that burst of energy. Lu Zhao said, "In the Tao, there is a move called Blood Escape Technique, which consumes decades of lifespan and essence blood, squeezing all the power in the Dantian and Qi to form a protective layer to protect the body." The people in the flying chariot secretly clicked their tongues when they heard this. Pan Zhong nodded and said, "But after using the Blood Escape Technique, the consequences are very serious. If the Dantian and Qi are damaged, I am afraid that the cultivation will have to be abandoned. Why bother? For cultivators, using the blood escape to protect their lives. But if their cultivation is all abandoned, what is the meaning of living in this world? Life is worse than death." Fan Xuan's choice made it difficult for people to understand. Ming Xiyin checked it a bit, first surprised, then his eyes rolled around. "Master, he's still alive, but he's very weak. Now is a good time to kill him. Without spending much effort, I am the best at taking advantage of people's difficulties." Duan Musheng was speechless when he heard these words, and saw Ming Xiyin's actions. Duan Musheng expressed contempt for him, very contemptuous of taking advantage of others' difficulties to strike. Ming Xiyin took out the separation hook again. Lu Zhao stroked his beard, calmly looking at Fan Xuan. Fan Xuan has done evil deeds all his life. Unexpectedly he has fallen into this end. His choice is probably because he doesn't want to die, not to give up. After all, he's the chief disciple of the Heavenly Sword sect. He's still very upright, Pan Zhong said. Fan Xuan probably wants to see Mo Li die with his own eyes. His hatred has kept him alive. Ming Xiyin was a little anxious, raising the separation hook ready to stab down. Pui. He wants to see Mo Li die, so we have to fulfill him. He's really thinking too much. Does he think of our Evil Sky Pavilion as a charity house? No way, I have to stab him before he dies, and send him on his way. Duan Musheng couldn't bear it anymore, pulling Ming Xiyin back. Fourth bro, the urgent matter now is to find Elder Hua. Ming Xiyin nodded. Third senior brother is right. The two looked around. Except for a few people who boldly stayed in Can Death Town to observe, there was no trace of anyone else. Some cultivators in Can Death Town turned around and ran away, while the rest knelt down on the ground and kowtowed, with a very excited look on their faces. It's a pity that these people are too weak, otherwise they would be brought into the Evil Sky Pavilion to do some chores. Lu Zhao ordered, "Bring him back to the Evil Sky Pavilion." Hearing Master say this, Ming Xiyin was very surprised. "Huh? Bring him back to the Evil Sky Pavilion?" Lu Zhao continued. "Fan Xuan is, after all, an 8-leaf expert. Since he hates Mo Lin so much, I will keep his life." Disciple obeys. Although Ming Xiyin didn't like Fan Xuan, he couldn't disobey his master's order. With a slight lift of his hand, a stream of astral energy wrapped around Fan Xuan, and a part of the original energy seeped in and protected his heart meridians. The characteristics of the Azure Wood Heart method appeared, and Fan Xuan's aura gradually stabilized. Ming Xiyin, carrying Fan Xuan, walked through the air, returning to the flying chariot. Elder Hua could see far from a high place. Zhu Jifeng pointed in the direction of the east. Hua Wudao limped over, carrying a tired body, tattered clothes, and a face full of wounds. Ming Xiyin raised his eyebrows and looked around. Ming Xiyin stepped in front of Hua Wudao. "Where is Luo Shisan?" Hua Wudao sighed, shook his head, glanced at Ming Xiyin, and turned to Lu Zhao, who was standing in the flying chariot. "His swordsmanship is extremely high. I can't do anything to him." Lu Zhao's eyes looked at Hua Wudao. "But he also can't do anything to you. The 9 seals of the Great Unison has opened the 9th seal? If you want to use the fighting method of consumption, you must also see if Luo Shisan is durable enough." Hua Wudao nodded and waved his hand. Ming Xiyin asked, "Then where is Luo Shisan?" Hua Wudao replied, "He left." "You," Ming Xiyin waved his sleeves, a little angry. "How can we let someone that the Evil Sky Pavilion wants to kill leave? Everyone's eyes turned to Hua Wudao. After all, Hua Wudao came from the Cloud sect. Maybe it wasn't a tie, but Hua Wudao remembered the friendship between fellow disciples and deliberately let him go. No one saw it with their own eyes, and no one knew what the real situation was. At this time, Hua Wudao clasped his hands and said, "Every word I say is the truth. If the pavilion master doesn't believe me, I am willing to be punished, and I will not say anything else." Ming Xinying glanced and said, "Don't play the trick of a suffering. My master has seen a lot of it." Lu Jiao slowly raised his hand to stop him and said calmly, "This seat believes you." Hua Wujiao was surprised and raised his head and immediately bowed and knelt down. "Thank you." At the same time, Lu Jiao saw his loyalty increase by 5%. Lu Jiao ordered, "Return to the Evil Sky Pavilion." Everyone quickly replied, "Yes." The flying chariot quickly flew towards the Evil Sky Pavilion. At the same time, in a place about 3 miles away from the blast area, Luo Shisan held a long sword in one hand and propped himself on the ground with the other, trying to stabilize his body, occasionally swallowing saliva. Unexpectedly, the old man is so strong, there was no more original energy in his body to provide him to continue fighting. He panted repeatedly. Who would have thought that the sword saint who used to command wind and rain would have such an embarrassing moment? Oh well, everyone has their own ambitions. Luo Shisan shook his head helplessly. Just as he was about to leave the place, a cyan-robed swordmaster appeared silently, 50 meters in front of him, his back straight, with a long sword behind his back. "Hello?" The cyan-robed swordmaster opened his mouth and said, "What kind of character was Luo Shisan?" Although he no longer had original energy, he was not to the point where he had no ability to defend himself. But the appearance of the cyan-robed swordmaster made him jump. Luo Shisan stepped back and raised his sword to defend himself. "You are the cyan-robed swordmaster?" Folding his arms, the cyan-robed swordmaster said, "This humble one is Yu Shengrong." Luo Shisan's eyes widened. His hand gripped his longsword tightly, his whole body trembling. At this moment, how could he be a match for Yu Shengrong, the sword devil Yu Shengrong? Yu Shengrong slowly turned around, his gaze looking into the distance, as he spoke while surveying. "Just an empty title, not worth mentioning." Luo Shisan took a step back. "I'm under the sect leader's orders to clean up the sect. I have no intention of being hostile to the Evil Sky Pavilion." Yu Shengrong took a step, and then said again, "Are you scared?" Luo Shisan stammered. I'm not scared." Yu Shengrong shook his head and said, "No, you are. Don't worry, I'm not the kind of person who takes advantage of others' difficulties." Luo Shisan didn't believe this. Yu Shengrong gently turned his head, a faint smile on his face. "You're too weak, so weak that it's uninteresting. The chickens haven't even crowed yet, and little sister is already working diligently on new chapters. Please give little sister a like, a comment, and a subscribe for motivation. Little sister is extremely grateful. There are many great long stories in the comments or in the playlist. Please support little sister." The Cloud Sect's sword Saint Luo Shisan had never been mocked like this before, Luo Shisan said. "So the Evil Sky Pavilion disciples also want to take advantage of others' difficulties." Yu Shengrong shook his head. "You misunderstand me." "Oh, is that so?" Yu Shengrong crossed his arms and continued. "You're too weak now, so weak that it's uninteresting, so I'll come and kill you in a month." Hearing Yu Shengrong say this, Luo Shisan was silent for a moment. Luo Shisan looked at Yu Shengrong with a complicated expression. What kind of routine is this? Is this guy's brain malfunctioning? Luo Shisan said, "The world says the devils of the Evil Sky Pavilion kill without batting an eye. It's indeed true. So, I have a month to live?" Yu Shengrong said gently. "In my hometown there's a kind of plant called the Huangshun grass. Its lifespan is very short, growing in the early morning and withering at night." "You are much luckier than the Huangshun grass, you." Luo Shisan was angry when he heard this, but he didn't dare to show it. Yu Shengrong invited him to make a hand seal of reconciliation, allowing him to leave freely. Luo Shisan asked distrustfully, "You won't ambush me from behind, will you?" Yu Shengrong said nothing, only looked at Luo Shisan indifferently. Luo Shisan took a deep breath. Just as he took a step, suddenly his feet faltered, and he fell forward. Yu Shengrong shook his head and said, "Don't worry, I only attack head-on. I don't have the habit of ambushing." Luo Shisan turned his head back. "I'm not afraid of you, damn it. Since I started cultivating, I've never feared anyone. I was just so tired from fighting Hua Wudao for so long." Yu Shengrong stood with his eyes closed, smiling, and said nothing more. Luo Shisan took a few steps and glanced back at Yu Shengrong. Seeing the other party smiling modestly and politely, he felt a lot more relieved. Adjusting his mood, he strode away. Standing from behind, Yu Shengrong reminded, "Please don't forget the agreement between us." Luo Shisan was startled and immediately asked, "What agreement?" Yu Shengrong calmly said, "I'll come and kill you in a month." Yu Shengrong slowly turned around, unhurriedly walking into the distance. Luo Shisan's face was unsightly. As he watched the sword devil's figure gradually disappear, he muttered unwillingly, "I haven't even agreed to any agreement." To be honest, Luo Shisan claimed that his swordsmanship was at its peak, and in recent years he had built up a great reputation. If only considering pure swordsmanship, the person he least wanted to face was his elder brother, Luo Changqing. He had once asked Luo Changqing who he least wanted to face. Luo Changqing replied, "The sword devil." He didn't remember if Luo Changqing had ever fought with the sword devil Yu Shengrong, but he always valued his elder brother's words. An opponent that could make Luo Changqing wary. Naturally, their cultivation wouldn't be inferior to Luo Changqing, so Luo Shisan didn't want to face the sword devil. But Me wanting to kill you has nothing to do with whether you agree or not. After saying these words, Yu Shangrong's figure flickered, and in the blink of an eye, he was dozens of zang away and disappeared. Luo Shisan glared in the direction where Yu Shangrong had just disappeared, his heart filled with 1,000 thoughts. Scene changed to the Great Yan Imperial Palace. It was quiet in the palace, but the objects in the room were extremely messy. Behind a screen, a charming woman trembled all over, her face unsightly. In front of her was a bronze mirror. In the bronze mirror was her pale face. "Calm down, your majesty." The second prince said not to continue to clash with the evil sky pavilion. Outside the screen, a female cultivator bowed and said. The woman then asked, "What else did the second prince say?" The female cultivator hurriedly replied, "The second prince said that he won't pursue the death of Grandmaster Chen Zhu, hoping you can calm down." The charming woman said nothing, but the expression on her face was very unnatural. Suddenly, she clenched her fist and punched the bronze mirror. Crash! The fist looked weak, but it was as heavy as a 1,000-pound iron hammer, shattering the bronze mirror. After throwing a punch, the anger on her face gradually disappeared, and her mood also calmed down. She then asked, "Is there any news from Jingming Dao?" The female cultivator was in a kneeling position, with her face bowed, not daring to look up, and reported, "Your Majesty, Pan Lishan's whereabouts are still unknown. We still haven't found him." The woman slowly said, "If we can't find him, then find a way to make him appear. Spread the story of Pan Zhong's departure. Pan Zhong has been expelled from his sect for many years, and now he has entered the Evil Sky Pavilion. Will Pan Lishan really go to find him? Just do as I say." Although she spoke in a very calm tone, the female outside the screen hurriedly bowed, not daring to say anything more. Yes. At the same time, the cloud-chasing chariot returned to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Lu Zhao glanced at Fan Xuen, who was charred black, and said, "Take him down! Don't let him die!" Yes. Ming Shiyin carried Fan Xuen away. Lu Zhao instructed, "Elder Hua, this trip was tiring. Go back and rest early. Thank you." Hua Wudao clasped his hands, and then turned and left. In his current state, being able to stand and talk to everyone was already very difficult. Xiao Yanhe hurried to Lu Zhao's side. "Master, you're also tired. Let me help you back to rest." "No need." Lu Zhao waved his hand. He remembered when he was fighting Shi Wu Ren, Bi Yuping had said that the emperor's due was on Yi Tiangxin. Can this statement be trusted? Wu Sheng set up the immortal sage grand formation in the palace for Yi Tiangxin, and for wanting to retrieve Bai Dan's bones, he had been retrieving corpses for several years. Can the emperor's due really break through the shackles? Lu Zhao pondered, then shook his head again. If that were the case, then with Jian Tiandao's knowledge and temperament, how could he not have made a move first? But he still let Yi Tiangxin, his disciple, live comfortably and peacefully. Lu Zhao said, "Go and see Yi Tiangxin." Zhao Yaner next to him, her eyes brightened. "Yes, disciple will help you." The two walked towards the southern pavilion. The group of female cultivators followed behind as soon as they heard that he was looking for Yi Tiangxin. These female cultivators had always cared for Yi Tiangxin. Although Dinyu Palace was no more, they were still subordinates of Yi Tiangxin after all. Before long, everyone arrived in front of Yi Tiangxin's room in the southern pavilion. Hu Zhao asked the two female cultivators guarding the door, "Did anything happen to Yi Tiangxin today?" Reporting, "Pavilion master, nothing happened. Open the door." "Yes." Lu Zhao entered the room. Yi Tiangxin was still lying unconscious on the bed, looking exactly the same. He walked to her bedside and observed her entire body. A Cheng Huang is a type of mythical beast. How could it appear on Yi Tiangxin? Lu Zhao gently looked again. Suddenly, Lu Zhao noticed. There's breathing. Yi Tiangxin was still lying there quietly. He reached out to check her breath. It was very weak, almost unbelievably faint. Lu Zhao's expression remained calm as he sent a palm strike. Using his primal chi to probe Yi Tiangxin's 8 extraordinary meridians, Lu Zhao shook his head slightly. There's no trace of a Cheng Huang. He waved his hand, and Yi Tiangxin lay back down. Lu Zhao shook his head and left the room. To think she still has a breath under these circumstances, it's just that she hasn't woken up yet. Otherwise, I could ask about the Cheng Huang situation. Xiao Yaner asked, "Master, how is she?" Lu Zhao replied, "She's got a tough life." Xiao Yaner widened her eyes. She really came back to life? As soon as she said that, the female cultivators of Yanyu Palace standing by the door all showed excited expressions. Just as Lu Zhao was about to leave, Ming Xinyin suddenly ran quickly from the north pavilion to stand before him, bowing and saying, "Master, I've arranged Fan Xuan's matter properly. He won't die for now. This disciple can't guarantee whether he will die later or not," Lu Zhu then replied. "I know," Ming Xinyin continued. "Also, Master, a flying letter arrived near the Mosian Pavilion, probably sent by an outsider. This disciple took the liberty of intercepting it," Lu Zhu then asked. "Who sent the letter?" Reporting to Master, "It's Wei Zhuoyan, please have a look." "Yes." "Here, Master." Lu Zhao took Wei Zhuoyan's flying letter, glanced at it, and casually threw it away. Ming Shiyin hurriedly caught it, read it once, and said with a smile, "The fact that we had a great battle with the Shimu must have reached Wei Zhuoyan's ears." "He's scared," Zhao Yanhe curiously asked. "Senior brother, what does the letter say?" Ming Shiyin continued. "Wei Zhuoyan wants to come and apologize. He will atone for the matter of Yulong village back then, and will personally come to the Monchenyan Pavilion in 2 days to resolve the conflict between the two sides." Duan Musheng raised his eyebrows upon hearing this and said, Does he really have such a high level of awareness? If an ordinary person encountered such great pressure, they would very likely collapse and proactively come to admit their guilt. But Wei Zhuoyan is the commander of the 3 armies. With his status, how could he easily bow his head to others? Ming Xiyin hurriedly said, "It's senior sister Tiang Xin's lifelong wish to personally stab her enemy to death. Don't talk nonsense." Duan Musheng hurriedly nudged Ming Xiyin, and Ming Xiyin immediately shut his mouth. Lu Zhao didn't mind, and just said disdainfully, "It's already lucky that she can survive." After saying these words, Lu Zhu returned to the motion pavilion and conveniently opened the system panel. Name, Lu Zhu race, human cultivation, Fan Ocean Realm, 8 extraordinary meridians, points of merit, 112 Dharma body, 6 harmony separation remaining lifespan, N 92 days props, damage immunity quantity 2, fatal blow resistance quantity 7, passive binding cage quantity 4, refinement talisman quantity 2, peak heavenly Dao foundation card quantity 1, Bai Z is resting, beyond weapon, unnamed infatuated host Ye Tiangxin, needs to be refined again before it can be used, soul severing saber, Brahma silk cultivation methods, 3 books of heaven, the battle with the Shiwu, he earned very few points of merit, if not to say he suffered a big loss, with 8 points. Fortunately, Lu Zhao thought, and then casually drew 3 times. Great, all 3 times were, "Thank you for participating in the game." Lu Zhao felt that for this kind of lottery thing, if you're in the mood, draw once. If you're not happy, then don't draw. If you're lucky, you make a profit. If you're not lucky, it's not too heartbreaking. Just accumulate the remaining points of merit, and buy more of whatever kind of prop card you're missing. As long as you have enough points, buy them immediately. 7-star Soul Transference Dharma Body costs 15,000 points of merit. Lu Zhu looked at the price list in the shop, and he thought of Yu Chong, Duan Yanhong, and even Yu Sheng, and the cultivators in red robes. If I killed them all, I would have enough points. Lu Zhu shook his head slightly, rejecting this kind of thinking. What's the point of thinking about it if it's already past? Heavenly Book. Lu Zhao entered a state of comprehension again. When he was on the cloud-piercing flying chariot, the extraordinary power of the Heavenly Book had been partially consumed to remove the witchery on Fan Xuan. Lu Zhao felt that the extraordinary power must have the effect of restraining all kinds of mind-bewitching techniques, like the Brahma sound or the infatuation technique, and it was also very easy to use. Before his strength returned to its peak state, the extraordinary power was one of his solid supports. 2 days later, Lu Zhu woke up from his state of comprehension. He no longer remembered how many times he had comprehended the Heavenly Book. He still hadn't fully understood the meaning of this book, but he didn't mind. As long as he could harvest the extraordinary power, then no matter how boring the comprehension was, he could do it. Xiao Yunhe ran in from outside the main hall, reporting with an unbelievable expression, "Master, Wei Zhuoyan, he really came." Upon hearing Xiao Yunhe say that Wei Zhuoyan had arrived, Lu Zhao immediately tumbled out of the tower from inside, knowing the times is considered a smart person. Xiao Yunhe, holding a weapon, stared blankly and wondered, "Isn't he afraid that Master will kill him?" Lu Zhao didn't say anything, just stroked his beard and pondered. Although Xiao Yunhe was quite naive, she wasn't stupid. Hey. Wei Zhuoyan coming to the Motation Pavilion at this time was no different from going to his death, going to receive death. How many people could do it? He's going first, Lu Zhuoyan said. Xiao Yunhe trotted after him. No matter what Wei Zhuoyan's purpose was, they would know when they met him in a moment. Guessing now was meaningless. "Let's go." Hearing Lu Zhou say that, Xiao Yunhe immediately blurted out, "Master is very smart." Before long, Ming Xiyin and Duan Musheng led a group of people into the main hall. 2 rows of soldiers in gray armor followed closely behind. The soldiers were well trained. Their footsteps were synchronized, and their momentum was not small. Wei Zhuoyan appeared, carrying a saber in one hand, with a burly figure, wearing dark armor, a red cloak draped over his shoulders, his eyes gleaming as he looked straight ahead. There wasn't a trace of fear in his eyes, neither arrogant nor humble, not fast nor slow. His steps were steady, even, and powerful. Seeing this scene, the people of the Monation Pavilion were all astonished. In the past, no matter who came to the Monation Pavilion, it was difficult to avoid a worried mood, looking around in all directions. Some people even hunched over, sweat dripping from their foreheads. Even the Black Knight leader, Fan Xuan, had his momentum reduced by 3 points when he came here. But this Wei Zhuoyan was not at all affected by the surrounding environment. How strong must his psychological quality be? Truly not simple. Ming Xiyin, with both hands on his hips, spoke up. "General Wei, your move is really good. To be honest, the Monishin Pavilion has never seen an opponent who proactively came to admit their guilt like you before. It's indeed a good method. It's better than being killed to his doorstep by my master anyway." Wei Zhuoyan's expression remained calm. A great man dares to do what he dares to take responsibility for. This is this general's fault. This general will bear it himself. Ming Xiyin led the way while saying, "Responsible. This sentence of yours has the demeanor of a reputable sect. Which sect were you in before?" Wei Zhuoyan then replied, "This general is without sect or faction." Don't be so proper here. If you've come to ask for forgiveness, then don't call yourself this general. Every other sentence, thank you for fourth mister's good intentions. At this time, the group had entered the main hall, and Ming Xiyin and Duan Musheng separated and stood to both sides. Lu Zhao's gaze turned to Wei Zhuoyan, and then he stroked his beard, nodding slightly. Wei Zhuoyan clasped his fists, put his hands together, and knelt down. Criminal Wei Zhuoyan has come here to beg for punishment. After that, he kowtowed to Lu Zhao with utmost sincerity. his forehead hitting the ground. The two soldiers behind him also knelt down in unison. This greatly surprised Ming Xinyin and Duan Wusheng. Seeing this scene, Ming Xinyin thought for a moment. Without any psychological obstacles, he decisively knelt down, his movements as neat as if he had practiced for a long time. A real man can bend and stretch, but to be able to do it to this extent is truly amazing. Ming Xinyin felt ashamed. He admitted he couldn't do it. He could run away if he couldn't win, but except for his master, he had no chance of kowtowing to the enemy. No one expected Wei Zhuoyan to be so enlightened. A character like that, no wonder he could be the commander of the three armies. It's just a pity he offended Master, using Tiangxin Jr. Sister's clan to frame the evil sky pavilion. This is a big mistake, unforgivable. Wei Zhuoyan, Lu Zhuo, uttered these three words softly. Wei Zhuoyan raised his head, looking directly at Lu Zhuo, clasped his hands, and said, Sinner Wei Zhuoyan has come to answer for his crimes as agreed. He repeated it again, very decisively, and very directly. Except for Lu Zhu, everyone else exchanged glances. This person came to admit his mistakes a little too resolutely. There wasn't even a hint of wanting to beg for forgiveness. This is unreasonable. Could it be that this Wei Zhuoyan is deliberately enduring, using himself as a trap, to imitate Shi Wu, playing a game of mutual destruction with the evil sky pavilion? Just then, Lu Zhao slowly stood up, clasped his hands behind his back, and stepped down the stairs. Ming Xinyin hurriedly said, Master, wait! Lu Zhao hummed. Ming Xinyin smiled and said, This disciple feels there's something wrong with him. I also feel there's something wrong with him. Xiao Yanhere's face was full of disbelief. Lu Zhao stopped, not continuing forward but asked back, Why do you think so? Ming Xinyin bowed to Lu Zhao, then walked towards Wei Zhuoyan. Ming Xinyin loudly said, Wei Zhuoyan, you're so audacious. Wei Zhuoyan asked suspiciously, What is fourth senior brother saying? I don't understand. Ming Xinyin shook his head. Come on, stop pretending. I'm already tired of playing with tricks like yours. No, I'm too tired of playing with tricks like yours. I really don't understand what fourth senior brother means. Wei Zhuoyan's attitude had clearly changed. Compared to when he entered the Evil Sky Pavilion's main hall with him, Ming Xinyin continued with a smile. A dignified commander of the three armies, wielding great power. Why would you be willing to come here to answer for your crimes? Wei Zhuoyan shook his head, sighing. These past few days, I haven't been able to eat or sleep well, thinking over and over, tossing and turning without a peaceful sleep. I can't continue to act against my conscience anymore. The matter of Yulong Village was all my doing alone. Whoever does it bears the consequences. The Evil Sky Pavilion can chop, kill, skin, or bone me as they please. Ming Xinyin was slightly startled. Still acting? Looking down on me for not being educated, right? This person is so enlightened that it is not reasonable. You're not begging for forgiveness? Wei Zhuoyan lowered his head. I'm not in the mood to beg. Since I've come here, I don't think I can leave alive. But if possible, before I die, I only have one request. Ming Xinyin immediately asked, What request? Wei Zhuoyan then drew his blade. I want to end it myself. He put the knife to his neck, like a pig being beheaded. The main hall was completely silent. Duan Wusheng, Ming Xinyin, and Zhao Yanhe could only silently stand and watch. Such a request was truly the first time everyone had heard of it. Since Lu Zhu forced back the 10 great experts, people who came to the Evil Sky Pavilion, whether it was the demonic disaster sex Zhuo Jinchan or the Black Knight Fan Xuwen, even Hua Wudao who came to untangle his heart knot, were all on the opposite side of the Evil Sky Pavilion. But Wei Zhuoyan's actions made it impossible for everyone to understand. Wei Zhuoyan's actions are really confusing. The more he is like this, the more Ming Xinyin disbelieves him. Ming Xinyin came to Wei Zhuoyan's side and said in a low voice, You're a 7-leaf expert, aren't you? Fourth senior brother doesn't need to question me like that. Immediately afterwards, the soldier also handed Wei Zhuoyan a roll of rope. He even planned to hang himself. While doing it, Wei Zhuoyan said, If the Evil Sky Pavilion wants me to confess my crimes, then I'll confess. Did you want me to call some people back and have a fight with you? Wei Zhuoyan couldn't understand what Ming Xinyin wanted to do either. You don't like it when I come to cause trouble. You question me when I come to confess my sins. What do I have to do to satisfy you? Wei Zhuoyan's expression while saying this sounded reasonable. Ming Xinyin scratched his head, for a moment not recognizing where the problem lay. He looked left and right. Duan Wusheng and Xiao Yan'er couldn't figure it out either. Can't rely on them. This was the first time he had encountered this kind of person. Xiao Yan'er said, Fourth senior brother. Maybe he was suddenly bitten by his conscience, then regretted it for a long time, and decided to come to the Evil Sky Pavilion to repent? Ming Xinyin wasn't easily fooled like that. The young man continued, Little junior sister is still too naive. I wouldn't believe a single word from this kind of person. Xiao Yan'er immediately replied, But he's willing to die now. That's right, he's willing to die, without a single complaint. What fault can you find? Something's not right. No way, I don't accept it, Ming Xinyin said, unconvinced. Maybe he's hiding some kind of terrifying trap on his body, like witchcraft. Waiting for Master to get close, he'll self-destruct like Wuhan did. These kinds of tricks and schemes are too clumsy. That's right, there's a high possibility of that. Everyone, step back a little. Don't let his conspiracy succeed. Wei Zhuoyan stood there dumbfounded, not saying anything. Ming Xinyin's guess seemed a bit crazy. but it couldn't be denied that it was a bit reasonable. From the moment he entered the main hall, Wei Zhuoyan directly knelt down to admit his crimes, which made everyone feel strange. This person is too enlightened. Not like how a commander of the 3 armies should be at all. And also, not long ago, the Evil Sky Pavilion had Jiang Aijian send a message to Wei Zhuoyan. Jiang Aijian had written that Wei Zhuoyan didn't take this matter seriously at all. How long has it been now? Suddenly he's thought it all through. Everyone looked at Wei Zhuoyan. Wei Zhuoyan wasn't afraid at all, but showed a shaky appearance. Needing a soldier to support him, he said, "Even if there's a conspiracy, you're already on guard now. Just treat me as being brazenly rebellious. Please grant me death." How awkward. Ming Xinyin claimed to be clever, but he couldn't find the problem. Duan Musheng sighed and shook his head. "Maybe little junior sister is right. He has completely awakened. Who knows?" Wei Zhuoyan roared, appearing sincere. "That's right, I have completely awakened." The more he said, the more uncomfortable everyone felt. It's okay if someone else said it, but saying it himself sounds extremely unreasonable. Alright, Lu Zhao opened his mouth. The main hall became quiet again. Ming Xinyin awkwardly returned to his original position, not saying anything more. Lu Zhao slowly walked up to Wei Zhuoyan. Wei Zhuoyan was still kneeling there. Seeing Lu Zhao walking over, he immediately raised his head and looked into Lu Zhao's eyes. It is often said that the eyes are the windows to the soul. From Wei Zhuoyan's eyes, Lu Zhao could see that he was not afraid at all. Even his courage was very big. Lu Zhu observed Wei Zhuoyan and said indifferently, "Are you really not afraid?" Wei Zhuoyan widened his eyes and replied, "I'm not even afraid of death. What else is there to fear?" Lu Zhao coldly said, "What if this old master wants to kill more than just you alone?" Wei Zhuoyan suddenly froze. At this moment, the entire main hall was extremely quiet. One could even hear a needle drop. Ming Xiyin, Duan Musheng, and Zhao Yanhe all looked at each other. Master is still fierce, has a way to deal with this kind of person. Wei Zhuoyan heard Lu Zhao's question. "What if this old master wants to kill more than just you alone?" Then he jumped in fright and replied, "Sect master, why make things difficult for me?" Lu Zhao coldly replied, "Because you're not being honest." Wei Zhuoyan was startled again, his face covered in sweat. He felt as if he had been seen through. His heart was extremely uneasy, but he still said, "This is not important. Everything is not important. Doesn't the Evil Sky Pavilion want me dead? Calculating other things is meaningless." Lu Zhu shook his head and said, "Meaningless? The disciples don't understand at all." Lu Zhu looked at Wei Zhuoyan without blinking, and sighed softly. "Since you want to die, this old master will fulfill you myself." Wei Zhuoyan lowered his head, and replied, "Okay." This okay from Wei Zhuoyan was clearly weaker than before. Suddenly, Lu Zhao struck out with a palm. The power of the 8 Meridian Sea of Tibet realm was condensed into a essence, hitting Wei Zhuoyan's chest. Bang! Wei Zhuoyan went flying. "General! General!" The soldiers cried out in alarm. After Wei Zhuoyan crashed to the ground, he slid back even further, right into the middle of his troops. Everyone stared in shock at what just happened. Wei Zhuoyan gritted his teeth in pain. Old Mister's methods are always so terrifying. No messing around, even a top dog like Ren Buping got one-shotted with that devastating 9 words mantra Grand Palm Seals. So how come this only sent Wei Zhuoyan flying without any visible injuries? Ming Xinyin chewed on his hand, pondering. Was that palm a bit weak, maybe? The disciples were confused, staring at Wei Zhuoyan, who was sitting up with a pained expression, clutching his chest. Lu Zhao spoke up. That's Wei Zhuoyan's fake 7-leaf avatar. Wei Zhuoyan forced down the pain and said, "I've confessed. If you want to kill me, please, let the Fiend Temple give me a quick death." Lu Zhu cursed. "Idiot." Huh. Wei Zhuoyan was stunned. Lu Zhu's voice turned serious. "Bring the real person here, and I won't punish you for impersonation." Impersonation? Ming Xinyin finally caught the key point of his master's words. He was so shocked his jaw dropped. Duan Musheng and Zhao Yange just had question marks floating over their heads. Wei Zhuoyan could handle all sorts of accusations, but this one made his whole body tremble. He stared wide-eyed at Lu Zhuao, his face filled with disbelief. "Senior, I don't know what you're talking about," Lu Zhao said. The Wei Zhuoyan who made a name for himself on the battlefield years ago, the one who commanded the 3 armies to fight the Rongbei, he fought a fierce battle against foreign cultivators. In that battle, his golden lotus bloomed to 7 leaves. Wei Zhuoyan still didn't understand what Lu Zhu was talking about, and neither did the other disciples. But since their master said so, there must be a reason. They folded their arms respectfully, standing to the side and listening obediently. Lu Zhao continued. His cultivation was profound. He was a man above men, a true general who rose from the mountains of corpses on the battlefield. Wei Zhuoyan collapsed to the ground with a thud, his face as white as a sheet. Zhao Yanhe and Duan Musheng were still clueless, but the clever Ming Xiyin had an epiphany. He pointed at Wei Zhuoyan and shouted, "I get it, you're a fake, no wonder." The words stunned everyone. Wei Zhuoyan's mind went blank. Ming Xiyin stepped forward and continued to yell, "I finally understand what Master was saying. So you've been putting on an act the whole time. No wonder I felt something was off. You wanted to be a scapegoat, a noble sacrifice. But your cultivation is wrong. Your delivery of the 'I'm gonna die' lines, your gestures, all too stiff. You tried to show a fearless attitude, but you lacked the decisiveness and killing intent a soldier should have. Am I right?" Duan Musheng and Zhao Yanche looked at Ming Xinyin like he was a mental patient. Figured it out now and trying to act like Zhuge Liang. "Is this the right time for showing off?" Ming Xinyin went on. "Besides, I heard Wei Zhuoyan's lieutenants are all powerful. Even if they're not 7-leaf, they're at least 3 or 4. But look at the bunch of weaklings you brought. Tell me, what's your real name? Are you Wei Zhuoyan's twin brother or something? Although Ming Xiyin's show-off was a bit much, his questions were also what Lu Zhao was thinking. In fact, from the moment Wei Zhuoyan entered the hall, Lu Zhao knew he wasn't the real Wei Zhuoyan. The eye of truth had allowed him to see through the person's true cultivation. Ming Xiyin glanced at his master. Understanding dawning in his heart, he looked back at Wei Zhuoyan and said in a deep voice, "Let me tell you something. We know you're a fake now. I don't care why you're taking the blame for Wei Zhuoyan, but even after you die, the Fiend Temple won't let him off the hook. You'll just die in vain. Speak. What's your name?" Wei Zhuoyan froze, stiff as a board for 3 seconds. Then, Wei Zhuoyan swallowed hard, sweat streaming down his face. He was silent for a moment. Then his expression changed, becoming increasingly ugly. It was clear that pretending any longer was pointless. He knew the Fiend Temple wouldn't give up. In other words, even if he died, they'd still go after Wei Zhuoyan, so he'd die for nothing. Wei Zhuoran's mental defenses finally crumbled. Hearing the name Wei Zhuoran, Ming Xiyin's eyes widened in surprise. Then he pressed. "A twin brother," Wei Zhuoran replied. "Wei Zhuoyan is my cousin," Ming Xiyin sneered. "So basically a brother." "How ruthless, telling you to come here to take the fall for him. What a clumsy trick." Wei Zhuoran shook his head, his expression relaxing a bit. "If I don't die, my entire family of over 100 people will die." Ming Xiyin folded his arms. Such cruel methods. Wei Zhuoyan must be something special to become the commander of 3 armies. "No wonder he's a ruthless character," Wei Zhuoran replied. "I had no choice." "No choice? I bet you got a lot of coaching before you came here, didn't you? When I first saw you, I really thought you were the real deal. After all, the Fiend Temple has never met Wei Zhuoyan." "You're not bad at acting. It's a pity you couldn't escape my master's all-seeing eyes," Ming Xiyin said. "Fourth brother's bootlicking skills have reached unparalleled heights." Duanmu Sheng clasped his hands together. "Master, whether he's real or fake, let me take care of them all first. Then I'll send word to Wei Zhuoyan and tell him to come and atone for his crimes." Lu Zhao didn't respond to Duanmu Sheng. He looked at Wei Zhuoran, scrutinizing him, then looked at the soldiers behind him. The soldiers had long since reached their limit, their bodies weak, their faces pale with fear. Lu Zhao shook his head and looked back at Wei Zhuoran. "I'll give you a chance to live, including your family." Wei Zhuoran was stunned. He didn't understand what Lu Zhao meant. Lu Zhao tapped Wei Zhuoran's forehead and continued, "From now on, you are the real Wei Zhuoyan." The disciples were completely dumbfounded. Wei Zhuoran asked, "What does that mean? I don't understand any of this." Ming Xiyin laughed. "Master is brilliant. Wei Zhuoyan commands 3 armies. After all, if he dies, it will cause chaos. It just so happens these 2 can replace him and continue to be Wei Zhuoyan. It's a trick to turn the situation to our advantage." Everyone was taken aback. Wei Zhuoran swallowed hard. Looking at the surrounding devils in disbelief, Ming Xiyin asked, "What? You don't want to?" Then, Ming Xiyin made a death gesture and gave a devilish grin. "Then you only have one way out. Death. Your family and your cousin Wei Zhuoyan will die too. My master's words are law. You have no other choice." This group of demons, Wei Zhuoran, was terrified, stammering, Well. To be honest, his performance wasn't convincing enough to fool any discerning eye, but so what? Even if the people in the imperial court knew he was a fake, would they dare expose him? Throughout the history of Great Yan, those in power have always known how to preserve the bigger picture. Lu Zhao waved his sleeve and said, "Take them down first. When Wei Zhuoyan dies, don't let them leave." "Yes, master." Just as Duanmu Sheng was about to take Wei Zhuoran away, Zhao Yu hurried into the main hall, accompanied by a female cultivator from the moon-gazing sect. Turns out, our Shifu Tiangxin Shimei is undergoing some changes. Ming Xiyin, Zhao Yanher, and Duanmu Sheng all looked astonished. Lu Zhao, however, remained calm as ever. Zhao Yu continued. "Your disciple really doesn't understand. Her Dantian Qi Si was clearly destroyed, but she's still absorbing primal Qi. I felt it was too weird, so I'm reporting it for Shifu to decide." Lu Zhao was silent for a moment, then said, "To the south pavilion." With his hands clasped behind his back, Lu Zhao walked out of the main hall. Zhao Yanyer and Ming Xiyin quickly followed. Duanmu Sheng's overlord spear hummed in his hand, and he yelled at Wei Zhuoran, "Future Grand General Wei, let's go!" Not long after, Lu Zhao and the others arrived outside Ye Tiangxin's room in the south wing. Even before they arrived, everyone could feel the fluctuations of primal qi in the room. Although it wasn't very strong, it was something that a cultivator with a destroyed Dantian Qi Si couldn't possibly do. Lu Zhao waved his hand, the door opened, and he walked straight inside. A scene that shocked everyone greeted their eyes. Ye Tiangxin was floating in the air on the bed, her entire body radiating a faint, jade-like light. The surrounding primal qi slowly merged into her body. Her skin and complexion were gradually recovering, and her white hair was slowly turning black. Unbelievable, Lu Zhao maintained his calm facade, casually observing Ye Tiangxin's transformation. Ming Xiyin and Zhao Yanher stood to the side, staring in astonishment at the scene. The transparent primal qi enveloped Ye Tiangxin, constantly absorbing the surrounding qi and drawing it in. Her hair became darker and darker, and her skin returned to a rosy white, almost like a normal person. The distinctive features of the Bai people were slowly disappearing. Zhao Yanher reminded, "Shifu, the primal qi is still gathering." Lu Zhao said nothing. With his current cultivation, he could naturally feel it. Golden Court Mountain was one of the 72 blessed lands in the world. with geographical advantages and abundant primal chi. Moreover, it was protected by barriers, so almost no accumulated primal chi was lost. This made Golden Court Mountain a very suitable place for cultivation. Lu Zhao could feel the primal chi constantly gathering in one place, and the speed was getting faster and faster. Creak, creak, Zhao Yan'er anxiously asked. Shifu, what's happening? Ming Shiyin wondered. It must be some kind of characteristic of the Bai people. Will Tiangxin Shiji die? Zhao Yan'er didn't have much life experience. After the recent events, her animosity towards Ye Tiangxin had lessened a lot. Lu Zhao replied, probably not, Creak. The gathered primal chi transformed into a special energy that enveloped Ye Tiangxin. Ming Shiyin gaped and asked, Shifu, did you already know that the Bai people had this characteristic? Lu Zhao stroked his beard and nodded. If she weren't a Bai, how could her cultivation talent surpass yours? Ming Shiyin understood immediately. Ming Shiyin had joined the sect much earlier than Ye Tiangxin, and he worked extremely hard in his cultivation. But after Zhao Yu and Ye Tiangxin joined the sect, it wasn't long before Ye Tiangxin's cultivation far surpassed Ming Shiyin's. Shifu was happy and gifted Ye Tiangxin the weapon, Amorous Hoop. With a heaven-grade weapon, Ye Tiangxin became stronger and stronger. Ming Shiyin, who had always called himself a genius, was severely demoralized, and he completely despaired at the talent of the little Shimei who joined the sect later. Just then, Ye Tiangxin's body slowly descended, and she groaned softly, her eyes slowly opening, taking in the scene in the room. When she saw Lu Zhao standing next to her, she suddenly became agitated, and the energy around her shattered into small pieces. She crawled forward and said, Disciple knows the real mastermind behind the scenes. I beg Shifu to give me a chance to personally kill him. After I fulfill my wish, I will take my own life to atone for my sins. Xiao Yan'er asked in surprise. Take her own life to atone? Ming Shiyin hurriedly stepped forward and said, This Wei Zhuoyan is a fake. Don't be confused. Ye Tiangxin was stunned, and Ming Shiyin recounted the whole story. After hearing it, Ye Tiangxin became listless, her expression gloomy, her face clouded with worry. If it weren't for the hatred awakening her, she might still be unconscious. Your Dantian Chi Si has just been restored. Don't do anything rash, Ming Shiyin advised. Just restored? Ye Tiangxin was dazed, then hurriedly lowered her head to look at the skin on her hands, and then touched her hair. In an instant she was stunned. Ming Shiyin said, You're a Bai. Ye Tiangxin repeated the two words Bai people. Humans are the most advanced species, and they are also divided into many different races. Some are tall, some are short, some are fat, some are thin, some are smart, some are stupid. When entering the path of cultivation, some have high talent, some have poor aptitude. Ming Shiyin tried his best to explain. Ye Tiangxin was stunned. Ming Shiyin was about to slowly explain it to her when Lu Zhao raised his hand to interrupt him. Ye Tiangxin trembled immediately.